We're live.
Oh, hello! Whoa, we're live. It's Plat VALORANT episode 200.
It's on time.
On 29, and we're a minute early. I don't think that's ever happened, ever, in the history of Plat Chat. Certainly, if Sideshow was here, that's never happening. Absolutely never happening. And Kurt has told us that it's positivity episode number 3, and I think that overall this week, mostly positive. Well, some, no. But mostly, yes. And so hopefully it'll be a wonderful day. I'm joined by Sliggy, Achilleos, and Chobra. How are you all feeling on this positive day?
Fantastic. I'm feeling great. How's everyone else doing?
Oh, that sounds super enthusiastic on this positive day. Sliggy. The positivity is oozing through you right
That wasn't me being really positive. What do you mean?
I'm great.
You not feel it?
You can feel it.
Left this house for 2 minutes. Came back inside. Everything's going swell.
Wonderful.
I just went over to a friend's house and watched Sinners. Finally, good movie.
Ah.
Oh, I
Recommend
need to
it.
watch this. Hmm.
It's honestly, I wasn't sure what to think, and I came out of it, and like, I was already satisfied. And then the last, I don't think it's a spoiler. There's like a post-credit roll, and then that post-credit, like, I was like, okay,
Sealed
I
it.
love this so much.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, there you go. A little teaser for everyone. Stella Achilleos work for the big movie industry.
Warner Brothers, hire me.
We're not getting paid for this ad.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by Sinners or any other film, but if they want to, feel free. We'll take that money. But speaking of helping us pay the bills, let's talk about becoming a Plat Chat member, because you can become a Plat Chat member, and you might even get featured on the show and get a bunch of other things as well, like access to some exclusive content and access to the Discord as well. And you can ask a question like Gwonkle did here, who's a person that I know from my streams quite a lot. This is the question: which piece of util, got it up, here we go, which piece of util do you relate to on a spiritual level, and why? Like, which piece of utility in the game makes you go, oh my god, that's so me, the most?
On a
The
spiritual
why is optional,
level.
I guess. Sometimes a spiritual connection cannot be described with mere words. I mean, I'm hoping that you can somewhat describe it, otherwise it's not going to be a podcast piece, is it? If you just go, well, yeah, that's just it.
Yeah.
Anyone got any suggestions? I had a little thought about this, if you don't.
I think I've got one. If
Go on,
not,
Sliggy.
if people
Go
need
for
some
it.
time to think. Okay. I would say right now in my career, I'm a little bit like Wingman. As much as I hate him, I think I'm a little bit like Wingman, because I'm doing basic shit right now. And sorry to cast, it's the money gone. First time. But I will say that he gets praised for doing simple stuff. And at the moment in my job, I'm doing simple stuff. I'm just turning up, click a stream, just watch a game
Just a
and
little
talk.
guy.
And I think
Yeah.
I'm getting way too much praise, and I think he's getting way too much praise for
In
just
this
doing the average
context,
stuff.
if you're a wingman, who is your gecko? Who's throwing? Is it?
I don't really want to think about that. It's probably somehow mini, but I don't know how
I
it
was about to
works.
say.
I don't know how it works. I don't want to go down that route.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good one, though.
But
That's a good one.
he plants, people cheer. I turn on my
Yeah.
stream, people give me praise. Where was this when I was coaching? I was doing double the hours I'm doing now. Got nothing. Observing, nothing. This one's the easiest. But everyone seems to praise me, and everyone seems to praise him. It's dumb.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Thank you.
If you guys
That's
need
good.
to think, I thought about Harbor Cove. You know, a lot of
Ooh.
shit is going on. I mean, Fleet's always swore, so I
Yeah,
can
we
as well.
double down.
Yeah, double down. A lot of shit's going on outside. I'm just chilling. I'm chilling inside this little bubble. You can't shoot me. I'm in the smoke. I'm just chilling. I'm vibing. I'm happy right now. Inside my little cove.
though, and
Yeah, I
you're
like
easily
that.
broken.
Jesus.
You're easily broken.
Yeah.
Wait, the cove's a good one. I
In
like
fact,
that.
like you're very
Yeah.
easy to shatter. Which, based on
Wow.
some of your
Maybe,
your
yeah. Well,
streams,
that's
I
the thing.
suppose, might
The
be
only thing
correct.
that angers me is bad pro Valorant. Everything else, I'm chilling. It's just bad pro Valorant. Everything else, I'm happy. Choba, Seth, you want to add to the discussion? You
I
don't have
would
to.
I
Oh
would
my
go with I'd go with Gate Crash. You know, you try to plan ahead for that one big move, for that one big TP. When it works out, it pays off, but a lot of times you look like a fool. That's just generally how I go about things. So, you know, you go for the big payout that one time, and then you go for it again 50 more times until it works that one big time. So,
Yeah, that's good as well.
That's a good one.
Uh,
You don't have to. Just say anything. Honestly, just say anything.
don't even have to describe
I'll
it.
follow
Rimmel.
someone in the line of Sliggy. I don't know who my gecko is in this context. I guess it's myself somehow, but I'll say Mosh because I'm thrown in there and I just fuck everything up. Like I'm here to cause chaos. You didn't see it coming, and then I just land in there and I'm just like, yeah, let's incite, let's cause some controversy.
Honestly, yeah, I can see that. Hurts
that's
both
a great
teammates
answer. I
and
like it.
opponents. That's
Oh,
good.
is
Yeah.
camera froze? Oh yeah.
Yep,
like that.
Okay, it should be
Okay.
recovering. I think we're
Yes,
all right.
you're recovered. You're recovered. Okay, wonderful. Great question. Yeah, go and join and become a member as well, and you can ask some very intelligent questions. Because as you can see, only the most intelligent fans are Plat Chat members. So maybe think about that.
Real
Anyway,
quick,
let's talk about
TMV.
Pacific.
Real quick, our
Mm.
members actually host tournaments and stuff now, and they just finished a members only tournament. So if you guys want to become a member, or if you're already a member, make sure you're in the Discord and look out for that.
Love
Yes,
that.
and I
Tournaments happening all
believe
the time.
Kurt, there is going to be whoever wins that tournament is going to play against a group of Plat Chat members. No.
Yeah, we're gonna try organizing something like that in the off season. So
Okay.
Wow.
Well, there you go.
Oh, that's cool.
You want a diff
That's
sideshow?
huge.
This could be your chance to become a
That's
Plat Chat
huge.
member.
How many members do we have at the moment, Kurt? Maybe we set a goal for today.
let's take a look.
I
Let's take a look.
demonetized us, so maybe
We
maybe
need
people
70
can-
members for 1,000.
70.
We need 70.
It's so possible. It's so doable.
70 today.
Yeah.
That's easy.
How many?
It's so
Doable.
doable.
There's
guys.
2,800 of you watching right now. I guarantee more than 70 of you are not members. Go
Yeah.
steal your parents' credit cards out of their wallets.
Oh my goodness.
I don't
That's
think we can.
really
I don't think we can.
I'm kidding. In Fortnite.
It's a different
in
form
Fortnite.
of
In
monetization.
In Fortnite,
No,
yes. Let's double down.
no.
Just become a member. Just
Consensually-
become a member. Let's
Yes.
let's move on.
However,
Let's move on.
however, it may happen. Become a
yeah,
member.
don't rob anyone to become a member. Anyway, let's move on and talk about Pacific then. And let's start off with what was a banger game to start off with. Nongshim, perhaps the big
Oh.
upset of the week, some might say. Nongshim, and Chobra's here to go crazy about this. Nongshim managed. Well, Chobra,
Listen,
hold on.
I don't even have to go. I just want to. I think one clip really just sums it up, quite frankly. All right, just
on.
this whole match. All right, can we, Kurt? Do you have the clip? Can we play that?
Because
Because I think this is just a good summary of overall how this match went. You know, just no one had faith, including myself. Right? I voted against Nongshim last week.
You were freaking.
Well,
here we go.
no, you can't say that.
We need audio for this one.
Just shocking.
Yeah, we need
Can I just
audio.
send a quick message to Sliggy? Sliggy's always trying to blame me for everything. Well, guess what? I found someone more powerful. He can overcome all of my powers. It's called Zeta Guy. His name's
Mate,
Manny. He's gonna cure everything.
it's
wrong with
1-0.
Valorant, all right? Don't
It's
you
a best
worry.
of 3.
I mean,
coming.
well, was it his idea to
He's
put the
celebrating
Waylay
like he's
breach
he's
on
celebrating
onto
like it's a
this?
2-0.
Because
Is this guy
you gotta talk about
okay?
Navi. You
This
gotta
guy's
talk about
crazy
Navi.
right
It's
now.
like amazing Waylay
Yeah.
hits.
I-
You're making
Oh,
This
crazy.
guy's
Wow.
crazy right now. It's a
I
1-0.
was baffled at this. We got
It's
some
one
clips.
map,
Play
mate.
the replays because this was so
Wow.
much better than.
Is that it?
Yeah, well,
then-
it gets
wow.
better because he then goes on to say that he now has to hate watch so he can quote unquote annihilate me on Flash this week. So I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the annihilation.
Wow.
I
No,
just
I'll
closed
sit
it.
here.
We got that. We
No.
got it.
I honestly, and I was like, I was starting. I was like, we went to Ascent. I think it was next map, and I was just like, oh man, I'm ready to hate watch. Then they started to come out with some good stuff, and I just had to accept it. It was really good, man. Like it was actually really, really good. They did some cool stuff. They on Lotus they had the Waylay, right, and they were doing all the trap play stuff. And it was awesome. It reminded me of you know when old school teams used to play camera contact into Astra stuck, and you have like a breach stun, then you have a nade. They're basically just doing that with just a Waylay. Essentially just camera contact into trap play. I don't think it works multiple times, but bring this out first time. The theory's so good that you're going to be winning, and that's what they did. And then Chobra started celebrating early, and I was like, please, man, these guys are going to lose right now. Like, I can't have Chobra gloating. He's 1-0 up, and he's already celebrating victory. And then they ended up just looking better on Ascent as well. They had a similar theory of just like Viper over towards A with a wall and a smoke, and it just created so much pressure. And Gen.G didn't know what to do, and Munchkin was getting pretty pissed, man. I could see like the amount of mistakes he started making. But there was one round where like a molly landed on his head and when he was on defense, and he just didn't know what to do. And you could just see from his camera, I think a molly landed on his head, and then he like ran out into the open and got spammed. And dude, ever since that round, he was just furious, just running around with his knife out, getting caught of timings. And dude, it was such a good game plan from Nongshim. I really wanted to hate watch, but I was just like, it's playing way too good, man. It's playing way too good, man. You just gotta let Shobra have it.
Yeah, this was like, to me, this was like quintessential best case scenario Nongshim. They're coming out with their own creative comps that not really anyone else is playing that much. It suits them, it suits their style, and they cook up a bunch of stuff that is just really good, and then they execute it really well. Like this was kind of like peak Nongshim, I thought, is what we got in this game. I did want to highlight this round because this was, I don't think I've ever seen a round like this.
So
where
good.
It was an ace versus an ace. So you got Munchkin here. It looks like he's going to win the round. And then, well, I mean, it's a 1v4. It's a pure 1v4. I don't want to spoil it,
to
but he's
get
going
the
to win.
spank is
This is so
sick.
crazy.
Oh,
It's
that's
so
cool.
crazy.
That's
That is
When he
so
pulled
good.
that off, I was like, "Oh, he could do this." Like I had,
You know-
I had nothing but doubt prior to that, and then as soon as he
Yeah.
recovered the spike, I was like, "Okay, this is possible."
What's really funny is I missed that when it happened live, when he dashed to get the spike, because I had my head in my hands after Munchkin got the triple. Zeta guy, if you watch my watch party, Zeta guy's like locked in, and I'm just like, oh no.
He played it so well
Unbelievable.
though. It was the ace for the ace at the end here in the 1v1. It's really sick, but man, what a round. Yeah, he looks they look good with the Waylay. They had some good stuff with Waylay. I'm seeing like questionable stuff, sometimes some cool stuff like dotted around with the Waylay, but this was like one of the stuff where I was like, Dambi looks comfy, he's getting good setup for it, and it's not like the normal Dambi stuff where he's going over the top crazy. Like he actually has like good support, and like a lot of the time the pathing, at least on attack, wasn't like I'm just gonna die. It was actually like pretty good. I was super impressed with Nongshim this week.
Yeah.
You could tell how much prep had gone in.
Chobra, I want to just quickly get a take from you. Right? I know obviously you're Nongshim bias and all that, but going into
Sure.
playoffs now, you know they're playing against Talon. We'll get to that in a bit. But overall playoff expectations, where are you?
Honestly, the thing is I'm just happy that they've secured playoffs, right? Like to me, that was the what you wanted as an Ascension team. You get to go back to Ascension, and if they're guaranteed for Ascension looking like this, like quite frankly, like even if they drop out, like I'm feeling good about the team.
Right.
Where are they? I mean, Pacific's tough, but I do think that they now like have a chance to make a run. Like I would say before, if they had made it still, I would have been like, I mean, listen, let's be honest, objectively speaking, I don't think they have a chance to make a run. They just kind of got into playoffs. But if they're playing like this, I mean, maybe there's a shot.
Do you agree with the fact that maybe there's like no pressure now? That they kind of at least made Ascension?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's pretty big. Also, from talking to, so I got to talk to Domby the week before, and then this time, since Domby was on the main stage, I talked to Persia afterwards, and it feels like the general consensus I got from them was that they kind of just summarized that they remembered how to win, if that makes sense, right? We're seeing that with a lot of different teams, especially Ascension teams, like getting back in the habit of winning. And this team, you know, they talked about it even in the offseason with me, where they said, you know, we won for so long. It took us a year to face another loss. And then once we lost in Pacific, we actually we couldn't recover from that mentally because we didn't know how to handle it. But, you know, it took them a stage, a kickoff, and then it feels like it's back now. Persia specifically said that he thinks one of the biggest reasons they won against Gen.G was that he regained confidence. He felt like he really crumbled after he had bad performance in the stage one. But
super well.
Yeah. Once he got confidence, even if he's not getting all the top frags, like I think that just builds that kind of vibe with everybody now having that confidence. So I'm just happy to see that. I'm just happy to, like you guys said, that they're playing their own like peak Valorant, and that's great to see.
I mean, he kind of was in this series, though, if I remember. I mean, it felt
I mean, he
like
was,
at least that he was trending near the top. Like, I feel like it was Gambi and then basically him. And the number of multi-frags that he was getting in several rounds was just insane. Like, there's so many times it's just like, if Persia doesn't get that one extra kill, that 2K, that 3K, that Gen.G would be able to turn it. But
I do think that Persia also now is getting comfy with RB existing. So like RB being able to be the one that lurks and no, hold on, that sounds.
Uh-oh, what's happening in the new house?
No, what I mean is that since RB is always trying to stay alive or getting the lurk, Persia feels comfy to like take the fights more than before, where he's like, do I need to stay alive, like et cetera, et cetera. So I think that helps a lot as well.
Okay, great. Nongshim, they're on a good path. Let's just quickly flip to the other side, though, and talk about Gen.G for a second, because this loss, you know, you might be like, oh, well, they just lost to Nongshim, who playing well, like, that's fine, whatever. But no, that means that Gen.G are a 4 seed now. It's turned out to be that they are now a 4 seed, and so now they are starting in the lowers. Now, later on, I'm going to talk about champ points and, like, you know, what it fully means, but basically, it's not looking good. And the thing is, Gen.G, they play the loser of RRQT1. So that first game is crazy. That's a crazy first game. Seth, let's talk about Gen.G just quickly. Does this shake you at all, or do you still think, are you still confident in this team overall that they will go on a lower bracket run?
I'm confident in this team because I don't think that they'll have a stinker like this again. And I say that not to take credit away from Nongshim, but because at one point Texture was like 0709.
If you go on the
Lotus,
damage cut of Lotus, I think it's Lotus defense side. Yeah, if you go Lotus defense side on VLR, he's 0-8. He has 9 ACS and 9 ADR. 9 ADR playing Raze.
That's
It might be I think it. I mean, it literally is the worst performance that he has ever had in his career, and he's been playing since 2020. Like, he has never had a low like this, and I just don't see that being consistent at all. I feel like this is kind of Gen.G's version of like a Paper X moment, like where they lost to Zeta, which again, it's like Zeta prepared really well, but also no one on Paper X was hitting their shots. People on Gen.G were not hitting their shots for the most part. And Texture not being a part of that is a really big deal. Like, initially when they were winning, I was like, oh yeah, like, how great is it for Gen.G that like Texture can have 0 kills and they're still looking this dominant? And then it just started spiraling out of control. I was like, okay, well, now we're getting to the dark side of it all, where no one's hitting their shots. Everyone stopped playing the game. I just don't see that carrying forward again. I think that the players are good enough. I think the coaching staff is good enough that they'll be ready for whoever they end up facing against. Obviously, if it's RRQ, it's just fucking hilarious.
It has to be,
the fact that
It would be
it's
so
just
sick.
them destined again, and the fact that it like champions implications on the line as well. Like, it's
All three,
just,
right? Yeah.
It feels like it's really slated to have it come down to that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Kurt, while I'm talking, can you just try and get round 8 up, just so on Ascent, just from the Nongshim Gen.G game, just so that people can see it as well. But I think that I'm kind of on board with what Akidas is saying. I think that Nongshim had really good prep, and I think that they lost to RRQ at the beginning just because it was like relatively weird timing with everyone going back. But like, look at the kind of anti stuff that's happening, man. Munchkin's in this corner. Wherever we see a molly for this corner, like they were so on top of them. They dismantled this demo, and I think that these kind of losses before a big moment like playoffs is big because you can kind of look at all the stuff and look at how teams are exploiting you. So I don't think this stuff will happen again, even though it's insanely scary. But this is why Pacific is so sick, man. Because I would look at Gen.G and be like, yeah, they're kind of still, with what's happened, I would still say they're good for like a top 4 at a champs. And they might not make champs. They could come 7th to 8th in playoffs. That's so sick. This region is so stacked. It's going to be awesome to watch. I'm really hyped up for, I think EMEA playoffs is like, we've already kind of decided a top 3, but Americas and Pacific playoffs is going to be sick. The lower bracket is so scary, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Kaquka, who isn't here right now, but apparently does have an out, so we do need to move on to make sure she's can not shout at us in Spanish. But anyway, let's talk about Paper X and Talon, because they played a game. This is 2 playoff teams again. Paper X ultimately came out on top, and so they have won the group. Talon had already made playoffs, but they will be they faced Nongshim in that first playoff game. So that I think is an interesting one. Tough one to call that. We'll see what we've picked in that one. But this one to me was kind of like a good old fashioned, SEA slugfest. Some moments, there was like some old Paper X where they lose some like 5v3s, and it's like, Jing, where you going? Some stuff like that happened in this game, but a very, very close game. I think let's start on the Talon side, Seth. The thing with Talon, I think, all year, is that they've consistently been good, but just a little bit worse than those teams, those kind of top 5 teams. Now, this game played out in a very similar way. Do you think it's possible, considering how close this was? Only 4 rounds in it to decide it, ultimately. Do you think it's possible for Talon to do something, considering they are so close to Paper X, or do you think that they just can't get past that ceiling? They're just not going to be able to do it?
You mean like going into the next series? Like, do I think?
Yeah,
they'll
like
get that?
playoffs and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
because now they're on the green light. So I think that they'll be
You
fine.
converted.
It's
okay.
one of those things where like I got to talk to Frost a little bit after this series, and he's so frustrated by the whole concept and the fact that there's this like pretty consistent back and forth. Obviously, there was the streak break, and now they're kind of like back on that track. And I know that he's just like, I fucking hate this. I hate that this is the narrative. Because obviously, like when you're on the team, when you're the coach, like you just don't see that way. You see it in the minuscule things that are occurring, the rounds that you've lost, rather than like the fucking grandiose, mystical, back and forth, swing of it all. But it's at some points maybe this is something that ends up weighing on the players a little bit. But I think that overall, they should be okay. The thing that cost him a little bit in the first one is that Cruz had a little bit of a stinker. He was getting caught quite a bit. He was able to make up for that individually in a really good way on bind. He was pounding. But it really just came down to like a handful of moments, a couple of missed calls. Like there was this one round, I don't remember which one it was, because I'm so well prepared for the show, where they had to save. They had like 3 people alive. The spike is over on the A side. They've got 2 people on B, and Jitboys just pushes into sight and dies, even though they need to save their guns and there's no way to get a plant down.
Yep.
It's just like, what is the call there? Like, what is the?
We went back in time. It was
What is the
2022.
attempt?
Is what it was.
It was a bit bizarre. So it was a couple things like that where it's like, okay, like if you like save that weapon, like that butterfly effect could go forward and maybe you have a slightly better performance. It's just these very little minor mistakes that kept coming through from Talon every now and again that ends up costing them being able to at least push it into a third map, let alone win the series.
Yeah, I agree with that. I didn't feel that bad about Talon after watching it, really. I think they probably would have won Icebox if something didn't play out of his mind. It actually was just his 9-1 on fast kills. I feel like sometimes when I watch Talon, when they're on that lose week, I do lose a bit of faith. I felt like this week I lost no faith in them. I'm actually like, okay, you guys look pretty good, man. Just like Achilles said, a couple of small mistakes, a couple of maybe playing together a bit more in terms of like the plans. And I think they're good. It's all like really easy to fix stuff.
I'd say that like at their worst right now, Talon looks like RRQ of like last year maybe, when it's just like they're right there, like they should be able to get into the playoffs. Like they're that team that like can be competitive, but they always kind of have those fumbles.
You have to
But
remember
like
so.
a lot more consistent is what I mean. But like that's at their lows where I'm like they are this
You
team
have to
that's
remember,
capable of
Jover is
this.
the biggest RRQ fan of last year of all time. He thinks they're the greatest team that's ever played, so he's never going to agree.
I think this Talon is much better, quite frankly.
But that's why I'm saying is like in their lows, they like that's
Yeah.
their lowest is that like you
Yeah.
see the potential and you know what they're capable of.
Yeah, I
The
think
worst place to be.
yeah, I think it's just something that I was constantly reminded of is that, this is a team full of rookies. Like even Primi, quite frankly, is technically a rookie, right? He started just at the playoffs of stage 2 last year. So, yeah. So I think that, when you consider that for a lot of other teams, we would probably cut them way more slack, quite frankly, even in some of the other matches. But I think it's because their goods look so good that it's like, okay, the expectation continues to go higher. I just wanted to mention that I did think it was hilarious that not long ago something was on Frost and Babybay's podcast on Spike Talk, and something straight up tells him to his face, like, what are you going to do to stop me? And then they get into this game and he just goes, exactly, what are you going to do to stop me? And he just takes all the duels and wins. And it's like, I think there were definitely rounds where you could tell that was getting to the players' heads as well. Like they started to get scared of taking duels with something if they knew like he was around the corner and things like that. So there's a little bit of that as well.
Yeah. Okay. Let's. I mean, we don't need to, I think, spend too much time on Paper Rex. I don't think they looked amazing in this game, but yeah, some individual
looked
moments
great.
kind of.
That's
Yeah,
I think
individuals.
something looked great.
Something perhaps looking good, which is again, he's started off slower in the year, but it seems like he's now like he's on a good trend. Which if you can keep up, I mean, obviously Paper Rex are going to be one of the favorites for champs. Assuming they make it. I'll get into that later on, but they probably will. And yeah, they have a bye as well now in the playoffs. So things are looking pretty good in Paper Rex land for the most part, even if they didn't play their absolute best game this week. I all agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. We can then move on to talking about DRX, who are the other group winner as well, as they managed to beat Global Esports. I do want to just quickly start on Global here because, you know, obviously it is the end of the road for 4 teams in Pacific now, and Global are one of them. And one thing that I think Global have done, I mean, it feels like they've done it every year in partnership, but, you know, just like completely blown it up, right? They've completely gone 5 new players, completely new team. Let's try and build this up. I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like this is probably the first Global team that I feel like you can keep like 3 of these players. You can keep a core together and build for next year and try and improve rather than completely blowing up. Am I off track or am I on the right track?
Yeah,
I think
100%
you're on the right
Agree.
track, and I think the stupid thing is that global fans are saying keep
Blow it up.
keep Euroton and then get 4 Indian players, and we don't care how bad it is. And I'm like, why do you want another reset? Like I get the representation aspect of it, given, you know, just the org and where they're from, but at the same time, like, just fucking try, like, get some wins, man. Like, make a playoffs. Like, you keep a tight knit core, try to keep the coaching staff, and just build. You've got so much fucking time right now, and I think that they have a ton of the right pieces in the right places, with some more iteration, with some less fuckery happening, with, you know, from like outside of the team's direct control and having to like lose people and that kind of stuff. Like, I think that this is a team that like absolutely could have challenged, you know, their way into playoffs. I think that this is a team that could have had a slot there if they had a bit more time and were dealt a slightly better hand.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that. It kind of looked, it looked maybe more convincing than some of the other iterations in terms of, but it can still look the same as well. Of like, one map looks really good, and you're like, oh, I'm pretty hyped up. Then I felt like the consistency of that one map actually didn't stay around. So it wasn't like they had that one map they were like really good at. It was more just like, this map looks really good this week, and then next week it maybe doesn't, which like worries me a little bit. But I kind of agree with the core. You've at least got to keep Udo. Like, you've at least got to keep Udo, and then I think Crystal's been
Crystal
playing
as well. Yeah.
great. Yeah,
Those would be my top 2, and then my third would be probably Poppy. And then if you wanted to build out from there, I think that you could. But yeah,
Okay, let's turn to our attention to the other team though, who is the team that is still relevant for this year, and that's DRX, who have put themselves in a great spot, to be honest, in terms of making it to champs, because now they've got a bye. They've just kind of, I think they've kind of just gone slightly under the radar, to be honest, because people are just, you know, people are focused on Paper Rex and are maybe, you know, more excited for Gen.G. I don't feel like the hype is there for this team, but I feel like they've just been like very good this entire stage.
and
I
getting
think
better.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, getting better.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing. Like I'm normally pretty down on DRX, I would say, like throughout this year, even though they've actually done it right. It's the first time in like week after week, I'm like, they're getting better. Hyunmin's playing better. Next week keeps playing better. Hyunmin's playing better, and I'm like, oh man, they're actually getting to their top. They're like peaking at the right time, I think is the main one. Dude, I'm on board with DRX. I think they're making champs for sure.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
that.
would-
Oh, sorry. I was just.
No,
gonna
you
say,
can go ahead.
I think a lot of people's like negativity or like their like almost ignorance, I guess, to DRX in this stage has just kind of been off the back of, again, more roster swaps. Because, you know, they're going into EWC, and so it's like, okay, they're bringing up Flicker from the academy teams. Everyone's like, okay, you know, maybe Estrella's out. And then it's like, oh, Flashback is back. And everyone's like, well, what the fuck does this mean? Like, you know, is it like Flicker and Bane now starting? And I think that people got really burnt on that because there has been so much movement in the roster for DRX. Obviously, again, not fully on them. Like, Flashback's absence was a huge curveball, and otherwise they would have been happy to just stick with the 5-man that we kind of like see for the longest time, I think. But you know, again, it's the same story of DRX's coaching staff just being great at training up these players and getting them to a great spot very quickly, to where it's like, yeah, okay, it's minus Bane, Flashbacks back in, straight as they're IGLing, and they're continuing to just look better and better.
Yeah, I think the IGLing and just overall like how they're moving on the map has gotten so much better. Like, not obviously Estrella himself. Like, I've always kind of called him out for being super slow. Like, he has good ideas, but they're always a beat late. But we talked about this last week. He's gotten better, but there are certain rounds where you can tell like Hyunmin is making calls, like he's calling for certain things to happen, he's calling for support, he's calling that he's going to go in and clear things, and everyone's kind of working in tandem, rather than I would say in the beginning of this year or the first half of this year where it's like they might still win, but it's like Hyunmin pops off, like it's a solo pop off, or like Flashback popped off. Now it's like, okay, Hyunmin did this, and as a result everyone else did, you know, A, B, and C, and they're winning as a team like very consistently. And then also credit where credit is due, like Estrella was fragging out in a lot of these rounds in this game as well against GE. So I think the comfort is just getting there, and if all of them are continuing to kind of reach new peaks, including Estrella, and then Mako returning to form, not IGLing anymore, like this could be a big return to like old form for DRX as a team and an org.
Absolutely. DRX, I mean, yeah, as we've been saying, basically they just look, I'm pretty sure if DRX win their first game, they are at champs, no matter what else happens. So they should be in a pretty good spot to do that, because they're going to play the winner of Nongshim Talon, particularly if it's Talon, because then the Talon, they will have won their first playoff game.
Yeah.
Red light for the DRX game, and then DRX are in champs. So
It's
honestly,
either red light or red force.
yeah, exactly, for DRX. But they should be in a good spot overall.
Yeah.
With winning that. Let's move on though to the most important game of the week in all regions, and it was between two teams. This game didn't mean anything, by the way. I mean, apart from like a slight points thing for Boom, but it's ZETA Division versus Boom. ZETA Division managed to beat Boom in a close game. Boom are the only Pacific team who did not win a game this entire stage. They are the perfect symmetry, 5-0 in stage 1 and 0-5 in stage 2. Now, if you are a Boom fan and you're wondering, can we still go to Ascension? Yes, you can. It's actually quite simple. You just need DFM to not finish in the top 4. As long as DFM lose, and they are starting in the lowers, then Boom will go and play in Ascension again. So that's what you need if you're a Boom fan. But they lost every single game. So are we worried that even if they do go to Ascension, that like it doesn't? Yeah.
Personally, I kind of like, I would say that even halfway through stage 2, I was thinking like, nah, they should be fine. You know, you're learning so much from this. They showed what their peaks can be in stage 1. But the fact that like even when it doesn't matter, you can't muster it up to really drive a point home. I'm not saying that I think they would lose at Ascension, but I don't think I would strongly favor them, right? Of like they should be a shoe-in for grand finals type of deal.
Well, you think they would lose the Nongshim?
Well, I mean, sure, but like, can they reach the grand finals to lose to Nongshim would be the big question. I mean, first of all, will Nongshim even be there? I mean, I don't even know. Like, they might just have the spot already. Like, who knows? But the point is I just think that we saw sparks of it, like individually speaking, in this game.
Yes.
But not enough where I'm like, okay, at least we saw what we saw in stage 1, right? Like good anti, consistent aim, all of that. So.
I agree with that, especially like DOS9 and Famous. I think I only feel comfy when Famous has an op these days.
Yeah,
really, for him to actually perform. But DOS9 was definitely having some good rounds. Maybe trying to force it a little too much, I would say. But I still like that the confidence is there. Boom and Ascension. I don't know enough about the tier 2 teams coming from Pacific, so I don't really know. But I think they need to be playing a better level than what they're showing at the moment. For sure. I can't imagine the tier 2 teams in Pacific would lose against like the level that they're playing in stage 2. So yeah, I'm a little worried for Boom on that if DFM does fail. So yeah, we'll kind of see. But it looked a little better, but a win would have been nice for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the ZETA side, I mean, ZETA guy was there. I don't know if either of you, Seth or Chobra, talked to him after watching his team win. I assume he was absolutely flying, even though it didn't mean anything.
He was he was over the moon. I mean, he was very happy about it. But he, of course, he did admit like, yeah, it sucks that this was a little bit, late to try to make a run at the playoffs, and then he was like going on to basically like, it's time to support DFM, which is great that he's got that second layer. But I'm this. Again, made me, I think, hopeful for ZETA Division. I think that they could stick with 10-10 if that ends up working out and kind of continue to build. I think that we saw a lot of fantastic moments from pretty much everybody on ZETA Division. I'd say XDL in particular was just having a whale of a time pretty much across all the maps. Like, some of his hero plays were I would say next to none, except for Shiro and DOS9 at times, because he was the one. They were the two that kind of like ran things back from Boom. But yeah, they looked incredible. Depp took a little while to find his footing. I couldn't believe it was his first time ever playing Chamber. Obviously, it makes sense given that he played against with Laz for the longest time. But his first ever registered game on VLR for Chamber, which was crazy. And eventually found his footing, and he started looking better. This was not a good clip for that, but there's plenty of other great ones.
Okay.
I think
you
sorry,
listening?
just one more thing. I just want to like XDLL just been playing so well past 2 weeks. Like his aim looks insanely on. So it's gonna be interesting that the ZETA playing so well at the end of the season gives like the management, coaches, whoever kind of decides that a pretty rough decision of just like what do we do here? Like what do we actually do?
I was literally about to ask if you guys were in charge of Zeta, would you try and run it back, or would you think,
Dude, I think so. The peak at the end here is so high.
I think I would run it back.
Yeah,
I would.
I think
Like,
I'm
I
running
mean,
it back.
I think, you could always do trials, right, with other prospects just to see, but like I wouldn't be looking to replace someone. It would just be if someone's like so good that I have to pick them up, right? That would just be the other difference.
okay,
That's it. Like if you wanted to, if you could somehow, like if you could, obviously get May. I think any team would want to fucking
For
get
sure.
May.
yeah,
And then the only other one, which maybe you could get on a technicality, would be Sato from like Leviathan.
I doubt Lev are gonna let go of him.
yeah, I
Something
don't think
tells
that's
me
happening.
Lev can't be run that badly.
I'm just saying, the possibility is there, and if you could get that kid as well, that would be correct as shit. So those would be the first two that I'd look at. But otherwise, I think you can keep it the same.
Yeah, you can keep it. I think 1010 did enough, and like he had a big like emotional reaction at the end. They said in the interview it was more just down to him feeling like he could have done better, like maybe from the earlier games. So that at least shows that he like really wants it. So I like that a lot. I like when the players show the emotions. Because everyone in my chat's always just like, why are they crying? Like, why are they showing so much emotion? It's like, dude, it's their whole life. Like, it's when people either lose or win or something, you got to think this is 10 hours a day, like pretty much every day, 12 hours. It becomes everything. You miss out on doing loads of real life stuff to just try and be the best in the game. But when they show emotion, it's because it's like the whole everything comes either crumbling down or they like achieved something, or they're like it's just so much pent up emotion. So I like when I see it because it's cool because you just get to feel a little bit of how much it means to players, and it obviously means a lot to him. And I did think he played well in the last 2 weeks, so I would be down for him having a shot next year.
Okay, good. Well, nice positivity week 3. Positive there for Zeta.
nice.
Let's go. Let's fucking go. Not so positive for one of these teams we're about to speak about though. Which is Team Secret.
Should I leave?
Team Secret.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you might enjoy this one, Seth. To be honest, you might enjoy this one. What a bizarre
be
game
back in
this
a bit.
was.
What a banger game!
I thought it was a banger.
weird one. A weird one. For those of you who didn't watch this game, RRQ basically dominate this entire game. Apart from that, Team Secret from 12-3 down, come back and win 9 in a row and then win an OT. And then if you go on the other two maps, Kurt, as well, like then RRQ were just like, oh yeah, we're way better than this team. I mean, they 12-0 them on the next map. Like it's almost a 13-0. A very weird one overall. Now, Jesse Vash played in this game as well for SBW, which was like a strange beginning to it anyway. And then it just got weirder. Let's start with the Team Secret side. By this point, I don't think they could have made playoffs. But anyway, it was crazy, right? Like whatever is going on.
They would have.
Why did Jesse Vash play?
This was
my first
playoffs on the
question.
line.
This was playoffs on the line.
Oh, it was playoffs on the line.
Yeah, it was
Sorry, I
for
missed
both
it.
If they beat
teams. For
RRQ, they
both
would
teams,
have
actually.
knocked RRQ out of playoffs.
Wow. Well, there you go. This did matter. So why is Jesse Vash playing? Was my first question because I missed that because I was watching some China at the same time.
They haven't said anything.
It was just an actual like benching kind of thing, not like an illness.
It could, I mean, because SBU was at least there, right? He was in the coaching booth. Whether he was sick or not, we do not know. They haven't said anything, at least not on the channels that I follow. So we haven't seen that. Quite frankly, though, like I don't know. I didn't think it was as weird because let's be honest, as SBU's calling wasn't working out, right? No matter what it was, like it just was not working out. So you go for a Hail Mary, it's do or die, sure, but you go for a Hail Mary, you know Jesse Vash, like his calling, I think was always a safe bet within Pacific, especially on the defense side, especially on the Silva maps. And then, you know, you have someone who can also just kind of help bring up the mental aspects. And you just go for the shot. I didn't think it was that crazy. I didn't think it was that crazy.
I agree with that as well. I think it's if people have watched a lot of like how 100 Thieves have gone into stage 2, it reminded me a lot of that, where it's just like we believe like kicking Boostio or changing Boostio is our best chance. I think that's the same as this, where they're just like, I think this is our best chance. We have him sitting there. That's what's maybe been lacking. That's what we feel can get better with him in. Let's just go for it. And the ascent was cool from them as well. That they played the Vice Chamber, which is just which looked pretty hard for RRQ to play against on attack for sure. And the first game was an absolute banger, so it was pretty good from Team Secret up until the other maps, and you could maybe see the lack of practice on the other maps with Jesse seeping in for sure. I have a lot of good stuff to talk about RRQ. I don't know if you guys.
Let's just flip over to RRQ because Team Secret they're gone. You know, I assume the roster will be a bit different next year. I would think, unlike, you know, we're talking about Zeta Division. I assume this team will probably be a little bit different in the way it looks. But yeah, let's move on to RRQ. Sliggy, go on, you take the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing a lot of Waylay.
Yeah, so I think at least when I look at so the second map was Icebox, and this is where they were like really dominant. Dude, I love the coaches of RRQ because I can go into their games and I can see that their anti's really good. There was some stuff that's been that went like missing that no one really spoke about. I think it was against T1 where they were using like a Marshall for like a pixel lineup for like a recon that goes over towards A main against T1, which is like crazy, like the levels that we're going to in terms of new recons and stuff. But this Icebox was one of the best demonstrations of an anti I think I've seen. If you just go into the minimap here, so basically you can get like a good read on teams on attack for where their turret is, right? Smoke goes down, there's no turret here, it's watching behind. As soon as they see this drone, look how many people are rotating over. Everyone just switches over. Okay, you can do the same thing for the beginning of the next round as well. And they were just doing this all the time, just at the beginning, just scouting over towards middle with the op. Is the turret there? No, the turret's not there. Okay, then the turret has to be behind, and they're just 5-man deathballing. They don't really 4-1 and give themselves the options of going back. That's literally something that Team Secret don't do. And RQ had such a good read to that. Within the first 10 seconds, once that smoke's gone down over towards middle, if there's no turret over towards middle and they hear some sound, right, spots over towards middle, no turret, look at the A people here. Everyone's just instantly running over. They know there's 5 here. And it was just such a good read. It's one of, there was 2 great antis this week, and this was one of them. This was like a very good, obvious demonstration of it. And I've never really seen an anti this obvious from like a turret read. So yeah, I just wanted to shout out the coaches, and they had a great read on this. And then moving on to Sunset, they had a great read in terms of the ult strats the Team Secret like to do. Obviously with their Neon ult, they like to go through top mid. They kind of changed their trip up. And there was a trip top mid that just didn't get broken for like the whole game. So RQ just were like, well, they never prod middle. We can just have a trip here and we just get full info the whole time. So I was super impressed from RQ. This was a big coach Steph.
It's the Warbird's factor that just continues to work for RQ. He's just this incredible work, and he's like the guy really behind their anti. Team Secret actually,
you know, he's fucking cooking shit up for the Team Secret game. Yeah, he's
dude,
diving deep on the Team Secret
game. He
game.
did not sleep.
Oh, he cares.
Week,
No. Yeah, but I mean, I would say that as much as obviously Warwards deserves all the credit, like Ewok before Warwards had joined, like Ewok hard countered DRX's Haven, right? He was the one that actually first pioneered that on the C site, just constantly hitting that over and over again. And then I would also give credit to Crazy Guy, like back when he was on Bleed and Challengers, right through Ascension, like him and Legia would also have really, really good antis for defense specifically. So I think like this team, like you gotta watch out, you gotta be prepared to like change things up and throw some curveballs, because if you're playing against them whenever they're on defense, like they are going to know exactly what your patterns are. Like they've got 3 just giga brains just going through the VODs and going through everything. So lots of credit there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I mean, so we're feeling good. We're feeling good about another team. Not so much Team Secret, but RRQ going into the playoffs. They play T1 in their first game. So I mean, that's going to be interesting. Speaking of T1, let's quickly talk about T1 now. You might notice that Paperthin isn't here on this podcast, and that's for two reasons. One, because DFM lost. Two, because Kurt apparently hates DFM as well because he actually forgot. There you go. Do you see this title here? T1 take down DFM. That's
Dude, that was
Kurt
a
actually
good.
forgot
That's a
to
good
put-
title. Look at that title. That's a good title.
It's because Kurt actually forgot that this game. And Kurt, I was looking through the games. I was like, "There's only 5 games here," and I was like, for a minute there, I was like, going through every team. Like, no, that one's in there. Like, I was actually mid podcast having to work out which game you'd missed. But T1 took down DFM. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I missed some of this game because I was watching the Chinese playoffs and EDG finally realizing how to play Valorant again. Or more so, Trace trolling a little bit, to be honest. But talk me through this game then. T1, they took down DFM. Looks relatively comfortable. Let's start with the T1 side. Are we like we were for RRQ, where it's positive, it's all rosy, it's all happy?
It's good, man. Especially DH. This was an outstanding game from him. Whether it was clutches, decision making, util, every single time he was just really good util in terms of smokes, just doing his role. I loved this from DH. He showed a lot of confidence, and the team looked good, and they were winning the aim duels. Maybe there was a little bit of help from DFM, I would say, but definitely aiming to a high level. And this was one of those games where I hate to do this when I kind of like people ask like what happened in this game. Who's this a name diff? It was honestly just a name diff. There wasn't like too much anti, in my opinion, or like game plan diff. It was just Big Jewel decides this round. T1 won it.
T1 won.
There was,
yeah.
It was so fast because, like, you know what? I'll be honest. I was playing Battlefield 6 at the same time. I had the stream up. I had the stream up on my right monitor. I was playing Battlefield 6, trying to play the beta before it ended, and I like got into a game and I played it, and then I turned back to look at the monitor. I was like, it's like 12-3. Like what the or 9-3. Like what the fuck happened here? Like when I looked, it was even. It was even, and then I turned back and I was like, DFM was just getting bodied. It's like, what was going down? What's like? I didn't see the iceberg.
Dude,
Does that mean you're
explains
good
a
at
lot.
Battlefield? Does that mean you're
because-
not dying? Like you're just constantly alive? You're just
Well, he's always sitting on the hill with a sniper, not really helping the team. So that's one thing.
I don't know if it's saying much, but it's probably my best FPS game ever. Like I fucking pound in that game.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I will say, I think also Izu seemed to just be able to play with confidence now that he's like kind of permanently on Duelist, right? So yeah, like he's able to even obviously things like this in the 1v1, like the mind games, but even when they're just going for executes, I think this honestly from what we've seen, obviously we don't want to read into it too much, but from the documentary and things like that as well, this might even help their comms as well, right? Like Izu just being able to know like I have one job and it's to go in, get that one frag and just do whatever. If I'm alive, I get more, if not whatever, right? So I think that has really made things smoother. Now I agree with Sliggy that, you know, was it the deepest in terms of strategy? Probably not. But hey, if that's your strength, you lean into it, and T1 definitely did.
Okay, wonderful. And for DFM, just so I mean, so what Sliggy described, I think, is maybe like older DFM problems.
Yeah,
and
it
those
was that.
bubbling up.
I hate to single out players, but I just felt like Akame had such a bad game in terms of just it felt like, you know, all the one big kills that I was talking about, like this changes the round. It was just Akame, and there was like maybe 3 in my mind where he's positioned better, so it's not even like a 50-50. I would give him the percentage advantage, and he would just lose the duel. So I think maybe he was like a little bit stressed, or like the pressure kind of got to him a little bit. Yeah, the scoreline wasn't as bad as it suggests. It was literally just those
Crucial angels.
3v3 next angel. So.
I do think just overall the team was playing way more scared as well, like just as a whole. Like they just weren't swinging for fights. Like you had 2 people, usually in the past weeks, you would see them swing with May and just go trade. And then this time they're just like, hold on, like let's wait. Like we've got a good angle. Let's like wait for it. And then T1 just swings. And so I think there was definitely a bit of like a confidence or pressure thing going on as well, just for the overall team. But yeah, I agree that the scoreline, you know, 1 round difference and suddenly it looks different.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, I mean, DFM are starting in the lowers, and as a reminder, they do have to finish in the top 2 to make it to champ. So that wave by wave, well, the ship started taking on some water this week. Let's just put it that way. It's not fully sunk yet, but it's not looking amazing.
Traversing the North Sea, the waves are growing in size, but we are not capsized quite just yet. So
Yeah, not
we'll
amazing.
keep going, and you know what? At the end of the day, captain goes down to the ship. The captain's paper thin, so if nothing else, I get rid of him.
Blame him.
So
Yeah.
Okay. So what we'll do now is we're gonna go into. There's only 2 games that we can actually pick, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick those 2 games, which are 2 interesting games, 2 playoff games. Pacific playoffs, by the way, starts on Wednesday. It is not the normal Friday.
Yes.
FYI, it starts on Wednesday, so make sure you're there for that.
2 days from now.
Yes, 2 days from now. Unless you're watching the VOD of this, it could be 1 day from now or 0
right
days,
now.
or it could be happening right now. Check. It's Wednesday, the 13th of August. Anyway, we're gonna do those predictions. Then we're gonna talk about the champ points. I want to just kind of clarify things with where we are champ points wise, because of course that will determine 2 of the teams as well. And then we'll do a playoff bracket as well. So first off, let's start with the predictions though. Let's take a look at last week. The game of the week was Talon versus Paper Rex, a very close game decided by 2 rounds on each map.
tells
What
me
did you
Timmy
go for
won.
though? You went 82% Paper Rex, and you
Jeez.
got bailed out again. There's been a lot of these where you've been bailed out by the favorite just ever so slightly winning.
And it was not that clear of a margin by which Paper X won that. So
No.
Yeah, lucky again. Anyway, this, I mean, are we doing a match of the week, Kurt, for this? I mean, yes,
Yeah,
we
we'll
are.
have
It's
to
going to be
pick between the
RRQ.
2. Yeah.
Yeah, I think RRQ T1 is the correct choice.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's good.
Chobra, but I think that's going to be the match of the week.
Oh,
Very
no,
tough
that's
one to
fine.
call. Oh, is that good for you?
He
well,
wants
the
the pressure off.
first game,
you.
the first
he
game
really
as well,
wants the
though,
pressure off.
The first game is also a very interesting close game. I'm interested to see where we've gone. It's Talon versus Chobra's Nongshim RedForce.
I think he's done it. He's done it.
Chobra, tell me this first off, Chobra. Did you try to curse Talon? Is that what you tried to go for?
No. It's Talon.
No,
Listen, it's
no,
Talon's
definitely
winning
not.
week. Nongshim has never beaten Talon.
Ooh.
It's just, all the stars align.
Okay.
So
Well, Seth, tell me why Chobra's wrong then. Why will Nongshim beat Talon here?
Oh, I actually predicted Talon on the broadcast. I went with Nongshim because I figured that Chobra was going to try to prevent the curse, or to enact the curse rather. So I decided to pick Nongshim just solely to fuck with Chobra.
Okay. Am I crazy to think though, if Nongshim play like they did last week, they should be favorites? No.
Favorites is tough.
that's a
but
strong
I
word,
think-
yeah.
for Talon.
I think that this is a very close game. I think that in my mind, this is like a 60-40, a 55-45, honestly. Like, it's very close to coin flip for me.
Really?
But
honestly,
I very slightly favor Talon, but
As he says with a Nongshim patch
Yeah.
under his face.
Like what's going
again,
on here?
Yeah,
this
sometimes
is
you gotta
this
go
is
for it.
cosmetic. It's a breach stun. This is just to solely fuck with Chobra. I think that Nongshim absolutely can win that, especially given the form they showed in the last series.
I think so. I think if I wasn't, like a fan of the team or part of the org, etc., I think I would give Talon still like a minimum 65, if not 70.
Really?
advantage.
That
Simply-
high?
The
sim-
hell?
because
After what they did
I
last
think-
week.
Yes, because I think a big part of that was the anteing on Munchkin and how they call on Gen.G. And I think that's a lot harder to get a pulse on for Talon, depending, because you just don't know. Like you can prep with what you've seen, but coming into playoffs, like you have to consider the fact that they are gonna try switching one or
Frost
two
is
things.
Frost is gonna play triple
No.
Julius or something weird. Yeah.
You never know, man. You never know. But I also just think the I honestly think currently Talon, like the wild card factor of an individual popping off, and not just Primi, right? But like Tai, Primi, Killua, to me seems a bit scarier than current Gen.G. And that's not like downplaying Gen.G's players or anything. Obviously, they're all really good players. But I think Gen.G, their players pop off when they're like in their system. Whereas Talon, they tend to pop off when they like don't have the
feel like
system
it.
and they just when they feel like it. So I think that's harder to kind of prep against. So
Okay. But I think we all agree, good game. Very good game.
Very
Exciting.
good.
I mean, it
should
should be an
Yeah.
exciting absolute brawl. Yeah.
And the
If
next
there's
one is
no
as well.
overtimes on that, then I'll be shocked.
Okay. Well, the next one should be just as, if not more exciting. It's the match of the week. It's RRQ versus T1. Another banger.
I'm worried for this one. Okay,
Oh,
thank God
and
for
we've
that.
gone 2-2. Me and Choba going T1. Sliggy and Achilles going RRQ. Sliggy, tell me why you've gone for RRQ in this one.
Coaching diff.
You love the coaches.
Yeah, I'm coaching diff, man. They've
think
shown
that's
too
fair.
much good anti past 3 weeks. I know they have a little bit less time, but I gotta back them. I'm seeing some top level shit from them.
Okay. That's absolutely fair. I'll be completely honest. I literally had RRQ down and then last second changed it to T1. And I don't really know why, to be honest. I just had a feeling. Choba, why did you pick T1?
I mean, I agree that RRQ's coaching staff, the anti's really good. I also think currently T1 is starting to lean into something where they're not, playing with set plans in mind. It really is just let's go for firefights. And I think if you're playing with that comfort, I think they have a better chance. All things considered, I would say that RRQ on paper should be slightly favored, but I think in the current timeline, T1 probably has the best shot they have with how they're playing and how they're switching things up with their comps.
Okay.
It's a close one. I like percentage wise on this, it does feel 50-50. Like the only thing that separates me going a little bit to RQ is coach. But I giving this a percentage, it's hard, man. Because T1 are looking better and better.
I mean,
Especially
this
with
game
DH.
is so important as well. Like, I mean,
Oh,
to be
yeah.
honest, either way, you win, you play Paper Rex. You lose, you play Gen.G. I mean, that is insane.
It's not great.
That's
It's
a
an
shit
insane
spot
bracket.
to be in.
Yeah, it is. It really
It's
is.
an insane bracket to be in overall for these two teams. But that's what we've gone for. This is the match. I'd be interested to see what the Timmies pick. I'm very interested to see what
Oof,
the
yeah.
people,
I'll
people go for in this one.
I'll note that I did these preds and then I did my predictions, the actual show for like what shows up on broadcast, and I have already officially changed my mind. So I technically do have T1 winning on the
Wow.
on the broadcast.
I mean, he's just playing all the cards, all the
Yeah.
sides.
I mean, it's for similar reasons to what you guys had just listed. Like, I just kind of had a little bit of a feeling about it. I feel like Angry Buzz is going to show up, and whenever that happens, I feel like he just pounds. But also, like, I'm very excited to see Buzz v Jempkin, so that should be a sick
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I'm casting this series, so that'll also be
Cool game.
Cool. Okay, I do just want to quickly, Kurt, if you can just show the champ point situation, because again, this is like, we're in playoffs now, stage 2. Like, the champ points, this is what it's all been for. This is what it's all been leading up to. And the champ points in Pacific is crazy. It is crazy. So I'll try and, as simply as I can, quickly explain the situation for basically every team. If you're DFM, Nongshim, Talon, you can see those teams are highlighted already. They're in playoffs. The only way they make champs is by finishing in the top 2. The points doesn't matter for them. They just got to finish in the top 2, and that's the way they make it. For those of you wondering as well, you don't get any champ points for winning games in playoffs. You only get points for finishing in the top 4. Okay? So top 4 is also quite important for this. If you're Paper Rex, I'm pretty sure there are few scenarios where Paper X don't make it in. If Paper X win one game, any game, they are in champs.
They're in.
I'm certain of that. So if you're Paper X, just win any game. Doesn't even matter if you lose your first one. Win a game, you're in. Good for you. For those 4 in the middle there, the T1 to RRQ, there is where it gets a little bit muddy and a bit messy. But the simplest way I can explain this is, basically, if any of those teams makes the top 4, they are almost certainly in. But if they don't make the top 4, they have a pretty rough chance. So for those 4 teams, essentially, if you can get in that top 4, you should be good. And if you don't, you're worrying, basically. You're then having to root for very specific results to happen. So just basically know that the top 4 is very important for Pacific playoffs. Paper X will probably be fine. Probably. And for Talon, Nongshim, and DFM, they need to win and get into the top 2. So that's basically where we are. And with that in mind, let's now, Kurt, flip over and just do a quick, let's try and make this snappy if we can, a quick little playoff bracket of our own and see if we can come up with some consensus of who's going to make it to champs from Pacific, which obviously has been the best region this entire year. And that's the thing, they've had kind of 5 big teams, but one of them is definitely going to miss out. So let's go through this, shall we, Kurt? And go to the pick'em. There you go. Our first game, Talon Nongshim, we slightly favored Talon, so we'll go Talon there. Seth
technically,
did officially pick
Yeah.
T1 on the thing. So Seth, are
Yeah.
you happy to go T1 there?
Sure.
Sure, there we go. Okay, let's start at the uppers then. DRX versus Talon.
DRX.
I mean, if we follow the traffic
DRX.
lights, we
Yeah.
have to go DRX,
DRX.
right? Yep.
Oh.
Okay. And then Paper X T1.
Paper X.
We feeling good about Paper X?
Yeah,
Okay.
Paper X.
Okay,
Oh.
good. Let's go to the lowers now.
Ooh.
Wave by wave. Is this ship
Slurp
crashing into an
versus wave
iceberg?
by wave.
Or do we have faith in Nongshim? I personally would pick Nongshim for this game.
I think I would too. I can't. It's so hard to get over last week.
I would as well. Yeah.
Damn, it's 3.
Well,
I think we should flip a coin.
But mate, you're on your own.
honestly, no, well, I like that idea. Can we? I want to see how far the coin will take DFM. I think that would just be fun.
Sure.
Every
You
DFM
know what?
game,
I'm
let's
okay with
see
that.
how far a
I'm
coin
okay
can
with
take
that.
them.
I can get on board with that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
such a win.
That is a
I'm
big
so
win
on
for you.
board.
You're somehow
That's such a
25%
win.
of
I'm
it.
so on board.
Watch them just crash out on the first
Right,
flip.
DFM, Nongshim. What does the coin decide? How quick is this iceberg coming towards this ship?
Oh,
Oh, it thought right, but Nongshim won. Okay, good. They're gone.
Okay.
Paper thin in
justice.
shambles. Wave by wave crashes nice and early.
We gave him
Oh.
a good chance.
We
Like I
gave him
said,
a fair shot.
Yeah.
Like I said, look, I'm on the ship, but the captain has to go down there with the ship. I'm not the captain. So worst
I'm
case
getting a
scenario, I get
Yeah.
a new co-caster. We move on. Life goes on.
Okay, we then have this gigabanger game, RRQ Gen
Oh my
G.
gosh.
Now, Slicky, you like this RRQ coaching stuff quite a lot.
I do.
Do you like them this much to beat Gen G?
Well, it won't matter because they win the T1 game. But
Okay. In this reality?
but in this reality, Gen.G wins.
Okay. I mean,
I think if
Yeah.
RQ lose the T1,
Really?
they're going to be reeling, and I think Gen.G wins.
Really?
Well,
I
Joker,
would pick
you're getting
RQ
outvoted.
here.
Well, unlucky.
Really?
You got
All three of
outvoted.
you think
Really?
Gen.G?
You'd
Yep.
pick RQ here.
Dude,
Just
RQ
because
has
of all
Gen.G's
people.
RQ has Gen.G's number this whole year. They've had the ante before Nongshim has, and Gen.G hasn't actually changed
But-
their defaults. They haven't
but-
changed any of their initial calls the entire year.
But this
Until
is when
now.
it would matter the most.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true,
Gen.G.
Chobra.
I
Gen.G
mean, it
doing
mattered
this.
in stage 1 as well, but sure, you know, like
But I didn't say it didn't matter. I said this is when it matters the most.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I mean, it's a 3v1.
Look, you're 3 to
that's
1.
fine.
We need to
Yeah,
move on.
Move on.
They're
move
gone.
on.
Would you
They're
like a
gone.
coin
Unlucky.
flip?
They're
No,
gone.
no.
T1 versus Nongshim. I'm gonna throw it out there, Chobra. I'm picking Nongshim in this game if this happens.
Really? I'm a T1
All right,
believer.
I'll go with Nongshim. TMV's believe and I'll believe.
Seth?
Don't do this to T1. Don't do it to T1.
Do
We
it.
can't have it going out here.
Do it. Do it.
T1 would win.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to flip a coin then. Kurt, get the coin. T1 Nongshim. The coin likes Nongshim.
Dude,
so
Nongshim
far
might
from
just
my
coin it
sample
away.
size of 1. A sample size of... Have you flipped that? Is that... Oh.
No.
there we go.
That'd be cool though.
Here we go.
That'd be cool.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
unlucky. T1 win.
Coin knows ball.
Unlucky.
The coin just favors red. T1 just has more red. It's just not fair.
You have
Okay.
red in your fucking name.
Well, here's an interesting one though. Talon versus Gen.G. Talon would now be back on the green light.
And what a perfect way to
Yeah,
end the
Gen.G.
year than breaking the curse
Yeah.
with Gen.G.
Breaking the curse again. Yep. Dude,
Wait,
Swing
what?
and I are aligned.
What? No.
Gen.G win.
I'm with Talon on this.
Really? You're just believing in it.
Dude,
I'm
you're
not.
such a
Pick
Gen.G hater.
You pick Gen.G. Pick Gen.G.
No, I believe in Talon. What
Well,
do you
and then
mean?
we get this top 4.
That's crazy.
Played it pretty safe here. DRX versus
Dude, what
Paper
is
X.
this top?
Any
top four's
DRX
good.
believers?
This is a glorious top 4 if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Any
I mean,
DRX believers?
I would actually, I would vote DRX in this one.
Yeah, I'm
I would.
not opposed to that.
I mean, I would still go Paper X, but I don't mind flipping a coin.
Let's flip
Yeah,
a coin.
I mean,
Why not?
I'm okay
Let's
with
flip a coin.
the flip. Yeah, I'm okay with the flip. That one's so hard.
Sure. The thing
Yeah,
that I would want
Classico.
is the thing that would be the most.
Pacific.
Well, it would be the most El Clasicos if this were to happen in the grand finals. But you know, we could always have it again.
Could happen twice.
Well, yeah, you can
could
always
happen
have it
twice.
again.
Oh,
Whoa.
works. Good coin, yeah.
Damn.
Well, DRX win.
Oh, lower bracket
There you
scary.
go.
Yeah.
And then you've got T1
Whoa.
versus Gen.G.
I'd go.
We going for this Gen.G lower bracket?
Yeah.
Gen.G
They've already
wins
won
this
2
if
games
they-
at this point, Chobra?
Yeah. No, they win this one. See, I'm
Oh,
not a
okay.
Gen.G
You just
hater.
hate T1 more. I see. Okay.
I would go
Gen.G
Gen.G
win.
here.
Gen.G.
And
Dude, what is this narrative?
Paper X Gen.G lower final, best of 5.
I think fuck it. Let's send. I would send
Gen.G.
Paper X just for the.
Paper X.
I would get
Oh,
Paper
I'm
X.
going Gen.G. You going Paper X, Joe?
Cobra?
Yeah, I go Paper X.
Well, Paper X it is,
course
and then
he
the
does.
grand final rematch. Are we flipping another coin? I say Paper X win if they come through the lowers.
I would give it the DRX based on. Well.
I would give Paper X this one.
Paper X, man.
Well,
No,
3-1 Paper X, a
I
lower
think-
bracket run.
GG.
Seth, it doesn't matter.
All right, fine, fuck it, whatever.
It doesn't matter. You got your
I
coin
don't,
flip.
I
There we
don't
go.
care. The teams at this point would be locked for Paris, so I no longer.
They
give a
would be.
shit.
Yeah, they would be.
is true.
This would just be a seeding game, as they all will be, the grand finals. But yeah, so that would mean that we have Paper X, DRX, Gen.G, and T1 making it to champs. RRQ would miss out there. So yeah, that's our bracket. Almost certainly won't happen like that. So tune in on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Am I right, Seth?
Yep, Wednesday to Sunday,
week.
and then we have a break. And then we're gonna do the coolest
And
thing,
you're in
which
Japan.
is have our last two or
Last 2 days, yeah.
yeah,
Last two matches.
last 2 days.
Last two.
In Tokyo, and it's gonna be super sick. The venue's awesome. It's gonna be a very large crowd, from what I understand. I don't think that we're actually cutting down the capacity too much. So I think it's slated to be close to 10,000 people or something like that, at least as far as tickets
Nice.
are available.
Gonna be cool.
So it's gonna be fucking amazing, and every other region can suck our balls.
Brilliant.
What a perfect way to end
So
the
nice.
PCC
What?
Pacific
This is the
part of-
positivity episode. Get this guy out of here.
I'm being,
Guy
what
outta
are you
here.
talking about? I'm being incredibly positive about Pacific.
That's
Yeah.
one way of
You
putting.
can do
Get
it
rid
without
of him.
putting
Drop
other
him down.
people
Drop
down.
him down.
Yeah, get the
Drop
fuck
him
out
down.
of here. I'm a hot swap.
Get
for
him
this
out of
fucker
here.
in
We're bringing on Kaquka for EMEA. Jober, I'm going to give you the reins. Goodbye, Seth.
All right. Are we moving right along?
Yeah, we should be good.
Yeah, I mean we got it.
There we go.
I mean, you can if
Okay.
you want.
Ooh,
Hello.
welcome,
go.
welcome.
Hey.
All right.
Let me post my music.
What's my timer here? What's my timer, Kurt or Kaquka?
What timer?
For since we have to wrap up
Oh,
EMEA,
well,
right?
1 hour. We have 1 hour.
Yeah.
1 hour.
A
Okay,
little bit
1 hour.
less
We
than
can.
an hour. I have to leave at 7 because I'm watching Weapons in the movie. So.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. All right. Okay, well, then let's move on. Let's get this show started. We're going to jump right into EMEA, continuing on with the EMEA matches, and let's jump right into the very first one. Bit of a big one here. Team Heretics versus Foot. And I say big one, but obviously the scoreline, not so big. Heretics continuing to reign supreme here in EMEA. And TMV, you're chuckling a little bit. Let's start with you. Let's start positive. Let's start with the Heretics side.
Heretics are good. They're really
Great.
they're quite a good
Yeah.
team. I'm shocking everyone here, but they are really quite a good team, and they showed this throughout this game. I think like again, it makes me yearn for like old Foot, like last, because I feel like old Foot this would be close. You know, I feel like Foot would give these top teams, you know, good games throughout, but this one was like, oh, Zeus got like a 4K or an ace. Oh, and then you got battered for the next 10 rounds.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a little it was a
So I was
little
trying-
rough.
I was trying to get over him saying I like old Foot, man. I was like, well, that out of context is kind of crazy. I like.
However you want, Sliggy. Your mind went there, not mine. Says more about you.
That's
Mine went,
probably
mine
true.
went there too.
Okay, well, at least we're in it
Well.
together. Heretics, a lot of clutches from them, I'll say. Like individual form, looking good. I think the one thing that I needed to see happened in this game as well. I wanted to see Benji look really good. Benji looked
He
great.
did look good.
Mm.
But that's like something that's maybe been missing from this team in terms of like strong form. So
Yeah.
I'm happy that I saw that. And again, just so many clutches, I can't still get over the form that Riens and Wu are in. They just look so good.
It was the same last week against
Mhm.
Vitality. All those 5v2s had a 2 winning on the other side. Rians was in most of them. He's playing insane. And I like the fact that now they're in a position where the mental just doesn't go down. And even in those situations, they just manage to clean them because they can. They're just that good.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Yeah, no
if you have-
surprises here. I think that I kind of agree with what TMV is saying about that, but I think that I didn't want to make it a clip for
You
myself
like
as
old
well.
feet. You like old
Yes,
feet.
yes. What can I say? But yeah, I think that we have to admit that we're not there anymore, and I think that at least to me, I'm already looking ahead into the next future of like next year to see what is going to be afoot. I know that they always make champs somehow and this and that, but I don't think I don't think they're going to be able to do much. You know?
Yeah, not this time. They
pretty
had a
rough.
couple of okay signs in terms of Zeus started to show up, but overall this whole stage 2, it's just like I know this guy can play way better than this, so it's a little bit of a shame that he's kind of been playing on this form. I don't think their comps are great with what is currently strong at the moment. It's a lot of double initiator. Don't think that is good to lean into. So I normally don't like their comps, but I think this time as well, it's added in that there's just better picks these days. So I don't think they're leaning into the stronger side of stuff.
How much of this, Sliggy, how much slack are we cutting them with obviously the changes they made coming into or in stage 2?
A little bit. I think the biggest change seems to be more the coaching side of it in terms of it, because I think that they are missing a little bit of like how good they used to be on macro. I think a lot of that it's getting cleaned up like week after week for sure, but it's still just like still looks a little rough. Still playing together, still playing individual even on defense and then on attack. Again, it is getting better after they have a demo on it, so they're definitely doing work within the week, but it just took such a drastic drop off when they switch coaches, so that's pretty rough.
All right. Before we move on, obviously EMEA still has another week of the group stage, right? Pacific a little bit ahead right now on the schedule. So we're not quite set yet, and I believe we'll talk about the predictions, but I believe the next matchup for Heretics will determine, right? They're not locked in yet.
No. Heretics are locked in. It's for
Heretics
foot.
are good, yeah.
It's for foot that they actually are playing for playoffs.
Yeah, the Heretics game is for first seed. They're playing head-to-head with Giants
first seed.
for the
Sorry, I
one.
meant for first seed. Yeah, yeah. Heretics aren't locked for first seed. But I was going to ask Kaquka if you feel that Heretics, like you're pretty confident that they should be a first seed in this group, given how they've looked.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm a little bit. No. I said that Heretics is looking very well, but you have not asked me about Giants. That to me is the biggest surprise of this stage 2. You're bringing it too early, but yes.
Okay.
I think the GIANTX could, you know. Do I think they're gonna win? No, but I wouldn't give them the 80-20 that I would have given them at the beginning of the year. I would give them like a 60-40.
Okay. All right. We'll get to the GIANTX side a little bit later when we talk about their match. I just wanted to get a little pulse on Heretics. But overall, Heretics looking good. Seems like they've shored up a lot of their recent weaknesses, and foot. Sounds like nobody has too many bright sides to look forward to in the upcoming weeks. So let's move on to the next match. This one, personally, listen. Somebody's cheering.
I'm the Koi fan.
I mean, yes, I'm happy for you. Good for you.
Although,
You're the Koi fan.
Well, I have been this stage, but then they've been.
Yeah.
It's weird that Koi have been weird. I mean, you talked about the last game being the clutch game. If you click on this game, go on the performance.
This was insane.
This was an insane clutch game. Look at how many there are there. That is an insane amount of clutches. For those of you wondering, like that is way more than the average game. It was absurd how many clutches were in this game. You know what's weird? Koi won this game. I felt better about Koi and their 2 losses to FNATIC and Liquid than I have done about these last 2 weeks.
Wait, what? Why?
Why?
No. Why? Well, last week they were terrible, but this week. This week I just thought like if they were gonna be as good as I thought they were gonna be, I would think you wouldn't need to rely on winning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like couple 1v2s, a ton of 1v1s, every round feeling scrappy, every round going back and forth. Okay, yeah, they destroyed on Ascent. Their Ascent. Good job. But I don't know. Maybe it's just maybe I'm just so down on Apeks.
Yeah.
I feel like
I think you're down on them because they changed that. The big thing, my takeaway from this was like they looked at the Haven and was just like, well, our Haven wasn't working. We were probably playing the comp a little bit wrong. And then they just switched it back up to the double duelist comp and actually have a good understanding of it as well. They like what I call a Boncar default. Pretty much, well, that's what Minnie told me what it's called. Where you just like C default on attack and you make sure that you get the orb over there and you just like duel out. It's what you have to do with this comp. They were doing it all the time. So they went from having a bad understanding to their Viper comp to having a really good understanding of their double duelist comp. And they looked really comfy. So I thought that was like a pretty cool change up for them. So I actually came out of this being like, well, they fixed one of their maps within the space of a week. That's That's a good
But
sign.
let me put it like this: like Filu had his best game,
Sure.
right? Filu
And
played amazing.
if you compare it to 2 weeks ago, where at some points
Yeah,
he
yeah.
looked like a paid
Yeah.
actor, I
But
was
do I
like,
trust that
what,
that will
what
happen
is
next
going on?
week as well?
What is going
Like-
on? Like the awareness out of the window, looking the wrong direction every single time. This angle is clear. Let me walk backwards onto the one that is not clear. Like that. That's the kind of things that you'll be doing. It is good, that he's stepping up. I think it also has to do with something that Steve was speaking about with the Haven. The comp is good. They had good walls. They know how to play with it. I don't think so. If they, I think that is still they still need to find their comfort because they play so little games and they're always undergoing so many changes that they still haven't found their footing. That one's for you, TMB.
Thank you.
Any
not
further
old- that's not
mentions,
old enough
He
for
crazy.
does like them. Yeah. That's crazy. So okay, well, TMV's a little split on this, but then Kaquka, we're feeling like was this a positive for both teams? Is that how we want to take this?
For Koi and for Apeks, I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think there's much positive for Apeks.
Well,
like,
I mean, yeah, obviously the run is over, but
I think the
there's
main
been
thing,
things that I've liked. It's just very little.
we all this is like because we've been wanting double duelist for
Yeah.
Apex for so long.
Mhm.
And it's been so disappointing.
Yeah.
Man, bad
bad
Yeah, but
thing
do you
about-
think it would have been this disappointed if it would have happened from the beginning?
right.
I mean, I hope not. Probably
But
not.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have been calling for it if I thought it was going to be this bad. I just don't get it. I do not trust this guy when he has a rifle in his hand. Basically, I think they need to hard prioritize him and up, and then even sometimes he has been missing some shots today. I think he's. I don't know, man. I think he crumbles under pressure at the moment. I think he's really feeling it. I just
they're gone.
it's horrible
No
to
pressure
point out
now.
an individual. I mean, there's no pressure now. They should be good, but I would at least like to see a better performance from just him solely. He's had a really rough couple of weeks, and I think just giving him like double duelist on paper makes a lot of sense. But I don't know how he just doesn't look so comfy. I think he has to have an op all the time.
Yeah. No, that is rough because I remember just even at the beginning of the year there was a decent amount of hype right around what Bantu might be able to do and like let's see if they can make it work, and then obviously role issues, and now we finally got it. Like you said, Sliggy, yes, the sample size is small, but the results are the results. There's not too much we can say about that.
I think Avova has to share some of this blame as well. I think some of the mistakes he's been making in the past 2 weeks are crazy for such an experienced player as well. And I don't know if he's like trying to go above and beyond to try win out. Like he feels like he has to make plays for them to win, and maybe that is something, and to shoot him some bail. But he just makes too many mistakes for an experienced player. It's rough.
Yeah. Well, a rough year for Apeks, and that is going to be the end of their run here in VCT EMEA. So obviously, they do have one match left, but we'll get to it. That's not one that's looking too hopeful either. So we'll talk about it when we get to it. But it is a darn shame. I did just want to say, I was going to say it in this. I mean, I guess it applies to the next match as well. But I do think it just sucks, and maybe this is because I'm part of an Ascension org as well, so I just feel it a lot more. But the fact that it's just like insta goodbye. There's like no way of redemption, right? There's no way to try to requalify for current year's Ascension or anything like
I
that.
think that's crazy. Like when I first heard about it at the beginning of the year, like the fact that that the Ascension teams will not have a chance, they will have to earn a chance to defend their spot. It's like, it's kind of mean, isn't it? Like they've already put so much
It's
into
brutal.
this. There's a very high chance because of course the teams like, for example, FNATIC and Kayak are way more attractive for players going in. It's always going to be the case. So I would, I'm kind of sad that they didn't even give them the chance to defend it.
Yeah.
It feels rough. I agree, because especially as it's like costing you a lot of money, and then I think the orgs, even though they're like good for the scene, especially I think like Gentlemates have kind of proven that they're willing to like spend a lot of money. They're really passionate about it. It kind of sucks to lose them because essentially they took a gamble on their inexperienced players and they're taking the hit for it. But it's just like they picked up like good pieces. It's just a little bit of inexperience, and then maybe they didn't capitalize on like learning the right things when they could have. So I don't know, man. I agree. I feel bad for the orgs. It feels rough. I can't imagine we have the same thing when it can change up in 2027.
I mean, that's why
that's the big
Gentleman
hope.
has decided to probably not go into tier 2, right? Again, because
Why would
the
you?
point for them? Exactly.
Yeah, you don't know what the future holds, right?
Yeah.
We don't know how it's
Or
gonna
maybe they
change.
know, and that's why they don't want to.
Well, maybe they know. Who knows? we don't know. But let's talk about Gentlemates. Also, the other Ascension team here in EMEA, also unfortunately already out of the running here for playoffs. Of course, GIANTX actually get to playoffs, secure their playoff spot by winning this match. But let's talk about the Gentlemates part first, since they've already kind of locked themselves out of the running. Obviously, the new term, it's been coined. Are you pulling a Gentlemates or not? They were able to
It
close
happened
out
again.
the one map, but
I shouldn't bail for this one. You can lose
Okay.
9-3 on Ascent attack side. I've seen a lot of teams lose a 9-3
It's more
on Ascent
common.
attack
Yeah.
side. It's much more acceptable, this one, I think, overall. But they are the, I mean, when they get a lead in the first half, they destroy first half. They did close out a game, though. They had a big lead on
Yes.
Corrode and they closed out.
Yes.
But
That's
they did manage to do it.
And it was very cool to
was a
watch.
nice map.
Like the
Yeah.
deadlock
Yeah.
was very freaking insane. I love the conditioning that they were doing. Combat with the op was an absolute menace. Like that Corrode looked so good. Honestly, so good. I thought that it was a turning point, that they had everything under control. And then on the second map, when it started happening, when again they had, I get what you mean by the, it's not the first time that we've seen 9-3 in the on Ascend, and it's not the end of the world. But I think that mentally, once it happened again, you could see it during bind, you could see it during the reactions. Every single time that the camera was on Kamek, he was out of the building. He was out of the building because on the other side, you have a GIANTX that after closing the second map was just yelling at them all the time, destroying the little mental that they could have at that point.
Yeah.
So the problem is not that it happened. The problem is that it happened for a fourth week in a row.
Yeah,
At one
right,
point, there was a
right.
Giants player, I think, that they started winning some rounds, and they were like, "Guys, we know we're gonna win this." Like, as if like, it's not only you start panicking about like we're gonna give up the lead, but you also now at this point, your opponents know. Well, we know that they're
Yeah.
gonna give up the lead, so they get the buff as well. It's not just you get a debuff; your
That's
opponent
true.
also gets a buff, which is kind of insane. You were talking about it's so interesting with Gentlemates because I feel like every single one of their players is like a tier 1 player. Like I would
Yeah.
not be shocked if literally every single player made it back to tier 1. Just as a collective, it just doesn't work.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work.
it kind of shows where like teams will pick up like a experienced player to like help them through these moments, and like especially in these 12 whatever leads,
Yeah.
like just to change your style of play, to be like, guys, we don't go for the hero plays anymore. It's literally just like are all in on these big rounds. So I think having an experienced player would really help them. I agree. I think all the players are good. Gentlemates, their Corrode's really good. Their defensive Corrode is like actually like one of the best. And then the Haven, it's annoying me at the moment where people are stealing the Gen.G Haven, but they don't fully like understand it, especially like if we're just isolating attack and defense. I think most teams don't copy how Munchkin plays Viper well enough. They were using Gentlemen's using their Viper smoke over towards middle, more of like how NRG did or K-Corp back in 2023. But I think the whole thing is like you get onto sites.
Yeah, you win on every post plant.
Yeah, you win every post plant, and they didn't have the smoke there, so that you could kind of retake. As much as Giants played really well, I just think that Gentlemates kind of stole the comp and then didn't steal Munchkin stuff on attack, and then you got to replicate how Foxy9 plays on defense over towards C as well, and they didn't really have that. So yeah, it worries me when teams steal that stuff and don't copy everything. It looked a little rough.
Yeah, that's always a bit of a shame. I think personally, that's one of the harder things to copy from like someone like Munchkin as well, just because he plays on his own tempo. So credit to whoever can do it. But let's talk about the other side a little bit then. As we're watching some of these clips, GIANTX, they get the win. They're in for playoffs. They could even get first seed with the upcoming match. Kaquka, we got a little teaser from you earlier, but how high are we flying right now with GIANTX?
I'm not super high. I am flying with them. I will give them that.
Make it the champs and we're gonna be like,
Listen.
I don't know about
I
this
just
team.
think that at some point we need to have a conversation about how players experience their peak in gaming after leaving Koi. Because Cam was playing fucking amazing. Grubinho's playing fucking amazing. I think that we should, make that a thing. Moving away from that, I think that they, I'd be very happy for them. It's so weird to even like this week when we were showing the the board with the teams and who had made it to playoffs to see GIANTX qualified as one of the first 4 teams, something that most people probably wouldn't have seen coming. With when we're speaking about all the circumstances for the different teams, and for example the Apeks, they bring in players here and there, people might forget that during stage 1 that's exactly what happened to GIANTX. They grabbed 2 players that were playing on 2 leagues at the same time, and to see them perform like this now, it makes me very happy, because they really feel like a team even though they haven't been together for that long.
I think that's almost like it's almost a lesson for other teams. I think this Giants team, like, instead of making changes in between, like if you're in if you're 0-3 in stage 1, make the changes, like try and make changes then potentially, and you'll get a couple games of like experience of playing on stage. You know, obviously you probably won't be great, right? You won't be great in those couple games most likely, but then when stage 2 comes around, you've had more time, you've played on a stage together, and it might be, especially for rookie players, you know, like an Aura or a Flickless, right, who haven't been there before, that I do imagine that that's going to set you up for more success, and we've seen that. I just find it funny how again, if they win this game against Team Heretics this week, they're the 1 seed. They're the 1 seed, they have a bye, it's so doable.
Oh, it's incredibly doable.
Like, every week we turn up and like, yeah, still don't really believe. Still don't. To be fair, if they beat Heretics, I think that's when people. People will turn.
Do you think people would turn, or people would be like, "Oh, it's another Heretics day"?
I think people would believe.
No, people would then start to believe.
Yeah,
I think they never beat people.
Let's go.
Yeah, they never beat people that. I mean, they always beat the people they're expected to beat to an extent. So,
right.
But I do like the individuals are looking better. It's looking better from them. Like they look good, especially Ara. I think Westside's been great this stage too as well. He's been really good. So I think it's the first time I've looked at the Giants roster and I've been like, I don't actually think they need to make changes going into the next year. So that's the cool one. I think the only thing is like the cloud calling. Sometimes it's looking good, sometimes it's not. I wonder if they can help him out a little bit with some more defaults and maybe some vocal players. I don't know how it's working internally fully, because dude, it's just a drop off from fragging from him that like worries me a little bit. I think he could use with some vocal help, but I think maybe you could teach the other players to do that. I don't know who.
Okay, if you can just show that clip again, because this is the thing that annoys me about Gentlemates. Like, it's little things like this, man, that were just like I was noticing throughout the game. You just show the clip you just did where they got a Viper spit, they're going B, and their Viper is the one who's planting the spike.
Yeah, no,
you know? It's like
2025. Oh,
yeah, it's like little things like this. Like, you've got a Viper spit. Yeah, I mean,
this is the Gen.G, right? This is the Gen.G. You got Viper pit, you go over towards B, you plant, and then you insta ult, and then you play on the sides and you win. But yeah, it's just it's like I'm saying, just the small little understandings, man. They just don't have it down. And I'm telling you, it's all Munchkin stuff. It's all like Kamaki played fine, but considering his role, he played it so wrong. So
yeah.
I was going to say something else about Giants. I can't remember what it was. So that's annoying.
Well, that's perfect because we have to get moving.
Okay, well then it works out brilliantly.
We're gonna move along to the next one.
We're on track. You can think for.
Oh wait, I got it.
Okay.
All
right.
There,
we'll
his no, it's actually positive. It's just the Cypher util on the Haven's like really good. They kept on having like great info, especially over towards C-Long. Like they had so much info that they could just stack the signs. I thought they played really well, and I think that's it.
Okay.
All right.
So Westside, you're not even good. You're great. Okay.
But I don't like their comps. I don't like their comps.
So Westside, you're good. The rest.
Westside's doing good, but I'm not the biggest fan of their comps. Okay, we can move on.
All right, but they're working it. They're working it. You might not like it. Yeah. But they're working it. All right. Well, we'll see. It's going to be a big one. We'll get to our predictions, see if we actually believe that GIANTX can get to the top of their group. Meanwhile, the next matchup, and my gosh, Ruxic going crazy.
This is crazy.
I mean, just blowing up this entire game. I mean, this game was pretty crazy just overall, I feel. And TMV, I mean, how much of this is like logic and, you know, the prep and all of that, and how much of it is just like the individual performance on the server?
I see. This is the thing. I was in on Koi at the start. Navi have converted me. I'm now a fan of this team. Like
Wow.
I just really like this team. I think that these last.
So
couple
do you
weeks,
like this team or do you like Ruxic?
I like this team. I think, you know, obviously Angel every so often is gonna, you know, well, that's
Angel
a positive
on
to
breach.
me. That's a
When I
positive
saw
to me.
him peeking the breach, I was like, "What day is it? What day is it?" You know, he also told us in the postman, he was like, "Oh, they told me I was playing every agent on this comp. None of them would work." And then Ruxic said, "You should go on breach." And
There
he
you
said
go.
yes.
So he is, well,
That's how
Ruxic is
powerful
the
he
Lord.
is.
Yeah, that is, he's doing the
Damn.
Lord's work. Obviously, Ruxic, I mean, these past 2 weeks, he's been the best player in the world.
Insane.
Like,
Yeah, no,
he's
yeah.
been unbelievable these past couple of weeks. But it's not like Alexic was very good last week as well, and I think he's kind of slowly, gradually, kind of getting there. I think Hero is playing pretty decently as
Really
well.
good.
So like,
Mhm.
I just like this team, and I'm looking at EMEA, right? And if you look at you're looking around at EMEA, it's like we've got the top 3, but there needs to be a 4th. And I'm
Wait.
starting to think NAVI might
Yeah.
be that.
You're
fourth.
starting to think a lot of things, but their last match and the one that is going to make sure that they make it onto playoffs is against Koi. So
Yeah.
who do you believe in more?
Well, this is what
We'll
I'm
find
saying.
out.
I've been converted. I've been
Oh,
blessed.
you're jumping.
Angel has taken my head and
Oh.
dunked it into the fucking water and said, "Come with us." And there I am.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's I was, dude. If we just forget how Ruxic played, Hero had an incredible game as well. And then
last week as well.
he's looking really, really good. And then it's just the fact that Ruxic plays like a superstar, man. That you're just like, well, okay, dude. This little bit where he
One.
jumps out
And he
and so that he
paranoias
doesn't get
himself.
spammed. Oh, the jump out to make sure you're
Oh.
only going to get leg shot is so
Yeah.
cool. He just has so much faith in his Omen Flash and the angles.
In my opinion, if you get someone
beast.
with the paranoia and you still get the kill, it should count as a kill and an assist.
Hmm.
Because nobody's
Okay.
helping you. It's you by yourself.
I'm down with
Yeah.
that. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Okay, I'll pitch it.
I
That's
agree.
fine.
I agree with what TMV said as well. I think like Alex is coming into his own. I don't know if I put this clip in there. I'll send you a clip. But there's like a couple of situations where he's playing pretty smart at the moment as well. I'll send it on.
Also, I just want to quickly say as
Discord.
well, Navi don't have to win to make playoffs. This is the TMV dream. Koi win, but if KC lose to Liquid, KC are out.
Okay.
If Koi win,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see.
they
I see
both
that we
make
can
it.
agree here.
There
I
you
see
go.
that we can agree here. Yes, I'm liking
both
this. I'm
make it.
liking where this is going.
But no, no,
Jeez.
dude, this
it?
is so nice. Like this is so smart. So obviously,
Oh, yeah, the
it's
bot.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
great trigger discipline. But look at how he reacts after the third kill. Like how he reacts after the third kill is sick. So it's 1, 2, 3. That's impressive. Tucks in and waits for his teammate no matter what. That's
Yeah.
cool, man. He's not overheating. He's just
Yep.
trusting in his team. Like those kind of plays are just great. It's such a great demonstration of how this guy's like feeling more and more confident in his team. So yeah, I agree with TMV. I'm not as on board as he is. I don't think he seems pretty. He seems pretty on.
I'm all in. I'm
Yeah,
on
no,
with
it
this team.
sounds it.
Let's go.
But yeah, they look great, man.
Yeah. I mean,
AC,
you know,
on the other hand,
yeah, that's where I wanted to go. I mean, I want to start with Sliggy because I know you've been championing like they've gotta, that they've got to pull their weight a little bit more week by week. I mean, are you seeing it at the very least, even if they're not getting the W?
Not really. They're a little inconsistent for sure. Like it feels like Aves can have a really good week, but Martin won't, and then it flips, reverses the other way. I think that on their corrode, they don't really like. They got all of the bits to make sure they have like a good mid default, but they don't have a good mid default. I think they could benefit from maybe switching the camera over to there with some Yori plays. That's kind of what I would be doing. There's a good aggro camera that can still for some other teams that would help them out. I don't think their mid default is good. I think they are lacking some stuff on on some maps, but I will just say consistency wise, it's so up and down with individuals at the moment. It must be so weird to be on this coaching staff because I guarantee you see all of these players playing at a really high peak, and then when they get into the big games, I don't know, man, like Elite goes missing or Martin goes missing, or like this case, Aves goes missing. First time probably for him this week in terms of stage 2, but it happened. It feels rough for them because it's just they can play so much better than this, but
Yeah.
they just don't.
Just
Yeah,
Literally
honestly,
is that.
that is a great
Literally
way
is
of
that.
summing up KC though.
Yeah.
You know that they can play so much better, and for some reason it's just not
It's
there
not
like on
clicking.
a
It's not
consistent
clicking.
basis. Yeah,
not
it's
clicking.
just not.
Yeah, I mean, and those are the times it's hard to even discuss, right? Because it's like you can't really read too much into it from the outside, because who knows exactly what the cause might be. We just know the result is that it's not clicking. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're all in agreement that they are consistently underperforming from our expectations, which is unfortunate. But they can still make playoffs.
Yeah, if they beat
They can still
Liquid.
make playoffs. Yeah,
Huh?
Yeah.
If they
They just have
Well-
to
still
beat.
lose and make playoffs. If they lose and Koi lose, then they're still in.
Okay.
but at
They
TMV,
play
we're
Team
not in
Liquid.
that. We're not in that reality. No, we're not there. Not
But
there.
they
not
gotta
there.
get they
In
gotta
my
get top
wonderful
2, right?
reality, All
They
of the
gotta get-
Spanish teams make
Do they?
playoffs. NAVI
Okay.
does as well, and we can all be happy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. I don't have a horse in this race. Like,
Dude,
I'm fine with it.
they're not coming top 2. How they playing?
They could make it with third, but it would be
Oh,
Can
really?
they?
yeah, they
Really?
can. But it would require like
Like
very
a lot of
specific
stuff.
stuff happening.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
But
yeah.
they could make it with third. But yeah,
That's doable.
Okay.
One
they're probably gonna
100%.
start on lowers.
That's not
Yeah.
doable. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll see. Their future is still up in the air. All right, let's get to our next game: BBL versus Vitality. And I don't actually remember how we on here on Plat Chat predicted this one last week, but
Didn't we all go for
We
Vitality?
guaranteed
like
Vitality,
morons?
and
Oh, we
I said my
guaranteed
head and my
Vitality.
body differed in opinion
Yeah.
apparently.
oh, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and we said
did
at the
it
time
again.
that's the worst guarantee we've ever done, and it proved to be
Yeah.
just that essentially. Yeah,
And we nailed it.
Vitality,
We're
man.
so good.
Their floor is low. Like their ceiling is quite high, but their floor is pretty low. I think. Like when it's going wrong for this team, there's always this face that like Les will do. Like there you go.
Oh yeah. This is the one.
Look at our faces.
I mean,
there.
it's
Yeah,
a
that
good
is-
one. Look at it.
Yeah,
How?
that
shows
is-
the
Just
shot.
how?
Honestly, well,
So
I
all
thought I
idiots.
picked BBL, but apparently Kurt lied to me and said I didn't. I could have ended up looking good, but
I just copied
You
your friend's
literally
over.
picked.
anyway, yeah, Vitality, man. I just think there's this face that Les has sometimes when he's in another 1v3, and you see like he's just not playing
Not
to
again.
his outs. He's just playing for the kills, and I just think like
That's true.
he just looks like he looks fed up. He looks
Yeah.
fed up, and I'm just like, this team doesn't have a chance when you like. Then the team just seems like they just shut down sometimes. Like, and it felt like that at times in this game. They just kind of shut down. I think
So what do you think shut them down?
themselves.
With the
I don't
harbor
know.
on Icebox.
On Icebox. Honestly, I can't remember the game.
Because
that well,
I was my
Just
brain
remember
was
the feeling.
twitching a bit.
on Icebox.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah,
Mhm.
this was rough. They lost like 13 of 14.
But is this not the one where there were loads of clutches? I think it was that map where there were just loads of clutches.
Yeah,
and
there
it maybe
were.
should have been a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
There's some
no,
very
it
cool
should-
plays. This is very cool.
It should have
Not
been the
cool
other
when
way,
you're on
no?
the other side, but-
Vitality were winning a ton. This could have been a 13-0.
Oh, okay.
Is
The
what
only
this
way they
one
were
was.
staying in
This
was
one was
clutches.
13-0, but Vitality won a ton of clutches at the
Okay,
start.
yeah.
Yeah,
Double
yeah,
pistol, maybe? I
One,
can't
two,
remember this one.
3, 4. They
only
won
got the one
7
pistol,
rounds and
but-
5 were
Yeah.
1vx's.
That's it, yeah.
3 were 1v2s and 1 was a 1v4. Like, this could have been a 13-0.
Uh-huh. So what do you think about it now with all the context? Do you remember
I think
this?
that they have a really low
I do.
floor, and BBL are a solid team who will punish you if you aren't playing very well.
I will definitely praise BBL for just the map draft. They normally permaban bind, and they left bind for third map as like a curveball. And so they kind of came into this week just knowing that they should, well, that this was like their plan, and it heavily paid off. And I think if you watch that bind as well, even though it got a little bit close, you actually didn't really have much doubt if you were just like looking at the overall plays. So I think, BBL did really good with just a plan coming into this with just playing their permaban, caught them off, and they look like a better team on bind. So I like that a lot.
I do want to point out with Vitality as well, like, in the weeks that they've done well, it's when one of the other 3, not Durka or less, has also stepped up and
true.
been good. If you look again at, like, you know, everyone else is going negative here. Everyone else has a bad rating that isn't Durka and less. Like,
I
you're
think
not gonna
Kovac's been
win it.
good.
he has been in other weeks, but I think that this is what happens sometimes is if you only have those 2 playing well, Vitality can't win, especially against like good, decent teams like, you know, BBL. Like, you're
And then
not
maybe
going to
they
beat
could
those
get
teams.
a smokes player instead of making Kicks go into the smokes when he doesn't look comfortable at all. Maybe that would have been the
That's a
play.
fair.
If you're getting 2 new players, maybe get a smoker. Maybe.
They had one.
Yeah, they did have one.
They-
had one.
they
that was
actually
trying
did.
A little bit, yeah.
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 Well, I mean, they've committed to it for now, so they'll just have to deal with the cards that they dealt themselves. On the other side, though, BBL, we can't. You know, it's not like this is a miracle that BBL won. I mean,
Oh, no,
BBL has.
Look good.
No,
Yeah.
no. That was the worst guarantee of all time. This team.
Yeah, no, we definitely messed up there, but they look good. They look nice individually as a team, and again, I think they owned them with the map VO, and it's cool to see a team bring out those curveballs on. And this is a big game.
was good.
This was a
Yeah,
big
this
game.
was a very important game for them.
Yep.
Because they've made playoffs now. BBL are in playoffs.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
And they get that
should.
extra point above Vitality, and they were the closest one
Yeah,
point wise to them.
because now they're 7-7, but since they won against them.
Damn, that's pretty big. That's
No,
big
it was
implications.
such
for
an
BBL.
important game. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good for BBL. I'm personally, I've kind of liked how they played even in the beginning of the year, so I've just been having my eye on them, and I'm glad to see that they're doing well. Is there anything else that we want to point out? A little positivity, extra positivity?
Oh, I wanted
a
to
little
show
dash
this
of it?
round because again, I think this shows somewhat of vitality. Like this is even the map that they win.
Positivity, of course.
No, this is
Positive.
positivity. This is
Be
negativity.
positive.
Look, we've taken B main. We've got this guy here. We've got this guy in B main, and our own Viper wall is blocking him off from getting involved in the
Oh,
round.
dude, I was losing my mind at this. This is the best, yeah.
yes. I'm remembering now.
We're just not talking. We're just not talking. Why is he not screaming to put the wall down until he's
Yeah.
in a 1v3? Oh
I
my
remember
God.
losing my mind at this. Yeah, I was angry.
Okay, well, I don't know if we're gonna get more positivity. I think we should. On to
Let's
the next
go
match.
BBL! Woo!
No, BBL. Yeah, we'll talk about BBL in the predictions as well. But let's go to the I believe the last match of this week. Now this was, I believe,
go.
our main
Banger.
match of
Here
the
we
week.
go.
An
Banger.
absolute banger. And quite frankly, I mean, yeah, a banger in all sense of the word. Just a very intense first map, 14-12 overtime, and then an absolute smashing by Team Liquid on the Ascent. Just dismantles them, disrespects them, does everything that you never want to happen to your favorite team. And Kaquka, do you think this is just Team Liquid just being better?
Honestly, they had a good read onto how to play against the Ascent, the way that Nats was putting his trips and his whole setup, the way that they were helping out on Tree. Even before going into the match, I was like, if I'm Team Liquid, this is the first thing that I'm thinking of. And if I can see that after the week that I had, I think the Team Liquid will far beyond that. And I honestly, the thing that made me the saddest about this match is not getting to Corrode. I
wanna see
really wanted to see
That's
that
true.
Corrode,
Yeah, that's true.
seeing for FNATIC taking a different approach. They're already in playoffs. Yes, they will not get that first seed, but they are going to go to champs. And yeah, I think that it's going to be interesting. I wanted to see the Corrode, and I really hope that this week they play it against Apeks.
Yeah, I think that I was talking about this game, and I was like, I think Liquid needs a 2-0 just because I know what FNATIC are like. If they have a ban and then they actually like let it loose, then they're probably gonna have such good theory that they'll win it first time. So yeah, I was pretty concerned for Liquid, I guess, if it got to the third map. But dude, they played so well, man. They played so well on this. Shout out to all the believers last week, especially the person that maybe saved us from the guarantee. You're welcome. But I will say the bind was close just purely because of Alpha. Like Alpha went crazy on this.
The kills
binds.
at one point in Bind
Oh my
were
god, I had
absolutely
such a
ridiculous.
cool telestrator prepared, and this decided to lose the map. But yeah, it was with Alpha, and he's 1 assist. What round was it? Good question. I think it was maybe 4 or 5. I remember the one. No. On round 2, then it's also the bonus of the second half. I believe it's round 2 and 15.
All right.
You're asking me
We can
about
bring it
things that
up.
happened
Oh,
a
this
million
is-
years ago.
Yeah, it's hard to
Yeah.
blend it to one sometimes.
But yeah, it was mostly about him playing alone or playing around his util. Oh, this is the one where they get this info. Oh, this is how FNATIC play this round to win it. It's very, very good. Damage util, I believe they get a kill. Alpha is in the kitchen already. They tuck in because they don't want to take more damage because they're waiting for the lurk that they knew was there because Crashy has seen it at the beginning of the round. So he's either taking TP or takes this. Whoopsie. And then just because of the util that they have, they delay forever and they can defuse and they can pew pew.
Yeah, the util's nice on this. Again, I think they. I don't know, man. I want to talk about Ascent. So has anyone else got more bind stuff?
No.
No?
We don't want to
talk
see
about it.
15. We don't have to. It's okay. It's just Alpha just playing by himself, just using the ult and everything. It's okay. No, really. Let's move on to Ascent.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
it's cool.
So
Let's speak about Team Liquid. Okay.
yeah, of course, dude. So again,
Yeah,
I think this is something that is like great with EMEA now. So if we take our minds back to 2023, we had FNATIC, they had a Lotus comp, and for about 6 months, I would say it had a pretty big hole in how they played, and it didn't get exploited for 6 months because the EMEA teams maybe didn't have the best coaching staffs back then. Maybe they were all kind of struggling, and it was a one-team region. Now, 2025, we got a 3-team region of like teams that are really, really good at the highest level that can now punish this stuff. You have an Ascent that has a giant hole in it, and it's 1 month in. Heretics punished it pretty well. Liquid punished it insanely well. So the fact that we're actually just having these comps is good for FNATIC as well, because FNATIC lost champs to Louds. They got exploited on their Lotus because no one on EMEA showed them that they had a hole in their game. This is very good for FNATIC. They now have a hole in their game. They do not step B main. They don't take a step into B main unless they're hitting B site. And Liquid had such a good read on it, and they're turtling in as well because they take so slow to actually like go over towards sites, and they're saving a lot of their util for when they hit over towards sites. But if you watch every FNATIC game, they don't have a B main default. So every time they're stepping into B main, it's because they want a B main hit or they want a B main split. And Liquid just had such a good read on it. You see, as soon as they actually like spot people in B main, they're heavy rotating. Or even Camo, he'll just push over towards A. And a lot of times they were just so weak over towards B, and they were just ready to punish over towards short tree and just retake over towards A as well if need be. It was such a good read, and again, it's good for FNATIC. They're getting holes in their games pointed out so early, but it's just so nice to see that we actually have like competent coaches now that are exploiting this stuff. It's so sick.
And there was little details, like they kept shutting the B door, and I just thought that's so cool against FNATIC, right? You know FNATIC are going to play super slow, so if they didn't see anyone B main early, they would then just shut the door and be like, okay, we can stack more towards A.
They're not coming here.
Yeah, and we know like if they do ever come here, we know it's going to be, time is super low, so we can shut the door, add an extra layer essentially, and just it was just everything about that Ascent was kind of amazing from Team Liquid. And FNATIC, I do think, the thing is when you play these comps, right, like particularly this Ascent comp that they're playing, you know, like you aren't going to run a ton of fast hits because you don't, it's not a great comp for, you know, just sending it down to a site, right? Like you're playing solo Yora with double Senti, like it's probably not the best comp that you want to just be running at site. But I do think NAVI did it as well. Team Liquid did it across Bind and Ascent here as well. Like teams know that they can just save their util to the last. You know, they're doing it like all the time, right? Because they know you're always playing slow. And it does feel like I do want to see from FNATIC like a bit of an evolution of like, guys, throw in, you know, 2 or 3 fast rounds. You know,
just 2 or 3, please. Just 2.
They do.
Just 2.
But it's nice now because it's been pointed out that they can throw in more of these rounds, and they can now like have a B. As soon as they do a B default on this Ascent, and then they actually end up going A, that read's fully gone, and like they can now do that, and they should be doing that with this comp anyway. Solo you should always be trying to get over towards the main, so you have like 4 more TPs that can go to the other side of the actual site if you divide it in half. So it's good news. It's good news for both teams. First of all, Liquid, we get backing that the coaching staff's like incredible. Shout out to Yao. I think he did most of the anti on this, and I think it's great news for FNATIC. They learn their faults before it really matters. It's a big loss for them, but it's such a good loss for them.
Also, it's good to see like this happens in football when you're watching it as well. Like watching a top team get slapped. There's something very entertaining about that. There's something very entertaining about it.
I will say it's also it's rare when FNATIC have bad macro, but they have bad macro on this, and
it looked a bit lost towards the end, didn't they?
For it to get exploited is like it's a little satisfying for sure, because again it was annoying when I was watching their Lotus and I'm shouting at my screen, dude, and I'm just trying to wonder how it survives for 6 months. So I'm so happy that I saw this. It's such a EMEA is getting so much nicer to watch, and it's just great for the region because these 3 teams, no disrespect to the other teams, that they're like trying to catch up, they're going to push each other so high and so hard, and that's like one of the reasons why EMEA was so dominant like towards the end of 2021, because we had like 4 top teams that were just pushing everyone.
Okay, I have a question. I was speaking to Dracos the other day about this. I'm so sorry if I butchered this, but he was telling me about how in, I believe it's LCK, it might be another one, but in League, they have this separation within the league, and there's like instead of having 2 groups at the beginning of the year, they play like a round robin to decide like seeding, and they are put into like the good group and the not so good. Group.
The Legends group and the Rise group. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then so you get to see the top playing against the top, and then the middle pack playing against the middle pack. We would like something more like that. Do you think that that would make for stronger teams and better Valorant?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Problem
so.
is, who's watching the bad games?
I think that is
Yeah.
the issue. Yeah, like the only reason I would
Ask
well,
LCK. Apparently, they know.
I think the only reason that people would watch like the lower stuff if it was like an LCQ where it's like something big on the line for it. Otherwise, it's not like.
The viewership is 2. It's me and Sliggy. No one else.
Yeah,
is
that's what I
watching
mean.
those
Yeah,
games.
I was about to say I wouldn't watch it, but then I was like, no, I'm watching it. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the LCK, obviously, like the history, the legacy, you know, the players and different brands and whatnot probably helps a little bit. Obviously, for the super casual fans, there's going to be a little bit of a difference. I actually don't know how the viewership splits, but it might be too early for that now. I think still probably some mixed seeding works best for Valorant, but obviously, I think we all agree that
We would have never got the ZETA Division paper Rex.
format. True.
That would have
Yeah.
never
True.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does take away the big upsets. That is true. And there's
But
always
you
that.
can
Yeah,
also,
there's
you
always
can
that.
This
also
week,
go
who knows?
onto the other side. Like if you're speaking about viewership and actually like getting numbers, you would get a Heretics FNATIC more than once a year or more than once a season,
Which is cool.
which is
Yeah,
cool.
that's
True.
great.
True. Yeah.
You know, because you're giving more of the match to watch kind of thing. Because again, this was a full
Yeah.
discussion that we're not gonna have right now. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, you know, I'm glad that you're all excited about having a 3-team region. You know, you're finally joining the pack of
it's-
having more teams that
it's
are
been a while, man.
candidates. Yeah.
Been a while.
been- it's been 4 years,
It really has. Yeah.
It really has, though. I'm happy for it, and I'm glad, Slee, you mentioned that, because I think whenever you see overall the region upgrading, it's because they're like, you have teams that are challenging each other. Whenever you have a one-team region, like they coast and then they fail at internationals because other people call them out.
Yeah, you all rise together, and even just like internal small things, like just the practice, just the levels of practice just goes up so much better,
Yeah.
just because everyone, and then people have stuff to copy and they get little micro metas. Just it's good for EMEA, is what I'm saying.
Well, it should be exciting. I agree. Perfect time right before playoffs, and we'll see how they all upgrade going into it. So that should wrap up all of our matches from this last week. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of this EMEA segment, EMEA still does have one more week of the group stage left, so we have quite a few predictions to go through. So let us rattle through them. But before we do that, of course, we got to check in with the report card, and I believe we had 2 matches of the week for EMEA. Got
The
a
ones
little
on Friday?
Yes, we
bonus.
did.
Yeah, we had
go.
first one, Team Liquid
Oh.
FNATIC.
Oh, I know the frauds are
Yeah.
not.
Oh,
You guys,
Stupid.
unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
Wow. Calling them the frauds. Well, 65% of you, maybe you'll change your mind this time. But the bonus match of the week, Koi
Surely.
versus
Come on.
Apeks.
You guys
Let's
are
go.
mean. Dude.
Let's go.
You
Good
chose
for
this
you
match
guys.
of the week.
No, but it's a hard
I mean,
one
I
to
don't
call.
think that was mean.
Oh,
I
okay,
thought this was
okay.
hard.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I
Okay,
thought
okay,
more
okay.
people would have
You
faith in
have to
Apeks,
remember,
quite
Koi
frankly.
against KC were shockingly bad.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
This
they
was
were on a
after that.
down. They were
Yeah.
on a downswing.
No.
We keep handing the viewers this easy games, so
Yeah,
we needed a
yeah.
hard one to predict.
What are we doing this week? We're not doing gentle mates.
Yeah, wait, what's
What
our...
I just
Ooh.
picked one. I don't know. What are we picking?
We're
Which
not
one did you
picking
get?
gentle
The
mates.
Turkish
No,
Derby,
let's
no?
All right.
I mean,
Nah,
I'm fine with
that's
the
so
Turkish
easy
Derby.
to
I'm
pick.
fine with
Easy. What's the
GIANTX.
hardest game to pick?
Watch
GIANTX
for
Heretics?
destroy them.
The
Wait,
hardest
let's-
game to
let's-
pick is probably Koi Navi, I think. Is
What?
it?
Okay.
It actually matters the
Okay,
That game
okay,
actually matters
okay.
the most. Put it out there.
Does.
We must have a close game. Let's look at our predictions and whichever one we're most split on.
Okay.
That's it.
Let's
Okay,
do that. Let's do that.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
down with that. All right,
when
well,
I
let's
picked
get
Apex,
started
you're
then.
not
Can't
gonna
remember what I predicted. I'm very excited
We're
for
about
this.
to find out our first match. It is going to be Koi versus Navi, supposedly the most
It
important
is.
match.
It is.
Yes!
Okay.
Gen.G, what the fuck are you doing?
I told you,
Wait,
my
he's a
head has
Navi
been
fan.
But
dunked
you-
by
you should-
Angel.
but you
Angel
shouldn't
has
be
gone.
wanting to
Yeah,
have
but I
people
can't.
guarantee.
My eyes, Kaquka, my eyes don't lie. And I've watched Navi play.
That's not how religion works. That's
They don't
literally the
lie.
opposite.
Now I've watched Navi. I've watched Ruxic. I've watched him play. He's Jesus come back to life. There you go. So I picked Navi. I'll tell you why this game is the most important one, though, because it has a lot of
Sure.
playoff implications, Shober. That's why.
No,
I can
know,
lay out
know,
for you
I
if
know.
you want. If Koi win, they're in playoffs no matter what. If Navi win, they're in playoffs no matter what. But if Navi lose, they need Team Liquid to beat KC.
Right.
Ooh.
And then KC are out
True.
if that happens.
Oi, that's rough for them.
Yeah, that is it.
And you know
Okay.
the best thing of all of that? This game is the first game of the week, and the KC one is the last day of the week.
Oh.
So if Navi are to lose, they have to wait every
You gotta
single
wait the
hour and
whole
every
time.
single round until we're done.
Yeah.
Do you just want Navi to suffer? Like, what's going on?
No,
Yeah, dude,
no,
what
no,
the
no,
hell?
no. I want everybody to be happy, which would mean
Okay.
Navi and Koi making it through.
But, well,
Okay,
Karmine Corp
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
be happy.
Yes, but that is a
France
different
wouldn't be happy.
conversation. That
France,
is
the
a
whole,
different-
no one
The
at
whole of
Champs
France.
would be
Champs is
happy.
in Paris.
Yeah.
Champs will be sad.
Oh, I'd actually argue more people would be sad.
This is a
You would
positivity
be happy.
episode.
I would be happy.
Yeah, positive.
I would be happy.
Kaquka would be
I
happy.
want all the
Kaquka would be
all
happy.
the three teams of the Spanish teams on the in playoffs. That's
Yeah.
what I want. You know.
You know what?
I think that Koi has suffered enough this year.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Listen,
And every other
I mean,
year.
is there
no,
anything?
no, Sliggy, why did you choose Navi? Or Tuber, why did you choose Navi?
Why did I choose
know what
Navi? This is
TMV
better, dude.
They're just
Well,
better.
that didn't
or
go-
okay. Okay.
No, this is better.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like just overall, they're always at least half a step above, if not a full step above, across most of the facets that you would compare. But I mean, I've been wrong before, quite a lot actually. So who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen?
Yeah, I'd give. I'd still give Koi like a 40%, 35, 40.
Got a chance.
40. Say 40.
Okay,
Sure, 40.
I'll go with 40. Yeah. I mean, are you feeling over 50% for Koi, Kaquka, or is this more just belief?
That's belief.
All right.
Let's
go.
I'm
Let's
trying to
go.
teach TMV what religion is about.
Okay.
Oh, well.
It's about faith.
And
I
the
go to the
devotion I
Church of
feel for
Ruxik.
Koi.
All right.
I think it would be
All right,
very
we'll
funny
see.
because every single time that I think of Koi, I can only think of they don't have the counter. They don't know what to do against
Dude, that was
this.
so good.
And that was so iconic. I do not want to forget about it. And I feel like we need more of those moments.
All right. All right. I'm down for that. We'll see. We'll find out. 3-1. All right. Next match. Apeks versus FNATIC.
Well, first one of
Honestly,
the day,
Kurt,
yeah.
make this the match of the week. This, I'll give you the
Do
reason
you think
why.
we could
What?
achieve 100%?
I think this is a good test of like how many crazy people watch this show. Like how many crazies are there that would
Okay,
vote for
TMV,
Apeks? It's
how
like a
sure
good
are you
social
in
experiment.
percentage-wise? How sure are you?
Percentage-wise, I mean,
Yeah.
look, this game. The one thing in Apex's favor is they've got no pressure. It doesn't matter for them.
Yeah.
It doesn't
yeah.
really. It doesn't matter for FNATIC either,
Either.
really. So that's the one thing going for them. But also,
I mean,
there's like a 5-10% chance.
when
This is a
it-
ball.
What? 5-10?
Yes, yes.
Bro, they're not FURIA.
No, they're not. They might win a map, but they are on
positivity.
the
All right.
Might
What
win
would
a
you
map,
give?
you give
Sliggy?
them 10%. I'll give them at least 20.
other two. Wow.
Okay.
They're
I'd say
double
15.
jaws.
I'd say-
Double
Wow.
speak.
Wow.
22. Okay, I'm down to settle for
22.
22. That's the highest I'd go. 22 is the
Dude,
highest
what?
I'd go.
Dude, this podcast has lost its course. You guys are throwing science and law out the window. We got to give at least
I know.
Bala's law. Like we got to give at least 30 here.
You're fatty? Okay.
Yeah.
Don't be ridiculous.
I don't
You
think
can
Ball's
fight,
law
but-
applies.
So we're in order.
be
The
ridiculous.
5,
All right.
the 20,
Well,
the 22, and the 30. Okay.
yeah, there you go. I mean, I don't think we have to dig too deep into this one.
No.
Obviously, FNATIC. Yeah, they just lost, but they're still one of the best teams. So we'll see. I mean, we just hope that Apeks plays their game. All right, let's move right on to the next one. This one's pretty big too. Determines the first seed of their group, GIANTX versus Heretics.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way.
Oh, really?
It's Heretics. dude, it's
Wow.
the
Are we?
Pentagon.
Cooker, if Heretics weren't Spanish, would you pick Giants?
Yeah, that's what.
Yes,
Okay.
Okay.
1000%.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
they're already in playoffs, so
Yeah.
but yeah, I think I'll give Giant X more than 30%. I will give them a solid 38.
Okay.
That's more real.
Okay.
Yeah, that's more-
I'm not. I'm
Do you
not.
like- do you guys like
I'm
it?
somewhat
38?
on
Yeah, I
board.
like that.
I
I can get
might-
on board with
well,
that.
I mean, they have
Everybody
free
feels
games.
good
Yeah,
about this
it's fine.
guarantee then? Yeah.
I feel
I still feel good about the
okay about
guarantee.
it. Yeah. It,
Yeah.
Dude, Heretics are just look way too good, man.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah,
again,
with the
just
form as well.
form.
Yeah.
Form's crazy. Form is
Yeah,
so
yeah.
crazy right now. They look really strong.
I agree. I
Until-
agree. I mean, the,
Until
yeah, until. But hey, the mentals looks better too. It looks like it's on the up and up. All right, we'll see. We'll see if we can continue on that path. Let's move right along to the fourth match of the week: Gentlemates versus Vitality.
this one could be interesting.
Surely this is the match. This is match of the
Wow.
week.
Yeah,
This is
I
match
guess
of
so.
the week.
This?
Yeah,
Well,
it's
who d-
50-50 for us.
Mates.
You
I
that
don't know why I
confident
didn't
in-
pick mates.
Go on.
Just mates.
Yeah, but they have no pressure now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, honestly.
You don't care. What do you mean? You don't
I mean,
care?
okay,
I don't
but
care
but
if they've got no pressure.
but
They'll get to
TMV
12 and they will
That's
feel
how
pressure.
they
They will
live.
feel
They
pressure when they
won't.
get to 12, Sliggy. How about that?
They won't, because they'll just be like, "This is easy now."
I mean, do you think? Oh yeah, go ahead, Kaquka.
No, you go.
No, I was just gonna ask you two, like, if Mates had even won any of the matches, like it might have been sloppy, whatever. It looked like the worst match possible. If they won one of those and didn't allow the comeback, would you vote Mates here?
So here's the thing. In my opinion, Mates pushed a lot of very good teams to places that other teams could have not pushed them. And that is a reality. I know that we are all more center of the like throwing the advantages and not being able to close a match, but knowing that I don't think that these players are going to stick together. The org is out of VCT. In my opinion, at least from the human side, I would consider this 4 weeks to be a lot, like mentally, because it's like week 1 it happened, second week whatever, third week it's a pattern, fourth week what the hell. And even though there's not the pressure of we're not playing for anything, and most people would think that they have to play and use this as a display of what they can do and their chances for next year, I would not be comfortable in that situation, because I'd feel like so many things have gone wrong. I don't know if I have like full trusting in all of this, and I'd be, lost for hope. And I think that Vitality could potentially exploit that, but it's Vitality, so you don't know. But that's my train of thought for voting for Vitality.
Could be the
Yeah,
game
no,
of the
that's a good
battered
one.
mentals.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, both of them having to kind of overcome
Vitality
But
that.
can
Vitality
still
can
make
still
champs, by the
make
way.
it, and
They
all
can still
that,
make
so,
champs.
Yeah.
They can
Vitality.
still
Right.
make
So they are
playoffs, by the
playing
way.
for something.
Vitality just need to win and have Foot lose, and they
Yeah.
make playoffs.
Right.
Which is kind of
Lose.
looking.
It's possible. It's actually
Yeah.
pretty possible.
Okay,
It's a big
well,
game.
50-50.
Match of the week.
Yeah, let's do
Okay.
it. This is
Lock
the
it
match
in.
of the week. You had it correct, Kurt. Kurt knows all. All
He
right.
does know all.
So yeah, for those of you listening, General Mates versus Team Vitality will be match of the week. Make sure you go to the community tab and put your vote in.
Wait,
for
how do we know we
now,
haven't gone 2 Karmine Corps against Liquid? How do we know?
we'll find out. Let's do we got to go to the Turkish Derby first, though. Foot versus BBL.
This guy, no, I'm. What did I do
Oh,
that?
wait, what?
You did that. You did that.
Do you know how to do
You really are foot fan, aren't you?
You
No,
can't
no,
keep
I
doing
think
this.
I think I
man.
remember.
You
Now. I think I
can't.
remember. It's
you-
coming back to me. It's coming back to me.
Is
Go
it?
on.
So
Every
No,
time
dude.
Foot, I think Foot are a bit of a Talon. I think they're a bit of a Talon.
Boots
where
and talent. I
they-
see where
they-
you're going.
They're terrible, and then they're good. They're red light, green light, maybe.
Does that work in English as well? Because in
Yeah,
Spanish,
talent? Yeah,
heel
yeah.
is
Yeah,
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it works.
Yeah.
That's good, actually.
I don't know.
never
Yeah,
thought
look
about
at that. Look at that. You can't dispute that. That's red light, green light right there.
I mean,
So
yeah.
now you believe.
How far back
Oh.
does it go?
Okay.
I don't
This is
know.
what you're
This
doing?
stage.
Oh, not that
CNED.
long.
It's CNED.
It is this stage,
yeah.
though, yeah.
It's
yeah,
seen it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you doubt
Okay.
them, they turn. Look, the win condition for Foot, it's just that individuals kind of pop off more, enough to overcome BBL. If I'm being realistic, if BBL just kind of be who they've been pretty much all year, they almost certainly win this game. However, I've been right on Foot. I've got every
No,
Foot
you have,
prediction
yeah,
correct.
I agree.
True.
Until-
Maybe I'm just on. I just know this team. I love feet. No, I don't. But
All right, we got the clip. Let's
There
go
you
to
go.
the next prediction.
Next game.
The last
Oh
match
yeah, I
of
have
the
to go.
week.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Let's
Team
go.
Liquid
Pronto.
versus Karmine
Smile.
Corp. Yes, everybody smile. I mean, we don't have to dive too deep into this one
Yeah.
either, right? Yeah.
Pretty, pretty good.
I mean,
they have
how what are
already
the
won the group, so this game does. Well, I mean, it's champ points,
ooh.
but
There is a world where K-Corp, like, again, if everyone plays on their top form that we've seen throughout the year, it can be very close.
Right.
Just we haven't seen them
I
all
think that
playing
in
at that
top
form.
form, Liquid destroys KC.
I mean, if Liquid are playing
Well,
at top
if-
form,
yeah,
then
Yeah,
yeah,
you,
then
I
for sure.
thought you meant like both of the teams.
Nah, I
playing
was
top
talking
four.
about average
no,
Liquid
KC
against
needs to-
K-Corp
Oh, okay,
top
okay,
form.
okay.
I
I was
really
like,
don't
yeah.
give a shit because they're already first seed. That's what.
Yeah, but KC, the Megazord comes together and then they'll be able to win. So, all right. I mean, you believe in the individuals, but we haven't seen it come together. Team Liquid, the guarantee goes through for them. And quite frankly, I think we should feel okay with that one. All right. So, EMEA, one last week for groups, playoff implications on the line. Big matches coming up. Make sure all of you viewers and listeners go vote for the match of the week as well. And I think we'll be able to wrap it up. I believe we're all bailing here since the
Apart from
main
me,
part of the
right?
show is pretty much
Obviously.
over. Yeah, Sliggy's staying for the after show with Americas. So
The after show. That's a good way of
Yeah,
putting it.
yeah, that's,
the after
Guys,
show.
we're gonna be talking FURIA for like 50 minutes, so get out
Oh,
of here.
yeah.
Oh, well,
Oh, yeah.
enjoy,
Furia can still make
Sliggy.
playoffs.
Yeah.
No, we're spending time on
fucking
teams
love
that don't have a
that.
chance. Furia can still make it.
No, I
That's true.
can't.
true.
No, they can.
So there you go.
Well, all right. Kaquka,
All right.
any
It's not gonna happen, but-
farewells to the viewers and listeners? Anything you wanna say?
Thank you very much. I hope that I wasn't very loud. Lots of love and kisses, and stay hydrated.
Awesome. Stay hydrated, everyone.
Good advice.
Sliggy, we'll see you guys in Americas.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Sorry, Sliggy, you have to stay here.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a
Getting
bit.
everybody
then.
Also-
else involved.
Do you know how 2G make playoffs?
Go on.
Wait, no.
2G can lose to Sen. And if Furia win
What?
2-1 against EG, they still make it.
Wait, no.
No, wait,
Is
but
that
then,
real?
What, and then Fury go out, so Fury have to 2-0 is what you're saying.
Furia have to 2-0, yeah,
Okay, okay.
to make it.
Well,
But if they win 2-1, 2G make it. And then they play an Ascension. Imagine. That would be crazy.
that would be
That's
cool.
actually crazy. Yeah, I would love that.
Okay,
But lock in Furia. Lock in for 2 of the 3 maps. Goodbye.
All right. See you guys.
See you guys. All right, everybody. We got Dan Dryad here. Let me switch her in. I'm worried about Bren being awake, but I think he might show up. We'll see. He's hosting. There he is. Bren's here. Okay. Let me swap everybody so we can be heard. All right. Bren is here. All right. We should be able to hear both of you now.
Hello.
Hello, Bren. How are you?
I'm hosting apparently.
If you want to, unless you want Dan Sliggy or Dryad to host.
I'm down to host. I'm down to host. It keeps me locked in, you know.
Dude, this is a fun week of Americas. All right, Chayo should be joining at some point, but we do have Dan and Bren in Sliggy's chair.
Sliggy's chair.
Yeah, but Sliggy had to. God, I'm such a worker. I was going to say 10-1. He had a 10-1 real quick.
What the fuck does that mean?
Hello, hello. Do
bathroom.
you guys hear me?
We
Hello,
do.
Dad.
Okay, cool.
Are you calling in on your phone?
Oh, does it sound like that?
It does sound like you're on your phone or on a webcam.
I'm on RKT setup.
Oh, this is
Wait.
fine.
Ericate!
No, it sounds fine. It sounds fine. You have to see him walk
El
in.
micrófono sirve bien, ¿verdad? Sí. Ah, ok. Es que no sé si este es el que estamos. Okay. No, it's all good.
All right.
It's fine. Thank you, RKT.
Sí. Es eso, ¿verdad? Okay. We're good.
We're good.
Cool.
It's fine. It's fine.
Uh,
It sounds fine. It sounds fine. It doesn't sound as bad as a webcam. I could change my mic to the webcam.
Do it.
Oh, okay, great.
Actually, can I do that when we're live?
Joey.
It might break something, but we're still waiting on
Yeah, I'm not
Chayo,
gonna
so we
do
have
it.
time.
You should try it, bro.
I'm not gonna do it. I don't want to break anything. Yeah. I'm scared.
I'll give him. We'll press the 3-minute button that I have, but we'll give him 2 more minutes and then we'll start.
I have a bunch of buttons on my mixer. I don't know what they do. I could try pressing them.
Yeah, do
Yeah,
it.
go from top to bottom.
Okay, this is the top one. I think I just started recording.
Okay.
What are you
I
recording?
think it's supposed to be playing trombone noises, but it's not doing it. So
Wait, is Chayo
never
streaming
mind.
right now?
I
Let
give
me
up.
see if he's streaming.
he's playing
We've-
rematch. What's he doing?
He is not streaming. Okay. We've had many situations where people are streaming. Remember the stream? I think it was our most viewed episode of all time. Josh just didn't show up because he was like fixing his computer.
Fixing his PC.
like on stream.
Yeah.
And I think
The-
that's our
the-
most viewed episode of all time. I
That's
don't know
good.
why.
We had a good one where Bren was playing ranked. He was on Reyna. I remember that.
yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
You were popping off though, to be fair to you.
I was. I mean, I think I was.
Yeah, I remember it well.
Do you guys want to start up and see? We'll get Chayo when he.
We can
appears?
start
Yeah, dude.
I'm
up.
assuming
Let's
he's
just
having
Okay.
internet issues. All
We can
right.
start up. It's fine.
Start her up.
Just
There
run
he
it with
is.
the 3 of us. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the America section of Plat Chat Valorant. Ooh, yippee! Yippee! Sliggy, thanks for joining. Actually, Sliggy, I haven't seen you in a bit.
Yeah, it's been a while, dude.
It's been a
I've been-
while.
Every
Dude,
time I
got a
watch.
question for you.
Okay, go on.
When do you eat and sleep? I think I've asked you
in
this
between
before.
games.
but-
The sleep's not great. The eating I do in between games, but basically the sleep works on the weekends. Saturday, Sunday. You just split it up into 4/4. 4 hours from Pacific to Americas, and then after Pacific,
This guy's a machine.
you sleep for 4 and then watch Americas.
Oh, you can just do that?
Is that
Yeah,
good?
It's like, you know, have you seen Avengers where like the Hulk says he's just always angry, so you go into Hulk form? That's like me, but I'm just always tired, so I get to sleep.
Okay. No, that answered my question. Dan,
Hi.
you dyed your hair blue. We're not talking about Lev yet, but my meds haven't kicked in, so I can't follow the runner show just yet.
That's fine. That's fine.
But
That's fine.
Why did you curse crew? I don't know.
Yeah. You have no. I have many things to say, and it's not even about the match. It's just these guys. They give me so much power. They really think they lost because of me. Maybe you lost because you're not playing well. Have you thought about that? There's no way. Every single time, oh, it's your fault. We lost because of you. Why is your hair blue? Wait, what is it about me? What is it about me? Have you thought about yourself? Have you thought that maybe you are the problem? Anyways.
No, that's a good rant. And
You're gonna
that's
get banned
facts, to
from
be
the
honest.
crew house. Jesus.
Oh, that already happened. I can't get in. I can't get in. I can't get in. For people who don't know, I live like in the same building as crew, so I just hang out with them. But I can't do that anymore. It's
Is that why you're
They
at
cut you
RKC
off.
setup?
we're having a moment. Yeah, that's why I'm here. They kicked me out of my house.
That's insane. Okay, let's get started with the first topic. Maybe Shy will show up in like 50 minutes when the episode's about to end. We'll see.
That'd be perfect.
Let's talk about Cloud9 versus 2G, where Cloud9 just absolutely slapped them around. There's not really much that needs to be said about this, other than that in my head, Cloud9 are kind of cementing themselves now as they were the team that's choking in playoffs and would always dominate groups, but now they're just kind of this gatekeeper team because they haven't really cut their teeth against anyone better than Sen, and even then they looked really poor when they played against Sen. So
Yeah.
I'm struggling to place this Cloud9 team, like how well they're going to be doing, and whether or not as well if they're just playing poorly because they're trying to evolve and be a better team now, because they've spoken in interviews in the coach interviews when they've been playing that they've been trying to work on a slower attack side macro on certain maps, but it's a tough one. I don't know. It feels like Cloud9 have taken a few steps backwards.
I think they played poorly against Sen, so that's kind of like maybe put them down in my books a little bit because of that. But I think they made 2G here look like the stage 1 2G, and I think that's actually pretty impressive, to be honest, because 2G's definitely been looking better and better, but this looked very easy for them, in my opinion. I actually think that C9 restored a good amount of faith for me personally after this game, because at least my 2G stocks were going up, and then yeah, they just completely dismantled them. It wasn't close. So I think that's a good sign. You can do that.
Yeah, I think Cloud9 is looking good. I just feel like I feel like they've always had issues with consistency in the way that they want to play or set up Oxy, where sometimes it looks very different. So wait. Oh yeah, so in that match against Sentinels, it was like a lot of Oxy playing by himself, getting a lot of space, and then pretty much playing for one and done constantly on Haven. But for this one, I think it goes back to the way that they were playing early on, kind of the first couple matches that they've had. I still think about the thing that Josh said about this team actually being tested. I feel like this was I thought at least before going to this match, this was a good way to measure, because I feel like 2G, even though they haven't won that many games, they're kind of in that mid-table. But Cloud9 was very dominant, so I feel like that's just kind of the level of consistency that they're trying to find, even when they're playing these things that are a bit outdated, like the Sky, the Breach, whatever it is. If it's working for them and they're able to continue setting up Oxy, even if it's in ways that are a bit more passive, I mean, I think they should be good for now.
I'm always a fan when I see a team like snowball off of a pistol. Like I'm a strong believer that normally in tier 1, maybe you can take away a few teams, we'll get onto that later, everyone should be like relatively evenly matched, that if you do win 2 pistols, you should like snowball successfully and win. And C9 kind of restored my faith in that with this one. It was just like a great example of how to snowball and just make sure we've won the pistol, we got that double econ. Let's make sure we have good plans going in, and then just plan ahead with all their ults. I think their ult usage was very good, and yeah, I mean they won 4 out of 4 pistols and just snowballed like mad. So it's again, it's just a good sign.
That is a good. Listen, if you win the pistols, you can convert past that. You're probably going to win. So
Yeah.
that's Valorant, baby. That's first to 13.
Dude, when you get that 3-1, 4-1, it's just feeling incredible.
Yeah. We can, dude. Will Shio ever turn up? That's maybe
I'm
we can
trying
put
to
up a
find
YouTube
someone
poll.
else right now. Don't worry, I'll get someone.
Yeah. Kurt, just
You might show
turn
up.
your camera on.
Yeah,
You
you
can
want to
join
join?
us.
I don't
Get
have
in,
a
get in,
camera.
You want to produce and be on the show at the same
Get in
time?
there.
You just look at me
Probably
like
not.
looking at monitors like a crazy person. Uchayo
Yeah.
said he'll be there in 2
Let's,
minutes. Perfect.
Nice.
All right, sweet. Okay, let's move on then into NRG as a team. Talking about them because they had a very close match versus MIBR. MIBR are back for one, which is nice. Actually playing in top form now. Whether or not they'll make playoffs or not is another thing entirely.
They're
Because
out.
that group, they're just
done.
out, right? They're just
Yeah,
done
MIBR is
completely?
out. Yeah.
It's more about
Damn.
points now for them because
Mhm.
they got to prey on the downfall of pretty much every team. To be honest, apart
That's
from like
rough.
Lev, they want like Lev to finish 3rd, 4th because of points. Yeah, it gets a little rough for them for sure. This man, this was a fun game though.
It
I
was
got
a
so
really
much,
fun game.
dude. It was really fun for a 2-0. It felt like incredibly close to be honest, and I just, dude, 3 aces in one game is so
It's
insane.
insane.
It's
That is so good.
insane. Dude, what Mado was doing in this game was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Especially Bind, man.
Mado
Especially
on
Bind.
Bind is just different.
Dude, I've rarely seen, you know, when you're in hookah and someone's in the tube of Bind, Adzi always pop that guy. He always does this thing where he just shoots 4 bullets at head height and just always connects
Yeah,
like
just
the
catches
3rd or
someone.
4th
He did it
bullet.
twice.
He did it twice.
He
dude.
did it twice.
You see that like once a year and he's doing it twice in one game. No, he was really on form, and the calling's getting a lot better. Like if we're just focusing on, like I've been really critical with the NRG calling, especially for Ethan. He likes to throw some util over towards the other side of the map and then just send it. This time they're just sending it, but with the util that they would normally use anyway. So this time they've got like a knife and a prowler to make sure they can overwhelm, and it's gonna be good because I feel like the next time they can play, if they do go back to their old calling style where they're throwing some util over there because of their demo that they just played where they're just sight hitting. Like people might over rotate now from it, so it actually works really well for them long term. And I think like every time I watch this team, the fast fixes that Bonkar's doing to help the calling out is like really good. So I liked what I was saying.
I'm a huge fan of like you said, the calling improvements, I think, because
Yeah.
it was something I was paying attention to after. I can't remember what game it was. It was early on in stage 2 with Ethan's attack side calling, but it looked like we'd gone back to 2023 almost. 2024
Yeah.
even, sorry, when Ethan was calling for them. Just
Yeah.
very slow. They didn't have a good idea of being efficient with their attack side calling. Like a good attack side default, normally you have an objective that you're taking and you have pivot options because you've set it up nicely beforehand. But they were looking like they never had that, but they do now, and they've gotten way better at it. I also kind of like that they're running the KO on Bind because it does a lot to disrupt. I mean, I know Ethan's he was sitting at like near the bottom of the scoreboard for his team on this map overall, but having the double info of a fade that can be consistently getting information with the prowlers and knives that you're using at awkward timings, because Ethan wasn't really using them off the rip too much. He was using them around like 1 minute 10, right when a team is looking to try and set up after a slow default and maybe go into an exec, and it was really disruptive to what MIBR were doing. So this NRG team they're looking good. They're evolving well right now. They're looking like a top team for playoffs.
They really are. And I think you touched on a good point there. It's like, you know what you were saying about with their calling on attack where they like wouldn't have the pivot option, right? All the time they would just like death ball 5-person. They started doing that on Lotus. I think it was like 5-0 down and then Bonkar called a timeout. And then they started 4-1-ing. So then they started going 4. And then once they got blocked, they had that one. They had that option. They could take the space. They could go back and they knew that all that space was clear. They're doing so much to help the calling. Sometimes I think they have to be reminded. Either that or like their original game plan kind of failed a little bit. But dude, yeah, I came off of this feeling good about both teams. It was like pretty high level, to be honest. It sucks that MIBR got to this level that they're at now just so late.
Yeah, and I mean, for them it's a bit unfortunate too because the match is so close. It could have gone either way, especially towards the end. But I feel like for NRG, I don't know, they look really good, and I feel like the thing that I always mention about them kind of being reliant on matter and some are things that they've been able to fix, or the things that you're mentioning, like the way that Ethan is calling now, or even I also really like the KO. But for me, Mata is just, I can't believe that in 3 years of VCT Americas, he's gotten more aces than people that have been since year one. I mean,
It's mad.
how is he doing that? He just completely takes over. It's incredible. We've never seen something like that.
He's really good.
He's a
Yeah.
pistol round warrior, to be honest, as well. The amount of
Yeah.
times that
Yeah,
this
he
guy
is.
will just
Yeah.
absolutely lock in for him, which definitely helps. But
Hello,
yeah,
Shio.
Shio, thanks for joining us.
Hello, how's it going? Dude, I had a VOD playing with Plat chat. It paused on EU at some point. I fell into a deep slumber, woke up to like Kaquka's voice. I'm chilling, and I'm getting calls like from 3 angles. Like, where are you? And I'm like, it's still EMEA. I'm chilling. I'm winning here right now. I'm like, yeah, EMEA is nice. I'm still listening to it. I wonder when NA started. I thought you had a hard out, and like, I joined into NRG versus MIBR. I'm like, okay, I'm here now. Holy, I missed something. I'm awake. I'm here. I'm chilling. My bad. I'm
You,
good.
you
I'm
sound like you
chilling.
just woke up. You're fine. We're chilling. We're chilling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, NRG looking good for playoffs themselves. It is sad at MIBR. I didn't realize that they were out, to be honest, but I guess that was kind of defined when the final game was played.
Yeah, it depended on 100 Thieves if
Of the
they
last
won.
game, right?
Yeah, crew were in and then MIBR is out. So yeah, I mean they can still make it through points maybe because
Yeah.
they're still third. But again,
Just
like
unlikely.
Sliggy was saying, it just depends on other
Mm.
people winning and getting ahead.
Yeah, basically. Also, they got a little unlucky about the groups. Like the groups are
Yeah.
really odd in Americas. I would say the 3 worst teams in Americas are all in the same group at the moment. So I think that's unlucky. To be
Very
honest.
lopsided.
It is really lopsided. It didn't work out
Furia's
great.
not even out. Furia's not even
I
out.
know.
How
Furia
is
can,
MIBR out before Furia?
Furia can do it. Well,
Dude,
kind of.
that's-
At least on paper.
They could. They could.
They really can. It's possible.
The silly circumstances. Anything to add on to this, Shao? I mean, you missed most of what we were saying, but
No, I mean, like again, when watching it, I think this is just like a test on MIBR. Like, you know, are we well for both teams? I think this was a week where it was like a turning point for I think a bunch of teams that might have had one good week. We're talking about theories that might be turning into laws for some teams. But for these guys, like it's just a bit unfortunate for MIBR. We just needed like a little bit of a run to go on through the entire time, and it just didn't look to be the case. For energy in general, I just feel like we just need a bit more than Mata and friends to be like the story for the team, like regardless of wins and losses per week. And I feel like that just might be scary, like for deep runs in playoffs. And like we're thinking about champs now as well, right? For some of these teams that are still in the running and like how far they're going to go. Like I need to see more depth from them than just having one guy bail you out like round after round. That's about it from just this week of playing.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I would like to see Verno maybe. So when I listen to interviews or like little snippets from when people are breaking it down, Verno's doing the pre-barrier calls, and then Artin's doing mid-rounding.
Yeah.
So in my mind, Verno's kills shouldn't be dropping off as bad as this. So he's in a bit of a slump at the moment because I feel like your pre-barrier calls, you've got that 30 seconds, you've got like the time after you die potentially as well to kind of work it out. And I don't think that should be affecting his fragging to the level that it is in this stage 2. I just know that he's better than this, basically.
Yeah.
I want to see him play up to his full potential.
we've been speaking about. I just want to touch on real quick before we move on to the next thing about MIBR. And one of the things that I've been mad impressed with, to be honest, is Cortezia being a really vocal guy in this team. Because this is one of the things that I thought this team was always missing is that they have veterans in the form of like Aspas, but Aspas he's not a vocal, passionate leader that's going to get the boys rallied when they are 10-2 down. And Cortezia has kind of just molded himself into that for this team while also playing really well at the same time. It's made a massive difference to the mentals. Like to see that guy, I mean, I'm thinking about a match from the previous week when they played against 100 Thieves and they were down 10-2 on bind. And they just dragged it all the way back. Like after they won the pistol, Cortezia was up and out. He was shouting at his teammates, passionate, fired up. This guy's he's kept it going into that previous week, into the week that we just watched as well. He's kept this one going as a consistency, and I think that if he keeps on this track as being this guy who's able to bring the vibes up when they are looking dismal at any moment, and keeping up this level of play too, doesn't matter where MIBR land if they end up falling off onto the wayside. But Cortezia has really cemented himself to me as a player that I think should be a staple on any tier 1 Brazilian team from this point on with those qualities because they're rare.
No, that they are rare, and I think when you have like an Aspas and a Verno that maybe won't fill those roles, I think you got to have that hype man, and he's great. and it hasn't affected his fragging. And it's just, dude, it just feels nice, especially if you have a team like when you start losing as well, and it becomes so overwhelming. And then those teams, like you're saying, Bren, those teams like when you are like 10-2 down, and normally any other game, like if it was a different scoreline, you're cheering for the stuff that happens, or you'd have a better reaction to the stuff that happens. The fact that he's just ignoring the scoreline and then is doing that from the get-go, that's so sick. That's like, it brings so much to a team, and it's always, I mean, we've always spoken about this, and sometimes it becomes like a little meme, but like vibes of the team. It's so important, man. It's so important.
It's so underrated because it's literally what MIBR talked about when they were mentioning how somebody had to step up with the vibes because everybody was very low energy during matches, and having that understanding that really helps you out is really cool. And Cortesia being able to do it is also great because it's also, I feel like it's something you can't force. You can't force a guy to stand up and be all energetic. And so the fact that it naturally coming to him, and like you're saying, that pistol round when they're so down, I think it's really cool, and is what MIBR needed. I feel like maybe they found that a little bit too late, but that's also hyping up all the other guys up. I mean, you also see Artin standing up with him too. So you have these little things that the team didn't have before, and they realized hopefully it's not too late if they make it to champs. But yeah, for Cortesia, I definitely want to see more of him. He even went through like the role changes in the year, and even though it wasn't something massive, just the fact that he's been able to adapt and play so well too, it's, I mean, one of the best players in Brazil for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can move on to the next topic here and talk about the current top dog that's beating down on everybody in their group, which is Sentinels. And this is a squad that, I mean, they're looking kind of dangerous. I will say it's hard to tell when you are comparing them because, again, they are beating down onto weaker opponents. But I've never really seen a team. They've got that dangerous element of players in the team that know what it's like to lift a trophy, but haven't done it at all this year. So they're still very hungry to improve, which is a really dangerous combo, I think, for a team. And you can tell that they are dead set on improving and being in the best possible form for playoffs and champs currently, because they're not holding back. They're messing around. They're laughing occasionally when they are, clearly winning by quite a large margin. But in this EG game, I mean, they're just stomping them, but they're doing it in a serious fashion. They're not just messing around the entire time. This is a team that's still determined to actually improve with every single official that they're playing. They're on a good track right now.
No, I agree. They're trying to make the most out of everything, especially like every round. There's no like overheats. There's none of like the dumb stuff. It's actually just like, this is serious. We can learn from this, and let's just play proper. And dude, they're looking good. Their map pool's looking nice. They're hitting good form, especially Narrate maybe has taken like a slower time to reach. I'm not even sure if he's at his peak at the moment, but at least reach like the level that we saw in EMEA last year. So dude, if you're a Sen fan at the moment, I'm excited. And people in my chat keep asking me like, where do I view Sen at the moment? I'm really high up on Sen. I think it's very hard to stay consistent in this game. So if you manage to go to every single LAN, that's like normally a very good sign. But I think if you've done it this year especially, this is the most changes we've ever had, where it's meta, and like meta just before kickoff, then meta after as well in terms of the Teo getting nerfed, and multiple maps. Like to stay consistent at that, they're working hard, and they're a good team that can adapt to a lot of these curveballs that are getting thrown, and that's very underrated. And then now that we're kind of having a stabilized meta, they can get really good on everything, and they know the only curveball coming into champs is Abyss. And I think with how good their map pool is, they should be excited for that change as well, because they're in a great spot to, I mean, them and G2 to start looking at their map early. So, dude, I'm enjoying watching Sen at the moment. I think they look really good.
Yeah, I think one big thing too is that EG are a team for I think the entire community, which is like playoffs is like a big thing. And the runs they can have are huge. But I think the questions as to why we pick Corrode should be like talked about a little bit, and like what we're thinking about as well. Sen's Corrode hasn't changed, and again, I can agree it's one of the best in the world, if not the best, from what we've seen so far in consistency. EG looked slightly lost in their approach to Corrode, but also like their compositional approach as well in terms of what they wanted to do against Sentinels. So I'm looking at like this team from the sense of like, if they're going to level up in playoffs, where are we looking at the moment? Even Lotus, some of the comps that did work when Derek was on Chamber, like I think 2 weeks ago now. I don't think they've gotten back to it at all. And I haven't liked anything as much as that week that EG played. It's the only reason I picked up Derek on VFL as well, and it's been like a dead pick in the water a little bit.
Deep, man. Yeah, he hit you
Where's
deep.
my 30 bomb, man? Like I'm feeling like a scam. But like, yeah, I mean, And it feels like Sentinels has gained a little bit from EG in terms of even the timeout buff. Like some of these rounds, I think round 17 specifically as well, I think it might have been off a timeout after EG won 4 up on their defensive half, I think. Like Kaplan says something really well to where Sentinels have like amazing set plays and they just lock in. That's like the Potter special, right? Like that's what I expect out of EG half the time. And they're looking to be even better in that sense. But for me, from this series, I'm just looking at EG in general and being like, where is like the power level of this team coming in the playoffs? Like everyone's talking about how C9 is filling the gap as probably the other like, you know, mystery 4th spot going through. 100 Thieves is in the business. A lot of people talk about that EG run and we see senses of it coming into, you know, these last weeks. I'm a bit worried just based on what I'm seeing in preparation.
It's hard, especially because for EG and for Potter, we always kind of associate her with very unique things, very cool ways to counter strat the enemy team, very cool ways to bring something different to a composition that we've seen for a long time. But they're not only playing a lot of the standard comps like in Haven and Ascent, but they're also, I feel like, not really innovating in the right way. And I mean, in a way, you can't really blame it because they're trying to test a few things, especially for Corrode, for example. But I thought that when they went from playing Chamber to back to the Tejo that they've been playing all year, it was for that match in specific, and they were going to go back to the Chamber because they had a game plan around the Chamber where they were playing towards this A side, they were opening the door, they were trying to condition the enemy team on how this defense was going to be playing out, and they just went back to the Tejo and they went back to the same kind of thing without, I feel like, the difference with Sentinels is that every week it seems like they're adding more and more layers they can see in the game. Before EG, I feel like it's just a little bit of the same. So it's I don't know, it's really unfortunate because I feel like when the team looks good, when a few of the players are good, they can do great things, but I don't know if they can do it this time. I mean, they have 1 week. They're not out yet. They have 1 week. They can maybe make it to playoffs, but even then I'm still worried.
Yeah, I think the good thing, you guys touched on some really good points. The good thing for EG at the moment is that they're in the group with the 2 worst teams. So they have a chance to go through. But them actually going further with how they're playing just isn't going to happen for sure. I think, Shai, you kind of touched on this a little bit. So we're always going to compare it to EG in 2020. What is it now? 4? 3? 3. Where it's just like, even if we just break it down to like set plays ult usage, like you were saying earlier, where is that? Like I'm looking at these games and their ult usage is just really bad. So then that kind of leads me to like, this is why I always talk about teams, and I'm just like, when people ask me about like IGLs or coaches and stuff, like you never really know the full impact they have until you see them in like 2 different iterations of teams. And that kind of makes you think that maybe Zix or maybe Com was doing a lot of like more of the actual ult stuff. If you actually look at like what's consistent around there, I think Com used to do a lot of stuff when it comes to ults, and I think that they kind of miss like that person that's giving them these set ult ideas so they can be more decisive in terms of, oh, this round we got this ult, let's use this cool ult. And I think that's something that Zix has pretty good stuff in 100 Thieves, but when I watch like all of Com's teams, if you just look at their ult usage is really good. So I think that he actually does a lot of value out of game that like this team lost when they got rid of him. And then just comps from this, I think their Lotus comp is just completely done. I think it was completely done when you got exploited by Cloud9. You can't retake over towards sites. Everyone's just copy and pasting the C9 game plan against you. They're just going C. You can't retake. Like you can't retake with this comp. You got no Omen Flash. You got a Clove. It's going to run in there. It's going to die. So yeah, I think it's rough. And again, Shai picked up on a good thing. You pick Corrode, dude. Where's my normal recons over towards middle? Okay, sure. Let's say we don't have them for whatever reason. Then why have we got a Sova if you're then not using your drone to take middle? That's the only reason you would play a Sova over a Fade, is because the drone is insanely good to like fight or force middle. I just don't get what I'm seeing with this team.
I didn't see them fighting mid much.
Dude, if FURIA were looking better, I would actually be feeling good that FURIA can take them, because I just think EG looks so bad. It's so painful to watch.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. I was hoping that they would keep running off the back of playoffs in stage 1, where they were looking like they played the best VALORANT they had all year. To be honest, in that one small instance, I was hoping that they would keep it going. But I think it goes back to the earlier point you made as well, Sliggy, about how hard it is to be consistent in this game. When there's so many variables changing throughout the year, it can take the slightest thing to just throw you off balance as a team, and then suddenly you're like 0-3 down at the beginning of the season, beginning of the stage. It's so easy to lose just all the gains that you've earned prior when you make rapid changes. So I mean, it's annoying to watch EG in the current state when we I don't know. For me, it's annoying to watch them because I know that they can do better. But
Yeah,
As scientists,
we
it's
expect
not-
better. Yeah.
Yeah, there's scientists in the field for me that are doing some research on EG. We have their like
Scientist?
yeah, scientists are like running hypotheses just to see their like genetic makeup and their carbon. And so they need pressure to become diamonds. It only really works in the playoffs. So in these weeks, they're just floating around. What does carbon do? Pencils. They're writing. They can get erased. What else can carbon do?
like roofing.
Roofing. The shingles fall off if it's the hurricane type. Sentinels hurricane happens. But in playoffs, pressure, diamonds.
I mean, they're on pressure now with their upcoming match.
Yeah,
I mean, we're going to do
say
Preds later, but
this
they
week
need to
is
win this
pressure.
match against Furia. And I will say, as much as, Slicky, you said if Furia are playing a little bit better, you might want to take a punt on them. Furia with no pressure, with potentially Basic coming in for the final week.
Yeah,
it's got the makings. I'm going to hint it. I'm going to tease it.
This is the match of the
I
week.
think it has potential.
It might be the match of the week. And that says a lot about the sorry state of Americas right now. But we can move on. We can talk about a different team, which is LEVIATAN, because LEVIATAN are another team that we've been making pretty steady improvements. They played up against Crew, and this was a fun game to watch.
It was so good. It was so good.
Sick.
This was, as much as the last map was very one-sided, overall this series, I'm a huge, listen, it brings me back. I was saying when we were watching it on the co-stream, but back in the day, when the team still had these very set identities, like EMEA, you can tell they've grown their blueprint of how to play the game based off of Counter-Strike, slower play of style. In America's NA with these Latin teams, it felt like when you used to watch them back in the day, we used to call it jail Valorant, but it was just balls to the walls. We're going to send it with these fights. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to be trying to take timings when teams are setting up with their retakes. We're going to be trying to take us fights often and proactively. And both of these teams were trying to do that so much. It made for an absolutely incredible watch, to be honest. It was one of my favorite matches, I think, in the week.
It was my favorite for sure. I think one of my favorite matches of the season. I think for like LATAM, this match always means so much because the Crew left, the rivalry, whatever. But you never really expected to deliver the way that it did, just how messy it was. And I feel like it is now maybe a little bit about consistency with Crew, because you see Crew and the way that they play against Loud, and it was kind of just as chaotic. But I feel like it gave everything that it had to with we talked about Sato, we talked about what he was going to do, if he was going to be able to close out the series when it got a little bit longer. And Dante Kesnit with the double duelist. It was like, I feel like it was a match that was meant to be this messy. And I feel like the coolest thing is how much of the mental game also played in it. People were shooting at the floor. They were standing up. 105 players of left stand up. I was talking to King right before I did the post-match interview, and he was like, when we did the live tour and all of us stood up, I counted, because I was like, if we all stand up, they're gonna be so tilted, we're gonna win the game. Like, it was literally the plan that worked perfectly. He was like, I looked at Kesnit, he was so tilted, we won the game.
What round that was? I want to show it
Genius.
again.
Genius.
It was in Haven, the 5-man Lysor. I'm trying to remember when it was.
Psychological warfare.
Yeah, if you want to rewatch a match this week, this is the match to rewatch.
I know.
Like, they
I
are
agree.
screaming at each other after every single round. Like, they're not screaming
so
just for
good.
no reason. They're screaming at each other. Like, it's like heated. It was very, very
Is it
entertaining.
7-2 on Ascent, Kurt? I think where like it becomes like a precipice where they're actually conversating. Where I think Kesnit like says something about like sit down, you're bad, Sato, and then like or Oki, and Oki responds, it's 7-2. It's 7-2 though. You guys got nothing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
It was insane. Like they were at the edge of both desks as well, so they're closest to each other, and they were just yapping back and forth after like every loss. It was a ranked game, man. This was like the ranked all chat match. It was actually nuts.
Yeah, it was cool. The Shy 1v4 as well was incredible. Over towards B site, my goodness.
That won them that map for sure.
That did win them that map, yeah. And I honestly think the Crew should have 2-0'd this, and they kind of messed up. So before I go into the negatives, I think like Crew on Bind, they snowballed really well, especially when they won pistol, they won the second round, and then I think on the second round or the bonus round, they like double orb defaulted to make sure that they could actually get the ult to snowball. I thought that was cool. Like, many teams don't actually do that. And then, dude, on Haven, they're 8-4 up. They lose the pistol, and then at 8-5, they go for a Hero Guardian buy on Haven, and it's like, guys, you're you're 8-5 up. You don't need to do this one. And then they have a weaker first buy against the bonus, and then they lose that, and they just get snowballed. And I think Crew really messed this one up, to be honest. I think they had so much momentum, and then as soon as they lost that fast buy on Haven, because in my opinion, because of the Guardian hero buy that they did in the round before, they just completely, it gave Lev so much momentum. They want pistol into bonus. They're feeling good. Their money's incredible, and you just don't need to do that stuff. But this 1v4 was nuts, bro.
Like it was
the fact that he has 2 bullets here, and he's this calm about it, and he even considers the fact that this guy walked up on him. That is nuts, by the way. And this peak here, like the composure to do this is just, it's one of the best 1v4s we've seen. It was so good. I thought the round was beyond done. Yeah, to do this kind of stuff and not to capitalize on this stuff because you take a risky second round approach to losing a pistol, I just think that's way too many risks for your scoreline. It tilted me.
Can I call the experts here?
Sure.
Ericate!
Oh boy.
1 second, please.
What does RKT have to say?
Okay. So, Crew Lev, you can put it on.
Okay.
Crew Lev, give us your thoughts.
Oh, that was really messy. That was messy.
You think it was good? You think it was bad?
No, I think there was a good things, some good things, but at the end it was just. I agree with the mental warfare thing. It's like they were just screaming at each other. The Gasnit clutch was amazing. It was so calm for being 7-1 or something.
Yeah.
But that wasn't good Valorant. That was messy Valorant.
It was fun Valorant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it was
fun.
super fun to watch.
Wasn't good. It wasn't
that kind of Valorant,
perfect.
Don't want champions.
When everyone wants to take Angels, it's like really fun to watch, but it is it is messy as hell.
Thank you, RKT, for the input.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, RKT.
There you
Scurried
go.
out of the room. I think you guys have, everything you're saying is hit a nail on the head with it, to be honest. One of the things that I'm really excited for, though, to be honest, is this match is a bit of a turning point for Lev for me, because I thought they were you could see them improving week on week as a team. Obviously, when you throw a bunch of players together at the beginning of the stage, you're not expecting them to come out the gate swinging. You're expecting it to take a bit of time. But this was a real turning point for me, I think, them being Crew. And they should be looking forward, I think, to... I mean, it should be a really good match against 100 Thieves. Again, we'll touch on predictions later. But in terms of them making playoffs, the chances are way higher now for them. It's gonna be interesting to watch. This group is so damn competitive that I'm just excited to see how far LEVIATAN can go as a team right now, because Sado is the truth. This team is finally clicking together. They're looking good on a variety of maps.
Fun.
Sado, dude, I'm telling you.
He's perfect.
We're going to talk about the rumor about the potential change of format for Americas in 2027 later. But I will say, I would like to keep custody of Sato in NA, if that's possible. I don't know if that's allowed, but I would prefer that because he's too funny.
We get kidnapped.
He's like perfect for the game. He's like insanely good to watch, and then he's just fun. He's just so fun to watch. He's
so fun.
The most perfect thing you can get in this game. Is like an absolute blessing. And dude, it feels so nice to look forward to watching Lev. I haven't been able to say that for a while, to be honest. So I really like it. I like the 2 pickups. I think Okeanis is like a little bit underrated in terms of what he brings as well. I think he's like been a solid pickup. It's just the fact that he's been picked up with Sato, who shown the potential to maybe be the best player ever in this game if he kind of keeps this up, and he's insanely entertaining, dude. So,
the vibes are good for Lev too. This is the first time, like you said, we've been I mean, just feeling confident about Lev, but you can tell in the team comms after each round, they're all on the same page. They all get along, they're all on the same page. There's no issues whatsoever. They're all pretty determined to improve and win right now. So,
and they fix their ascent, which is good. Like they just went to the chamber Vice, and Tex looks nice on a chamber. So
Tex has always looked nice on chamber.
He's always it's been a while since we've seen him, but he looks great on it. So it was nice to see him have like a. Don't know. It felt like first 5 rounds he was really carrying them. So I like to see that.
Okay, let's talk about the match of the previous week, which was, of course, G2 and Babybay sending Furia to the Shadow Realm. Unfortunate situations all around. Nah,
You
this
got an
match,
ace.
he did get an ace, baby. Our boy
Good
Babybay
ace.
doing it for all the
Dude.
talent members out there. He got an ace, and listen, it was with a
An
pistol.
ace?
5 players
my God.
running into him.
It was good,
Yeah.
man. It was
That
good.
ace was
No,
like a Battlefield
it was
6.
great.
Yeah, it
It
was
was,
good.
It was
incredible.
like Battlefield 6. You're on a turret just holding mouse one ace. It was ridiculous.
It
he
was
actually playing the
incredible.
open beta while everyone else was playing VCT this weekend. It was actually wild. But like, yeah, that was it was wild.
Yeah. If I'm going to glean a positive from this match, which I'm not going to speak on behalf of Furia because I think I've got a lot to say about Furia, and I don't really like the way that they've handled the latter half of the season for themselves. But G2, I quite like that they are still opting into. They know that Corrode is one of their weakest maps, but they don't ban it. Sometimes they're first picking it, but they're letting it float as well towards the second, still trying to get reps on it. I don't really understand why Furia picked it. Well, kind of, I suppose, because it is the weaker map for G2, but I didn't see the vision there. But for G2, I can see them still trying to get the most. They're like Sen, where even though that their situation is a bit dire in the fact that they don't get to play with Leaf consistently, they've already secured up their spot in champs based off the points. They've already locked it in. So they're using the time well of whatever time that they've got in these officials. They're not just messing around, although they are having fun with it. They're still making improvements.
It was like when I was watching them, they kind of all had, we used to call it overpeak cards. And I would give one to everyone and then you'd kind of use it. And then obviously if you get punished, then you don't get it back. So I felt like they all had like that one. And then like Trent kind of overpeaked once. And then I think Jonah P kind of overpeaked once. And then other than that, they're actually playing like with the utmost respect of just like, let's just play this round proper, make sure that we can like look into it and just respect the opponents to an extent. And I do think, although it's hard to think of positives for Furia, I do think their macro looked a lot better. I imagine it's purely because of the Sage that helped them. Dude,
Yeah.
this ace is nuts, man.
Go.
I'm telling you.
The go.
He
The go.
melted them. He doesn't move his crosshair too much, I will say that much, but it's a good one. But yeah, I think you could actually tell that Furia had been working this weekend and what they've been working on. Their macro looked a lot better. It actually made a lot of sense for what was going on. So there is more hope than we've seen because the score definitely doesn't reflect that by any means.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, the way they played was a lot better. And I think like leaning into the Sage on Corrode is going to help that. You kind of have your wall and then you can worry about less places and play off of that, especially if teams are trying to disrespect you. Like if you can get a stack early and you are walling so that you can have that early info, then that's going to help a lot. So I think the chance that I give Furia against EG like went up a little bit from this game. Not too much, but it definitely went up.
I'm so interested in G2's Corrode. Obviously, they're working on it. I like that they're trying different things to see what works out. But the whole time, and I feel like it's something that we talked about last week, is that all the agents that Babybay was playing on these maps are agents that you would see Leaf playing. So it was the Chamber, the Vice, whatever. This time around, because they switched it up, and it seems like it was kind of last minute because of Babybay's interview. Him on the Viper, I just don't think we're gonna see this composition again. I feel like it's more likely going to be what we saw week 1, week 2, whether it's the Chamber or the Vice. And obviously it also depends on when Leaf is coming back too. But I mean, I do like that they're experimenting. I just don't think that this is something that they were actually planning on keeping with Leaf.
Yeah, it might just be like curveballs to throw other teams off, you think?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I can understand that. I think it's at least like an option, and I think that's never a bad strategy from them. I will also say that a little bit of Babybay praise again. He's good at playing his role, man, and it's not his normal role. He will always do everything that he needs to do on the other side of the map. Like they're 4-1ing, they get blocked over towards B. He's making that space on A. He's calling them back. So I don't know, man. I'm like. I've liked watching Babybay, man. It's because obviously like I used to watch a little bit of him in tier 2 and he's just in my opinion how I judged him was like a brain dead kind of player, to be honest. And it's nice to see him be put in a role where you have to prove that you've got a good like brain on you, and he's done that. So my at least personal opinion on how he was as a player has gone up a lot. So.
That's messed
Savage
up.
tweet.
That's fucked up. That is just
that is messed up. Yeah.
Dude. The consistent commentary from Leaf just on the sidelines as his team's
Yeah, he's
just
so
like
funny.
peeing on people is really good. Yeah, it is really good. Now, I want to get real for a second with Furia though, because it's quite frustrating to watch this team in you're in a shit spot. I won't deny. listen, you're in a terrible spot. You don't get to play with your consistent roster that you wanted to play with in stage 2. At this point, you're pretty much finished. You still have a chance to make playoffs if you win your last match, which is more than most teams can say. You still have a chance, but I think that they mentally are handling the end of stage 2 pretty poorly. When you know the cards are stacked against you, and this is very tough to do because they're all these players are competitors. They all want to win no matter what, but you can tell that their primary objective, no matter what, is winning, and it's putting so much pressure on them right now. The coach is in the booth who's just come in. He's looking stressed as fuck. Like 10 years has taken off his life already just from the one match where they are not expected to win against G2. Like it's you.
Yeah.
Everything is stacked against you. The mentality. If I was coaching this team, I'd be coming into it being like, guys, okay, yes, we want to win, but we need to be thinking about long-term improvements. We need to be thinking about not the wins as our primary objective, just improving as players. Because we already know it's chalked. It's a very low likelihood that we're able to at least make something of it, of the rest of the season. So let's just try and get the most out of it that we possibly can. But again, as I say that, it's very difficult to do that when you're a pro player because every pro player wants to win first and foremost. It's the whole reason they're even there in the first place. But I think that they need that voice, someone who's telling them and pushing back against the entire social community pressure as well that comes from Brazil as a region because they are so heavily involved and overly negative as well. If your team is really performing poorly, it can't be healthy to be having all of those pressures weighing down on you. So I just wanted to see them come into it with a different attitude, but it doesn't seem likely. Watching this game, I'm like, there's no more lopsided of a game that you're going to be playing, maybe with the exception being when you played against Sen. Why are you so hard on yourselves to this extent? Like, you have some fun with it. Test new stuff out. Try and get the most out of the matches at hand. I haven't really been seeing that too much, but who knows? Week 5 could be a completely different story. It genuinely could be with Basic coming in. I don't think they've been scrimming with him still, so my hopes are still low. But, yeah, I mean, it's just been a bit disappointing to watch, I think.
I like how we've been saying
Yeah.
Basic is coming every week. Just
Every week.
one
Yeah,
time we'll
every
get it
week.
right.
Holding out.
He's
on
here.
it.
This is
right?
the week. This is the week, right, guys? I
Yeah.
promise. I swear.
But yeah, enough about FURIA. Let's talk about the last match that we watched, which was a pretty good one, to be honest. Loud versus 100 Thieves. Definitely one of the better
Really good
games of the
one.
week. It was a certified banger. Yeah. And man, it had so much on the line in terms of both of these teams making playoffs. For 100 Thieves, like if they win, they basically qualified themselves. But they had a lot on the line for Loud themselves as well. That pressure was there, and they were so damn close, man. I mean, it went to OT at the tail end. Absolute banger match.
It was so sick. It was actually so sick because the last map was like so perfect. So basically, to set the story, both of these teams like to ban Lotus. So they both started floating Lotus. It's normally their perma bans, and then it was like, oh, who's gonna pick it? And then at the end, 100 Thieves just like, sure, we'll just actually have it for the last, and they thought it was like a curveball from them. But then Loud had actually definitely been practicing it a little bit, but you could tell it was kind of like no one had that much practice on it, so like the attack macro was like a little bit off. So a lot of times they were like sending it into sites, and it was like 3 people on the sites, and it was just like a huge brawl. It was scrappy, but it was like the best kind of scrappy. It reminded me a little bit of like the Lev crew, where it's just like everyone's on the same page with whatever the call is, and it's just a mad brawl for just 5 seconds, where it's just there's so many people in one area because they haven't created enough pressure around the map. I think Asuna played really well, man. I think he was one of the outliers of why it went to like why they won in overtime, especially. I think that he had so much impact in that game. And dude, this Lotus map was one of the funnest maps I've watched as well. And Luke Show's so fun to watch, dude. Like every time, I feel like he enjoys being on ecos, and he enjoys when his team loses the fast death, because he's just like, I'm allowed to make a play now. And then he just loves when he can just walk through smokes or try and make a play. It's so sick when this guy has confidence or has like the freedom to go make a play, because the amount of times that it is successful is pretty incredible. And he's so fast with his aim. So yeah, it was nice. It was nice to see him on this map, dude. He looked really comfy on this map. So yeah, I love this game. It was sick.
It was nuts. I think Benkata as well has like the second lowest clutch rate in Americas, and like he had a really nice clutch as well to like keep the team in the game, which was sick. The plant spots half the time on sites were crazy. The timing of what things were happening were nuts as well on Lotus specifically. Going back to Sunset though for a second, dude, I spawned in thinking I was dreaming, and everybody was like had the same like loud goggles on that I've had for like the last like 3-4 weeks. These guys look so strong. Like we were questioning, could these guys just win champs like in this state? Like when Sunset was going on, like this is crazy right now. Everyone's hopping on the submarine. It's going wild. The protocols they had on attack were crazy. They like dominated. The way they were taking like B site was nuts. A was never a problem. Even pivots when they were man down, or they were like got first blooded, but were amazing from Loud. They always had an answer on one of their players. Like so sometimes Verdi too was kind of shaky in the way he was like taking things on his own. But for the first like 6-7 rounds, it was like he's never been on Ezolos before, or he hasn't played the weeks that he was playing before. His biggest weakness has been he's moving a little bit too fast for the rest of his team. He was blending in like it's Assassin's Creed 1 and you're holding circle in like, you know, a group of nuns. Like it's crazy, man. Like he was with the team. It looks so good. I wanted to see more of it like on Bind. I feel like Loud might be a team as well that has this America's kind of like mentality curse where you have such good poison form. One map goes wrong and then you're kind of shaky coming back into it like on your protocols for map 3 or the rest of the series. What Loud were doing with just push pulling like this, or rather, as well that Kurt's showing, the amount of times just got to walk in the market. I'm not sure if it was like 100 Thieves just biting too hard on like being on one side of the map too much, but they did this like 3 times in a row in the first 6 rounds, and it worked so well, and it boomed the Thieves. Yeah,
it was actually multiple rounds. They would create like pressure top mid, and there would be, no joke, a 5-second window where they can take like a timing, and 3 of them would take like a timing and just go up together. And then there was like, yeah, there's just like 3 rounds where 100 Thieves like, whoa, how the hell are people here? And 3 of them, it was sick to watch. Like minimap game, it was really sick to watch. Definitely 100 Thieves like over rotate a lot. I think they can use the Yoro a little bit better on defense. I would be going aggro A all the time and try have the Yoro late defend over towards B in terms of the TP. But dude, it was fun. It was fun to watch because they completely outplayed them. It looked like, dude, it actually looked like they're wall hacking. You know, you hear about that cheat where like you got your phone out and you can see the mini map of the other players. Looked like they had that, and they were just like, right, come on, guys, we're going through market. It was crazy, bro.
Yeah,
absolutely crazy.
I'm assuming a lot of that as well. I mean, this Sunset was a great example of them understanding the weaknesses of their comp. Because if you're going to play Breach in this day and age, you have to be aware of what could go wrong. When they were setting up Kawazine on the Breach to try and stun across the A line, you're really, really vulnerable to a mid push from the enemy team. They were setting up Luke Show beforehand so that he could lurk in, insert himself into the corner and top mid, and he can call for rotates. He can protect Kawazine so that he can literally just hold his fault line out, waiting for the timing of the rest of the team. They had a very clear and good game plan on Sunset, but 100 Thieves still managed to take it. I do want to talk more positives for 100 Thieves because, listen, the fans might have given up on them, but I haven't. This was again another major turning point for me in my head because I was wondering, okay, 100 Thieves going to keep slumping, or are they actually going to be able to turn up, especially after the loss to MIBR? They turned up. They managed to clutch it up into OT as well. Maybe that speaks more onto Loud not being able to keep it going, just, you know, themselves as a team into the final moments. But Asuna as a player had an absolutely unreal game towards the tail end of Bind and Lotus. This guy is operating on a different wavelength, and 100 Thieves have evolved a lot as a team. They used to look like a team where Asuna would be just like the dog on a leash, and you've let go of the leash accidentally, and he's gone down the street, got to go chasing after him again. It's not the case anymore. This team is playing together. When they make these plays, they still have the same style of play where they are looking rabid. They are trying to jump on teams, and sometimes they get caught in awkward spots where they overfight too much because they're trying to find that one pocket, that one window of opportunity where a team is setting up with util in their hands, where they're not ready to fight. They love to do that. They love to try and make teams uncomfortable and throw them off their balance. But their style of play is now working. Before they looked disjointed in the past. Now they're looking like they are all on the same page, which is going to do wonders for them, genuinely. Since they've solved that, now it works. They went from looking like an absolute clown show to now an actual good team that can do damage in playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. It's the double duelist effect. It's for sure the double duelist, and it's like finding the right blend of cryo, understanding the Yori, because like you're saying, it used to be Asuna sending it, and then everyone's slowly coming up. But now it's like Asuna sends it, he's flown over everyone's head, they got to go look over towards here, and then they take a non-normal TP into like a relatively safe position, and then everyone else can flood through, so it's just so many angles of it. They got the double duelist down on a good amount of maps. It's just getting the other maps up to that level that needs to happen. Yeah. Like the Sunset Lotus at the moment are like the two where it's like it can get there. They just need to get it to kind of the same level as their Bind, because I do feel like their defense and their attack on Bind looks great. And even Loud have some anti, right? They kind of knew over towards, they like to take backside of A. They knew that Asuna would like double satchel over towards Truck and try and get on top of Truck. They were literally just sitting in the smoke ready for him, like on the most important buy round. So I will say like Loud did their homework. It was pretty cool. But yeah, this was... Yeah, I'm excited when I watch 100 Thieves. I'm still on board. It just feels like they need that time, and it's always going to happen when you kind of change a big player. In terms of like Boostio, it's going to change a lot. That's your IGL, it changes up everything. So they still like need that time to get these maps good. But Kess has been awesome for them, man. He's just filling in where he needs
Yeah,
to.
he's great.
And
well.
He's
going
great.
above and beyond, really. He's fragging very heavy as well. His util's good.
One really good adjustment on buying that Thieves made as well was Cryo. Like, and we talked a lot about him already, but I think one of the issues last week was opping a lot of the time and like saving that op multiple rounds in a row over and over and not really finding much with it. Like, yeah, the reason I think he was able to play with Austin a lot more and the team is that they put him on the rifle a lot more, especially just on the defensive side as well. He was actually with the team a lot more, no scopes in sight really as much and prevalent as the weeks prior. And actually being able to have a voice, able to play 5v5 on sites, helped them out a lot more. I'd like to see that Cryo op on Yoru come through against maybe some of their comps. I know that the genetic makeup is there for the team to go that route as well. But it's nice to see that if you know the team's going to be more scrappy, a little bit more active on the site, that Cryo has the ability to drop that op, pick up a rifle, and play with the team. So it's a nice adjustment for this week because I think that lost him that last week, but personally.
You're talking about the MIBR game where they played against
Yeah.
like the double controller. Okay, yeah. And they would like
Yeah.
game plan
He
was
was,
up,
like,
but he didn't
blocked
get
off.
it. Yeah, he didn't
Yeah.
get a chance to up. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with that fully.
All right, sweet. Let's talk predictions then. Well, first we're going to check in actually and see how the viewers did with their one. And last week's match of the week was, I believe, MIBR versus NRG. And what did the viewers predict? They predicted the win, I think. So their record's looking pretty damn good right now. How many percentage of you? 71% of you said that NRG were going to be winning. Now listen, okay, MIBR were back, so okay. That's pretty heavily on board with the NRG train, but you got another one correct. What's the overall record looking like? Pretty damn
Yeah,
good
not
still.
bad.
Hasn't shifted. B+. But it's pretty
I've
damn
never
good.
seen them
Level
get all
spray,
of them
though.
right.
They
Yeah.
never have it, I think.
When
This
is
is the
that
week,
going to
I
happen?
think.
This is the week. We're gonna get
This is
into
the
it.
week.
Yeah.
This is the week.
It's
the
going to be a
week?
tough week, but
Okay.
I believe in him.
All right, let's open up then with our first predictions, which the first match we're going to be looking at is Crew versus NRG. Should be a nice one. Should be a good one. After Crew's loss, don't know how we're going to be going with this one. Maybe okay.
Ooh, I'm
That's
glad one of us
interesting.
did.
What?
That's
Wow.
really interesting. Why have three
I
of
thought I'd be
you
the
gone
only one.
for Crew?
I don't even know. At this point, I don't know. I'm just here. Maybe it's because I want to get back home. So don't think
Turn you back in.
Yeah. Honestly, Crew need to beat NRG, I think, so Loud has a chance to qualify. I think that's the narrative right now. My
That you're
preds are-
going for?
I'm going for like the chance for
What
Loud
is it,
to still make it.
Crew? Wait, can you
Crew
say it
need to
again?
make it. Lev need to lose, I think. I'm not sure. And then another team. There's like a three-way parlay right now that I'm rocking with in these spreads.
Okay.
But honestly, like all these predictions as well, like between these teams in this last week, doable. Like it's realistic. Like could Crew beat NRG without NRG looking? I think so. Yeah.
I
like
have bad news that you
Yeah.
might not be aware of. So every time a Brazilian team depends on Crew winning, they will lose. And it's nothing personal. It just happens every time. And this one could be one of those matches. Energy is a pretty difficult opponent. So I think based on that, Kurt, you know what? Change my prediction.
really.
But Crew always makes champs, though. Which one?
Crew
is,
always makes
Yeah,
Yeah,
but they're
that's
they're already in. That has nothing to do with it.
But they're
already
also a
in.
one. They're a
They're
one
in
spank
first.
team. They lose and they win. That's just how it goes. And it's a law now. It's not even a theory. They lost against Lev. They're gonna win against NRG. It's the pattern. They're a rainbow team.
I think. Well, actually, no. Change it back. They're gonna. I want to get. I want to get to my apartment.
So much work
It,
for
la-
me,
it
Dan.
lasted
Oh
for
my
5
God.
seconds.
Just imagine this, right? Imagine for all the NRG copers, Bren and Dryad right now. Imagine this: the round starts, Mata dies. What is
Yeah,
NRG
that's-
gonna do?
No,
Oh
no.
my
In that
god!
situation,
Oh
then
my god!
it's
he gets
looking a
first
bit
blood.
dire because Mada is a pistol round warrior. That guy is. I'm not gonna lie. He's doing work for NRG on the
No.
pistols. But
My-
I think
What? Go ahead.
I was gonna say that I'm pretty sure NRG should be favorites for this. The only thing that I've gone for Crew is it's just like if you guys don't do something dumb, you're probably gonna win. So just don't do something dumb and don't tilt
God.
because you did something dumb.
They're gonna
Like,
lose.
I think if they can like all be on form and they all actually keep like a good vibe and everyone's fragging to the heavy level, I think Dante's actually getting like building up a lot in confidence. So I think if they can keep that and they don't do dumb stuff like the buy in the anti-eco, I think that, or in the eco, I think they'll be okay. It's just, I don't know. I'm not sure I have faith in that. And I will say NRG are getting better week after week. So this one was a hard one to call, but I'm just going with the fact that the crew, when all their individuals are shooting, they look so good. They just have to not tilt. What it feels like.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I feel like 1 point for energy is that I know that we talked about, Mata doing good or not doing good and that kind of shaping the way that the match is going to go. But I had a feeling in that map 1, which is exactly what happened, where Mata was, when he started, he was 0-9 in that match. And then he turned it around. He was able to close out the map better, and then after that's when we start to see the aces and stuff. I feel like before, for energy, if they have a slow start, they're just not going to recover. It's going to be a bad game for them. So I feel like we do have the good signs for energy, and then on the other side for crew, if anything is going to drive them, is try to get those points, because that feels like the most likely possibility of them making it to champs is getting these wins early on, because they're 4th right now after MIBR. MIBR only has 1 match left. They win this one, they get 2 more, and then they're gonna pass MIBR, and they can make it to champions that way based on whatever G2 or Sentinel. So I think it's gonna be more of that mentality that crew is going with, but I feel like energy has been looking so good. This can really go either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should be a really good game as well. NRG, I just have more faith in them with the trajectory they've been on. Been looking like they've been getting better and better with each week. Crew have had a lot more slip-ups that are recent in my mind. So, well, I went for it. As much as I like to hate watch NRG, it's they are playing pretty good. So, yeah,
can't be too successful at the moment. Yeah, they're playing pretty good.
Yeah, let's move on to our next match then, which is the match of the week. You can look forward to this one, viewers, as well, for a chance to predict on it. But it's 100 Thieves versus LEVIATAN. That's our match of the week. Let's see what we want. Ooh, okay.
Okay.
So, audio listeners, Dryad is the only one that's gone for LEVIATAN. Excuse me, there's a frog in my throat. And then the rest of us have gone for 100 Thieves. Dryad, what's up with the love pick? I thought you were trying to get back into the apartment.
Yeah, it's complicated. No, this one was hard. Honestly, these 2 matches, I was like, am I gonna go for the Latin teams, or am I gonna go for, because I think it's hard. I mean, for this one, I think personally, it's another one that is really hard to predict. 100 Thieves have been looking amazing to me as of right now. The more that I think about it, the more confident I am is that Six is just top 2 coaches that we have right now, top 3 coaches actually that we have right now, even though they haven't been able to make it internationally in quite some time. We got Kaplan, we got Joshua T, and then I would put Ziggs right there. I feel like for 100 Thieves is great, but talking about why I put Lev, I just feel like they really understand what their win conditions should be, and they have very disciplined players to make those win conditions happen. You can have a scenario where Sato is playing, I don't know, like Oxy was in year 1, where he's playing a lot by himself, or like not really setting him up properly, but you don't really have that for Lev. I feel like the more that we see them, the more coordinated they look, and how they want to set up Sato, how they want to play with his double duelist with Okeanos, that I feel like has also been looking really good. And just based on that, I feel like they've just had more time to have an understanding on how they want to play this compared to 100 Thieves. If anything, it can be a little bit of momentum for 100 Thieves that can help them close it out, but I feel like overall, the macro for Lev and the little things that they're doing to add up into that should be enough to win this matchup. And also, they need to win this matchup, I'm pretty sure, to make it to playoffs. So I feel like they have a little bit more of that in them.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of that. I struggled because if I actually use my brain a little bit on this one, I actually think I was going to go with Lev. I just kind of want, and I'm believing in the 100 Thieves. I think the 100 Thieves are a map down pretty much to start with, because they're going to lose a Lotus or a Sunset. And I would be very surprised if Lev don't pick any of them, especially as they've looked good. At least it looked good on the Sunset. So it's going to be weird to see which way 100 Thieves want to go with it, and if they want to play the Sunset or if they want to play the Lotus. But I feel like Lev pretty much start a map up. But I'm actually just holding the belief that 100 Thieves can 2-1 this.
I don't want to swap my pred.
Okay. Really? Hold on. Let me clear my case. Okay. Sliggy, I got a question. What is the second syllable of Shayo?
Okay, why?
The syllable. What's the syllable?
Wait, I don't even know.
Shayo. What's the second syllable? So
Yo.
say that twice. Say that syllable twice.
Yo.
Yo-yo, exactly. So think about the yo-yo, okay? When you
Right.
flick the yo-yo out and it stays at its bottom pendulum form, it loses its spin over time. When 100 Thieves win a game, the next game they play is that little pendulum of force lost, right? When they win, they feel good, not as much as improved on, and they kind of teeter out on their protocols, in my opinion. That's kind of how it goes. I feel like that's one of the reasons MIBR got that win against them as well. This last week, don't let the green fool you, right? It was, I feel like, a pseudo loss for the Thieves. They got 13-2'd. Bind looked solid, but then it was an overtime 14-12 on Lotus as well. There were some things to work on to improve. Yo-yo, snap back in the business. Keep the situation tight now. I feel like there's so much they're gonna work on.
But they won. They won, so now they lose.
Right.
They won, now they lose.
You're not hearing me. It was a pseudo loss. That you could still see the force.
No, that's
spin
not how
losing.
it works.
It was. They got 13-2'd. They got 13-2'd. It's like loud in stage 1. Did they really go 0-5? Is that what the numbers tell you? Because it didn't look like a 0-5 to me. Like they look pretty good on some of those losses. Some of those losses were kind of like some wins. Let's be honest. Over here, this win, pseudo loss. Lots to learn from. And when 100 Thieves learn, they're going back with that torque, with that spin, prime spin. 100 Thieves. Just based off this last batch, they're gonna actually have a lot to look at, a lot to work on. They're going to be good facing Lev. They're going to be tight, spun up, ready to go.
Yeah.
Brandon, has that made you want to stick or change?
Not really. I was kind of just cracking up at. I was dying at Shio's attempt at yes-anding with Sliggy, and Sliggy, you just didn't want it. You just couldn't be. You were like, okay.
I'm tired, man. Just trying to think what cinema
What
is.
is
I'm
this?
just like, Jesus, going back to school. I was like, here we go again. Here we go.
I want to swap my pred. The reason is because of everything that you guys have already been saying. But I also think that Lev have cut their teeth against a team that plays quite aggressive Valorant, that want to take fights and want to take timings. And 100 Thieves also play like that. And Loud were trying to punish it. You could see Loud they would do the initial take of some area of the map on their attack side, and then they would wait. They would wait it out either 10 seconds, 20 seconds, down to the minute mark, waiting for the reaction out of 100 Thieves. I think LEVIATAN can take something, they can glean something from that series, which presumably they're going to be watching. But they've already been tested in terms of firepower against a team that's very strong as well. So I think that the more I think about it, I think that Lev should be slightly favored into this matchup. It's going to be a close one. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be a close one, but I think that's reflected in our preds now, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the other match of the week. We didn't tell you there's going to be 2, but it's FURIA versus EG.
Yes.
Do you want to see this? I think it actually should be.
Wait, you actually want to move this to match of the week?
We have 4 slots for match of the week, and we cover 3 regions.
We get a
so
bonus?
We can do
A
this.
bonus match of the week for FURIA versus EG.
I mean, if we
do it.
want to make sure that the Timmies get it, this
Let's do it.
probably is good.
I'm down. So FURIA versus
anyone-
EG, and we have no faith in FURIA for week
I thought one of
5.
you would.
I was going to say, was anyone tempted?
Basics baited me before. I can't trust him again. I thought
is
he
he
was
on a
gonna come
flight
through
yet?
for week 3. Yeah, didn't show up. I'm good. Like me at the beginning of this episode, didn't show up. I'm good. All okay. Yeah.
I think there's definite chances for FURIA though. The pressure's
Give me a
on
percentage.
EG. Percentage. It all depends on these variables that we don't know. Is
Okay.
basic in?
With basic, what's the percentage?
With basic? And they haven't scrimmed of him recently, but I
Well,
imagine
they have been at
it will-
150 ping. Assume they've, because
assuming they've been
that's the rumor
scrimming
as
at
well.
150 ping with
That's
basic.
what everyone keeps saying. They're still scrimming with him at 150 ping. Like
I give him
assume
like
that.
a 35-40.
Without
Whoa.
basic now. What's the
Without
percentage?
basic, lower.
How much lower?
Now, the reason I'm saying this is because the pressure is on for EG right now, right? They need to win this game to make playoffs themselves, to have like it locked in, right? That's it. Because otherwise, if they lose the FURIA and then other stuff happens, they would lose the head-to-head to FURIA. FURIA would somehow get above them and get, I think, the 4th place spot. And EG would lose out. Basically, it's almost guaranteed that EG will make it, but to really seal it up properly, they do need to win this match. So there's a lot of pressure on EG right now to perform. And I don't know, it feels like they've just gone backwards a little bit in terms of what they're playing. The comps are changing on a variety of maps for them. They look uncomfortable. They don't really know what they want to do set in stone in terms of what they want to run on certain maps. The things that I was crediting them on in playoffs when they were looking so good as well have almost gone missing too, where it felt like they wouldn't have any hesitancy if a player had a timing elsewhere on a map when they're working the map ever so slightly. They could pivot into it. It feels like it's
pick 'em.
Do it.
Okay.
Well, it's not going to
All
switch
right, I'll pick
guarantee,
Furia.
but
I'll pick Furia.
Yeah, do it, man.
all right.
I'll pick Furia. Someone else asked me how many hours would it take, no police interference in a room locked up, to fix Furia.
Quite a lot.
And I gave them 1,000 hours because I need about 600 to 750 to learn Portuguese up to a decent level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll take about 300 more hours to try and build out. I think actually I might need to take like a psychology degree on the side to try and get their minds in the right place. Some sports psychology, perhaps. So probably about 1,000 hours. But I'll swap to Furia. Listen,
Dude, you gave him
if
a
there was ever a time for
35%.
him to do it,
I
it would
was
be
like,
now.
yeah.
If there was ever a time for them to be doing it, it would be now.
No, I agree. They're catching EG at their lowest. And this should be their peak. I don't know. It hurts me to say, but it should be their peak. Well, that's true. You guys are telling me this shouldn't be their peak. This the longest they've been
but
playing
this-
together as a group.
There was one guy who said you get shot, you die. Like I feel like that guy should be like so loudly pressing with that motto right now. Where
No,
the
seriously.
difference in
Okay,
skill
well,
between the
The
teams.
game has evolved. The game has evolved.
Where is that guy? The
unfortunately.
game has evolved. Past
The game has
you shot, you
evolved. It's
die.
no longer. Listen, you can get shot and you can die, but the teams that win in tier 1 these days are the teams that are more than the sum of their parts. The teams that understand team play. Like it's a shooting game. Yes, it's an FPS game, but we're not out here playing Crossfire. We're not. We're just. It's not. It's it's a different game. It's a different beast of all the util teams have gotten so good now at playing off of util. It's changed, but still, I will say if that's what it takes, I'll scream in their faces. I say, listen, you guys are shooters. This is it. It's your last chance. Forget about winning. Forget about the chances of you making playoffs. If you win this one game, just understand you got to play with no pressure. Have fun out there. Play to win. Communicate effectively. Get fired up. Have fun with it. It's your last chance on the big stage potentially. You don't know where your careers are going to go from this point on. Just make sure you have fun with it. You don't know. You might look back on this in 20 years. You're by the fire. You've got an elderly dog by your side, and you're talking to your grandkids. You're like, I regret that time I didn't fucking lock in against EG in week 5 of stage 2 2025. I really regret that. As you're saying to your grandson, your grandson's like scrolling on 20 forms of TikTok at once. The water wars are kicking off behind you. You're having to move to the Great Lakes just to try and survive. The world is in a dangerous place, but you will regret this moment if you don't lock in now, Furia. I'm telling you right now, you will regret it.
Damn.
Let's move on.
Okay, I have a fun trivia question.
Okay.
In the last 4 maps that Furia have played, did they win enough rounds to win a map? Did they win 13 rounds in the last 4 maps?
In the last 4 maps?
The last 4 maps?
Probably not.
I guess not.
I think yes, barely.
I'd
they
say
got 12,
in
right?
4 maps. Yes.
I can't remember.
No.
It's one of the
won
maps we
12
used.
They
rounds
didn't?
in the last 4 maps.
Jesus.
Oh,
And if we're relying
Well,
on
forget
util-
about that. Forget about that.
Listen, if you're saying util and you're putting Fury in the same sentence, can we play the clip where Orango walls himself off with an
No.
operator and then
No.
knives
No.
through the wall to get
Oh,
back?
that was...
No,
Like,
let's not play
Can we
that,
look
actually.
at Fury's god tier team util here real quick
I don't
to
want
look
to do
at
that.
how they're playing? Oh,
That was
man.
that was on against 2G, wasn't it? I'm correct.
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
against 2G
2G.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
this team's evolved. They've gone from a number to a letter now. Like it's even harder to play against them.
I don't want to watch that again, please. That was.
Let's go
okay.
to the
We
next
could-
game.
Let's move on to the next
Next
one.
one.
Yeah.
For derailing
Let's
this.
move on, man. Let's move on. It's 2G versus Sentinels. This one, I think we're all expecting to go in some direction. Get your smiles ready. Yippee! Yeah, this is basically going to be probably a slam dunk. As much as 2G have been improving as a team, Sentinels are looking like the best team in their group easily by a country mile. They are locked in. They're not letting any match slip away from them at this point. So not
Yeah.
much needs to be said.
Yeah,
I
especially
like,
with how they looked last week.
I really like the fact that Sentinels is actually trying to win this stage. I feel like teams have not really been talking about that. Like everybody's locked in on champs, but they do have the vision of for the first time winning a stage, which is something that they haven't gotten the chance to do. And that's why they take prep so seriously, you know. So that's why Celsius in my interview said he's going to lock Phoenix. So
I mean, that's very troll. I didn't really get to talk about it when we were discussing Sen, but I think that I think Slee, you kind of touched on it though. But Narrate's form right now
he's
is
so good.
unbelievable, and it's not
Yeah.
just the aim that I'm talking about. It's his positioning. It's how active he's getting on Lotus, on Fade. Fade is normally a very supportive role. The players that are defaulting back into that position, typically their util is being used from far away to support the rest of the team. They're not having a gun out most of the time. They're having to like hold a Cecil for someone else's contact, whatever. It's a role where you don't really get the most out of it. But the way that Narrate is positioning himself in these roles, on quote unquote more supportive roles, I gotta say, this guy is always in the right place at the right time. His aim is on point too. Positioning, game sense, everything right now is just off the charts. Sentinels are looking scary. They're looking like a scary team. But I wanted to give him some credit because he's evolved a lot as a player compared to when he first came into Sen. And I think you can give the credit to the team structure, environment. I know Cap is a great coach for it, and yeah, I think it's done him a lot of good being in that team structure for sure. You can definitely see it.
Yeah, I think the comfort like with him and Bang has just gone beyond because it didn't start off too good.
No,
so it's nice to see them get to this level.
But
Yeah,
yeah, they found a foot.
Can I just say one thing that this is the last potential match that we're gonna be seeing 2G in Americas. So
That's fucked up.
sad.
That is fucked up. That is that is sad. Things are going with a bang.
Well,
5 duelists, just absolutely running it down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Reina?
do it 2G. I mean, it is disappointing that this is the way it's worked out, but unfortunate situations. Unfortunately, that's listen. Unless we change the U.S. immigration policy, this is just going to be a recurring theme, I think. Although I guess it wasn't necessarily that; it was more just that they didn't get spiked into the midway point, and their IGL crashed out before stage 2. So, yeah, a bit rough for them. But alas, we move on. The inexorable tide of Valorant must continue, which is G2 versus Cloud9. This match.
Ooh.
Okay. I was expecting all of us to go for G2, but Dan has gone for Cloud9. The sole person who's predicted Cloud9 again.
Yeah. I say this out loud? I was like, well, okay. I've always believed in Cloud9, and I feel like this is still the group stage, so this is still in the realm of possibility of them getting a win. But outside of that, I do think Cloud9 has been looking great. I think obviously G2 is like, we don't even need to talk about them. We know that they've been looking great. We know that they've been adapting into this Babybay roster, kind of making it work out. But I think for Cloud9, they have been actually showing improvements week by week, and I feel like if you ignore that Sentinels match, or at least you use it just to compare the growth that they had since then and the little things that they were able to fix, I'm super confident in this Cloud9 team. And I feel like that's something that people don't say very often because they always kind of disappoint towards the end. But this is maybe the best version of the team, and I feel like it's because you're not, you don't have just one player that's popping off every week. It's not just Oxy. It's not just Vic when we were saying stage 1. It's not just Sepa. Everybody's very, very consistent. So it's something that we're not mentioning every week. But I think they have a good chance to get the win this week. This is. I feel like I expect it to be as close as that Sentinels G2 match was.
Oh damn!
On that. If you ignore that blip that was the Cloud9 Sen game, and you consider it an off day, because I do think Cloud9 played way worse in that match, and it just so happened that they were going up against one of the best teams in a group, if not the best team in Americas currently. So if you accept that as an off day, I can see where you're coming from, but I think right now with G2, even with G2 supposedly nerfed, they are still in a different tier, and currently Cloud9 are the gatekeepers. In my head right now, I hate to say it again because I thought that they had kind of outgrown this, but they are beating down on people worse than them. G2 are not worse than them. Even with Babybay into the roster, Babybay is filling in the role well. He's still playing his role well. He's not taking over like Leaf might, but G2 is still a dangerous team, and I still think that they are ahead of where Cloud9 are playing currently. But never say never. Genuinely, this could be could be a good game.
Is it still going to be Babybay playing, or is Leaf coming in? Do we know?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. We don't know. We don't know.
I'm gonna call it. It's Babybay playing. I don't think Leaf is coming in until playoffs. I think give him even if he's rested, give him a week off. Let Babybay get a second ace. Let him drop his 30. Let him get a 40. Like, this could be the game. I think also in terms of strategy, it's highly likely if G2 have a similar run, like since of the last playoffs, they might have a chance to face C9 again. And if that's the case, like in a lower bracket, you don't want to give anything away. It's kind of nice having Babybay in this situation too, because you can experiment with a lot. You don't have the same setups to VOD review against. That's one of the weaknesses I think G2 has coming into playoffs, is a lot of teams can just see what they've done before, kind of anti-strat it, keep everything low key, let Leaf come in when it matters the most, and ball out in the playoffs.
Yeah. All right. I like the sound of it. I mean, it should be hopefully a good game at least. Let's go on to the last game then. We're going to be prepping for the week here, and it's an important one. It's MIBR versus Loud. And which way this one go? Whoa!
Oh boy.
All of us have gone for Loud. All of us have gone for Loud. Shai was locked in for that
don't
one.
like
Shai's
this.
really ready for it, dude.
Dude, you were expecting this. I'm kind of surprised here.
I'm
at
surprised.
this.
I'm same. I thought at least kind of two of you were gonna go for MIBR personally.
I'll be the only one here. This is amazing. Let's go. Vamos.
Is that good?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, hopefully. I mean, this is the story of like, I guess MIBR can't do much anymore now, right? They're kind of locked in to their slot. So maybe in terms of confidence and like what's going on, things might not be there. But for Loud, there's a chance, right? They can still make playoffs. It relies on them as well. They have to get their win along with, I think, the Lev loss and the crew win. So a bunch of things happening in Omega. It's so much fun to watch this side of the bracket. But yeah, I think against MIBR, pound for pound, like player to player, Loud kind of has a representative on either side. Like if we're talking about Cortezia and how good he's been playing, look at Luke's show and the opportunities he was getting against 100 Thieves in his last matchup.
Yeah, this is the.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to cut you off, but this is the last game that's been played in week 5 as well. And based on the other outcomes, what have you got? What is the circumstances that Loud need to win? You said it's like a 3-way parlay type beat.
Yeah, so it's Loud win, Lev lose, so 100 Thieves win, and then crew win. I believe is the 3 things that need to happen in Omega.
That's a lot though.
So if it doesn't go that way before, then they're already out at this point.
Yeah.
Don't they only need Lev to lose and they win against MIBR?
No, I think
because if Lev lose, they'll be 2-3. If Loud win against MIBR, they'll be 2-3, and Loud have the head-to-head versus Lev, and they'll be above MIBR. MIBR are guaranteed done.
So they just need NRG to win.
They just need Lev to lose versus 100 Thieves, I think. Right?
Okay, I don't know what. For some reason, crew needed to win. Maybe crew just needed to win for the vibes.
Who crew need to win? I don't think it plays a part in it.
Wait, Ericate!
Get in there.
Dude, RK2 would know. RK2 would definitely know.
He just showed me the chart. So, are you listening? What are the what is it going to take for Loud? They're asking what is it going to take for Loud to make it?
To Loud for make it need the Lep lost and they won their match.
Yeah,
That's
Loud. So two things. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Right,
doable.
Sweet. That is super doable. Yeah.
True.
Okay. Thank you, RKT, our statistics expert.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's like a live phone a friend.
Yeah.
It's sick.
That's what I do all the time at Riot. Every time I have a question, I just call him.
Yeah.
He
Every time.
disappears.
He's gone again. Yeah. So very, very doable here. Loud. Yeah. I mean, I think having your destiny in your own hands, at that point, they will know. The outcome of this game probably is going to be decided based on whether or not they're playing for something then, though. Because if Lev end up winning...
It's going to be weird.
It matters more for MIBR then. If Loud is out at that point, it matters more for MIBR to get a last point and see...
To the point.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the point changes too much, but I think maybe it means that like Lev or something
crew
can't
loses
get
everything,
for crew or something.
Yeah, like if crew loses everything after, they're not going to get ahead. And then who's next? I think 100 Thieves or something?
I think with the vibes at the moment, I feel like MIBR will be like down, to be honest, and I think just Loud in general look like the vibes are good and they want to prove, even if they're out, I feel like they want to prove, like the individuals want to prove that they can get picked up or stay next year. So I think they probably have more to prove. We'll see.
Yeah,
it's a weird.
The point matters a lot actually. If like MIBR bomb out and then like EG end up getting like 3rd or something, like they could overtake MIBR. Having that 9 should be pretty big.
It only protects them from EG, NRG. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know.
But it's still 2 teams. Yeah, it's still big.
Yeah. We'll play out, but that's going to be interesting for week 5. We'll see. Hopefully, we have meaningful matches in week 5. I mean, it's just, we've been kind of cursed, to be honest, throughout all of Americas in stage 2, where most of the matches have just been like, okay, well, G2 are already locked in and they're just beating down somebody. Anyway, whatever. Let's start wrapping up the show. Before that, let's talk about the current rumor that's been posted. Now, I'm not sure, again, the credibility of this one here, but the rumor is, and we can pull up the tweet that's been translated as well, that we're planning a franchise league in South America, essentially, splitting this one up, which is something that I've been ranting about for countless episodes. about how just inherently Americas is just going to be a weaker region until you kind of come up with a solution for some of this. I want to just say, like, internally, I know that the product team on Valorant, especially for the esports side, they move pretty quickly. And they're always thinking about different things to chop and change to make the league better. But the latest information, which is old information, actually, I heard, but it was still up in the air last I heard about what they were planning for. So this coming out, I mean, it's news to me. But if it does go away, essentially, what is it? The new league would be mixed, bringing together Brazilian and South American teams, would feature fixed franchise teams as well as open slots for teams to qualify for Tier 2. And so essentially, you'd separate it out. You'd have some partnership teams still, but then you'd have open qualification through Tier 2. Now, I'm a huge fan of just that as a concept. It depends how it's executed. But I think that, listen, immigration policy in the US is not going to change anytime soon. If you keep running the league solely in America, you're going to have issues with getting these teams in and getting them consistently practicing. Geographically, it's so far apart that you can't even get that mixed competition and have people scrimming unless they're on 150 ping. It's not ideal for them. So I think this makes the most sense in order to really build a good league that's actually going to be helping. Now, what I would like to see is still some of that cross-pollination between the two. I don't want to see playoffs happening in South America and North America completely separated, and then we're sending like 2 teams each from each region. I would like to see a culminated playoffs where you see the best teams from both of those almost playing internally in their own little pocket of play, where you have Tier 2 teams in NA as well, Tier 2 teams in LATAM, all playing against their own respective partnership teams. And then I would love to see it culminate into like a playoff somewhere, wherever in the Americas. And then, it doesn't mess around necessarily with the formats for other regions where you have an X amount of slots at the beginning out for the global events. But I think that if this is in the works, this is the right move. You're not going to change stuff in a short amount of time, but it is the best thing you can do, I think, for the current strength of just the sport in Americas is you got to do it. I mean, I said the analogy last week, but you don't want to build your house on a swamp, and currently Americas is sinking. So
I think I think it looks like a win-win from the sides of it as well. It kind of backs the Tier 2 stuff and means that orgs will want to invest. And what did it say? That said 16 teams for champs, so I guess they would only split up Americas, and then it's just 3 from both the Americas, right? I guess that would be the theory, and then everything else stays the same. But then obviously you would implement the Tier 2 thing in the other regions. So I mean, that sounds probably like one of the best routes to go, to be honest, if this is true. So
it's the second best idea.
If it comes out.
Take it off.
Second best. What's the best?
Valorant Island, a hovering island in between South America and North America, and you get to play like all the teams land ping, and like there's attractions. You could like take a little elevator up there.
So it's just
best
a new
idea.
country that's flying.
Yes, like
really
Utopia from like
a cheap one.
It would be so sick. Talk to my people. We have blueprints.
You joke about this, but I don't know how I ended up in this, but I ended up in a meeting with someone who was literally
on this episode, man.
No way.
This not a floating island. It wasn't a floating island, but the idea was I think they assumed that I had more power than I actually have at all in just Riot. But they were talking about the concept of potentially like selling like a theme park to Riot to me. And this is, it was, now listen, didn't come to fruition because guess what? I'm just a fucking dude who doesn't have power. But, they didn't really know that. I think the assumption was that I could move the needle and create some moves for them. But the thing that I really want to hone in on as well with this whole idea, the floating island concept.
No visa issues. Think about it. There's no
visa issues. You just have to work out how to get the island floating.
That's like Radianite, obviously. We have that in lore. It's guys, think about it.
Yeah, true.
Truly give it a thought.
I'm a huge fan of the potential idea of opening up, basically narrowing down the amount of teams you have in partnership that Riot are supporting. Because at this point, I think it's pretty clear some of the leagues are not doing enough legwork. They're getting paid their stipends, and they're still doing it pretty poorly. They're not really developing their teams well. I mean, it's not Riot's fault. It's just the nature of it. Not everybody's going to be running their esports orgs effectively. I think cutting that down, only literally having some of the best teams you have, and then filling out the rest with qualification from Tier 2 would do bits for the game. It genuinely would do so much, man, because Tier 2 investment has just dried up completely. And again, your entire premise of how you build a sport, basis of it is just talent development. Upward talent development it happens and starts in tier 3, tier 2. If you have investment at that level, because teams know that they're going to be getting into the limelight, know that they're going to be getting whatever form and partition, however they work out some sort of revenue sharing, I don't really know. But it would do a lot, I think, for the overall health, and it would make me way more confident for the long-term plan of Valorant.
Yeah, I agree. I think it would have to be revenue sharing because either that or they start actually putting prize money up. Dude, I was going on VLR and looking at some of these orgs, man. Like I think it's like GIANTX. I was trying to look at like all of the prize that they've made since they've been in the actual partnership. It's not great, man. No one's getting any prize money out here.
Yeah, also
Like it's rough, bro.
I think
Like, what is this? 10K, bro. We did that in 2 weeks in Fish 123. Well, they did in 3 years.
Winning.
Jeez.
Yeah, but
that's true.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, dude. That's rough, man. There's no money out here. For, like,
If you look
actual-
at Challengers NA, I think that
Holy.
it would also fix that problem because for them, I mean, we have 16 teams. That's way too many teams. And I understand that it's because you're trying to give these tier 2 players an opportunity to play and try to compete, trying to make it to the top. So you want to give a lot of slots compared to what it was a few years before. But there's a lot that, you know, the investment is not there. The teams are not good. You know, you only have a few teams that are actually good. So if you're able to make, and the teams that are good, they're very good. They would be competitive in VCT Americas. So if you were able to mix it, and not just making it to Ascension, but actually constantly be able to see who's the better team in tier 2, who are the better teams, and that you know, it allows them to compete with the best as well and see how for how long they can keep it. I feel like that is the best way to look at it. Because if not, I mean, it fixes tier 2 in a way, and it also, you know, fixes the visa situation for Brazil players specifically, because, you know, it's going to keep going the same way. I feel like for 2G, I mean, they're great. They're amazing players. They deserve that spot in Ascension, but it was also a team that nobody was really expecting to ascend and make it to the top. And so sometimes it can be just that. Sometimes you can just have a good run in a tournament and then you make it, but then you're not able to keep up with not only the visas, the expenses, but also keep up with the level of performance that you were putting for that one tournament. And if you're looking for consistency, this is the best way to go about it.
Yeah, I agree. It just has to be appealing. That's it. As long as it's appealing to the non-partnered teams, then it's gonna work.
Yeah.
And it will solve so many issues with the Brazil side of stuff as well, just because they're having like real issues with like tier 2 and just not having IGLs and stuff like this. It actually gives you something that's achievable to work through, and everyone can scrim each other, and then everyone learns. So it's cool as long as they do it right. Because if you don't have the good incentives for these tier 2 teams, then I'm worried that it would all just fail. So you gotta think about that side of it mostly.
Yeah. One of the things that I want to poke your brain on this one, because one of the obstacles I foresee with this as a plan, and again, it's not confirmed. This is just a rumor that's being reported on. But if they went ahead with this and actually had that mixed competition, is expanding the age bracket, because currently you can compete in challenges at a younger age compared to tier 1.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that's an issue. But I want to know how Fortnite got around this, because I don't know how they got around this. But you had players as young as 13 competing.
Yes. And if they were going to like any LAN events, Guardians would always be there. Not the gun, but like the parents usually, or like an older brother, sister. And that was usually the wave. Like everything that was signed as well was like always you had to have a Guardian there. And parents were like a lot more keen on knowing what was going down. Fortnite also had like a much more open ecosystem. So like there was no franchising whatsoever. No one was ever guaranteed. Every single tournament, including like their tier 1 FNCS system, was always an open run tournament 24/7. And the best teams just stayed consistent in that bracket. And I think that's something that like a lot of Valorant viewers have been asking for. Is like, hey, can we have more open competition for some of these big, even Masters events? It would be dope to see like a first time team crush people, have that like Cinderella true story to get to that point. Maybe like if there was one wildcard slot, that could be a wave, and that could always be something to root for. But then other teams end up taking that slot anyways when they're fresh, or when they're fresh and brand new face, like Wolves in last Masters Toronto. But yeah, Fortnite for Brazil specifically as well, because I was thinking about this too as a region as to what they did, was always separated from North America. North America was actually broken up into East and West as well as their own regions with their own slots that qualified to Worlds. And Brazil had like the equivalent of like North America slots, maybe just like one less in total. But they had their own whole region, their own whole meta, and their own servers as well that they had on the side the entire time. So that was the whole thing that was happening then. Yeah. And yeah, from 13 all the way up to whenever. And the best players were like 14, 15 years old. Like we had a king who was insane. And like he did his whole like jumbo stuff like in week 7 of the qualifiers and the World Cup. Like, yeah, it was nuts.
All right, cool. Yeah, it's at least I'm optimistic. I know that they're thinking about changes because you don't really want to be settling into the system if it's flawed inherently. But it's nice that they're still Riot is still thinking about actively changing it up.
I think if we stay on the system though, the one problem I have with it, and I'm not sure if you guys got to talk about it in the other regions, but the relegation process for some of these Ascension teams who are just getting out, it feels weird to me that like based on a record, you just disappear. Like we wipe your fingerprints, you get Men in Black like to non-existence, and you don't get to have a say in leaving. Like I think that's the situation for mates, right? They don't get to play in Ascension again. Like based off their record or wherever it was, they're gone. Or like maybe that's like 2G or not FURIA. Goddamn. Maybe that's like someone else as well. But it's like I would love to see no matter what it is, if you're getting relegated, you get to play in that Ascension tournament and you have to lose against the people that are climbing over you. There has to be some form of like baton interaction. Now, yeah.
I get it. I get it. It makes sense because you lose your chance. But I feel like at that point, if you are getting relegated, you already show that you just don't have what it takes. Because I feel like, yeah, you can fix it if anything to get specific amounts of wins in stage 1 and stage 2 instead of making it to playoffs towards the end, or like do little things like that. But imagine 2G has to play and then they also go on a tournament run again for Ascension and they ascend again. I mean, would you think that they're gonna out of nowhere, start getting wins and be better? Because
but then wouldn't that mean the other Ascension teams just wouldn't be good enough to qualify then? Like if that's the case, like I want to see the champ. Like if it was WWE or something, right? Like that's like a little bit more make believe. Not to spoil it for some people if you haven't been keeping up with life for the last 20 years, but it's like. You want to see that belt be passed. If it's the UFC, you want to see like the person who's won beat the person who's losing. So like it's just weird to me that like we just replace the slot and there's no interaction between the teams. 100% I agree with you because if it's an 05 team and like they win again, like and they go 05 again, that's a problem. You want to see
I'd rather have another team go 05.
But I want them to earn it. That's all it is. Like I want to see if this team is bad, show me that they're actually bad against the people you're bringing up. Because then the question will always be if the new team comes in, they go 05. Man, if Spike had that extra year, 2G would have been nuts. And like now they don't. Yeah. And they never got to stay in it.
It seems rough to just have the 1 year because there's definitely teams that have had like a bounce back. Probably the best example is like a Heretics 2023 to Heretics 2024. Probably the best bounce back. Like in theory, they wouldn't have made top 8. They wouldn't be in Ascension. I know it's not the best example, but there is definitely a chance that like these orgs should have the right to just prove that they can bounce back. And I agree with what you're saying. They should probably be able to fight. But I reckon that stuff will change, man. I reckon when they did this, they were like, ah, man, it could be better. Because I think they're getting rid of good orgs. For sure.
Yeah.
So
2027. I'm just saying it takes 2 years to 3 years to amass enough land to make an island.
So
I've done the knowledge.
This is very recently, but Leo responding to it and saying that this is when was this? Was like 10 minutes ago?
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, because I'm trying to calculate the PST time. Okay, so yeah, the report is false. So I mean, based off what I was I was gonna say because they haven't really set anything in stone. I know that they move quick, but they don't move that quick. So, but I mean, okay, the rumor false, but interesting conversation topic.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
And I know that they're still thinking
something
about
has to change for 2027. So
yeah, okay. Misinformation successfully gone out of the picture. Let it be known.
I hope people just stopped watching right before we said it was false.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Let's move on though. Let's wrap this one up. The final segment, the most important segment of the week. It's Wyatt's Weekly Award. I have no idea.
To be fair, you need to have a very high IQ to understand Vision Striker's approach to the game. The tactics, the executes, the way they control the map. Very few can understand it. Only dedicated Korean fans such as myself and top-tier minds of the game.
That's a classic. It's an oldie but a goldie there. Now I don't have any players in mind for this because I didn't realize I was hosting. But any suggestions you got? I mean, I've got one player in my mind, but I've only really been following Americas, so I want to give the other regions a shot. You know, if you've been watching other regions,
I would probably still say Mad is at the top of my list, to be honest. Dude, 3 aces in one game, most aces in Americas, crazy. Somehow in your first year. It's pretty good. I'm trying to remember if there's other people from other regions.
I was going to think Code of Zeta, just because of how hard it is to be that vocal leader. The quality is kind of just coming up in him. It's I was thinking, even though they ended up losing, but
Could be Babybay,
yeah, I mean,
could be Sato,
Baby,
could be RKT
maybe.
for helping us out.
RKT for helping us out. Wait, the nepotism award? We're handing it out yet?
No.
I'm down. I'm down. Let's go back to our roots. Nepotism goes out to RKT for helping us out with the statistics for the Wyatt's Weekly Award. Congratulations, RKT.
He's
Yo,
not
get him
gonna
in here.
believe it.
He's not gonna believe it.
He won the award.
He won the award. I mean, I know there's a lot of. It's very prestigious. Everybody is like clamoring. Everybody wants to know, and we go through the whole process. It's a whole voting process behind the scenes. The viewers don't see it, but we do think hard about this award. We definitely don't just throw it up last minute. Yo, RKT won!
Congratulations.
Yep,
This was
speech.
the most important day in my life. Thank you. Thank you, Wyatt, for this award. Thank you, guys, for this. I will save on my achievements of life. Thank you.
Yeah.
No
We'll put
problem.
the trophy there.
All right, sweet. Let's
Incredible.
wrap this one up. It's been a long segment, a long episode overall. But yeah, thank you very much, Sliggy, Shio, Dryad, for joining us as well, sticking it out to the bitter end. And that's gonna do it for Plat Chat episode 229. We'll see you guys next week, 2:30, where we'll be discussing. I don't know what we'll be doing, but we'll be doing something probably. But yeah, we'll see you guys then. Bye bye.